Dedication. To parents everywhere, a child's first and most important teachers, and to all those who educate, influence, and lead by example. Acknowledgements. How does a person say thank you when there are so many people to thank? Obviously, this book is a thank you to my two fathers, who were powerful role models, and to my mom, who taught me love and kindness. The person most responsible for this book becoming a reality is my wife, Kim, my partner in marriage, business, and in life. She makes my life complete. 20 years. 2020 hindsight. It was 20 years ago today. The Beatles released the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album on June 1st, 1967. It was an immediate commercial and critical success, spending 27 weeks at the top of the album chart in the UK and 15 weeks at number 1 in the United States. Time magazine declared Sgt. Pepper's a historic departure in the progress of music. It won 4 Grammy Awards in 1968, as well as Album of the Year, the first rock album ever to receive that honor. Rich Dad Poor Dad was released 20 years ago on my 50th birthday on April 8th, 1997. Unlike the Beatles story, the book was not an immediate commercial success. It was not a critical success. In fact, the book's release and the firestorm of criticism that followed was quite the opposite. Rich Dad Poor Dad was originally self-published because every book publisher we approached turned my book down. A few rejections slipped off for comments like, "You do not know what you were talking about." I learned that most publishers are more like my highly educated poor dad than my rich dad. Most publishers disagreed with my rich dad's lessons on money, as did my poor dad. 20 years today. In 1997, Rich Dad Poor Dad was a warning, a book of lessons about the future. 20 years later, millions of people around the world are more aware of my rich dad's warnings and his lessons about the future. With 2020 hindsight, many have said that his lessons were prophetic. Predictions come true. A few of those lessons are: Rich Dad's lesson number 1: the rich don't work for money. 20 years ago, a few publishers turned my book down because they did not agree with Rich Dad's number 1 lesson. Today, people are more aware of the growing divide between the rich and everyone else. Between 1993 and 2010, over 50% of the increase in the national income in the United States went to the wealthiest 1%. Since then, things have only gotten worse. Economists at the University of California found that 95% of the income gains between the years 2009 and 2012 also went to that wealthiest 1%. The lesson: the increases in income are going to entrepreneurs and investors, not to employees, not to the people who work for money. Rich Dad lesson: savers are losers. 20 years ago, most publishers vehemently disagreed with this lesson from Rich Dad. For the poor and middle class, saving money is a religion, financial salvation from poverty and protection from the cruel world. For many people, calling savers losers is like taking God's name in vain. The lesson: a picture is worth 1,000 words. Take a look at the chart provided in the bonus material of 120 years of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and you will see why and how savers become losers. The charts show there have been 3 massive stock market crashes in the first 10 years of this new century. The first crash was the dot-com crash around the year 2000. The second and third crashes were the real estate crash of 2007, followed by the banking crash of 2008. The giant crash of 1929. When you compare the first 3 crashes of the 21st century to the giant crash of 1929, you gain a perspective of how truly giant the first 3 crashes of the century were. Printing money. The third chart shows that after each crash, the U.S. government and the Federal Reserve Bank began printing money, saving the rich. Between the years 2000 to 2016, in the name of saving the economy, the banks of the world kept cutting interest rates and printing money. While our leaders wanted to believe they were saving the world, in reality, the rich were saving themselves and threw the poor and middle class under the bus. Today, interest rates in many countries are below zero, which is why savers are losers. Today, the biggest losers are the poor and middle class, the people who work for money and save money. Rich Dad lesson: your house is not an asset. 20 years ago, in 1997, every publisher who sent me a rejection slip criticized Rich Dad's lesson that your house is not an asset. 10 years later, in 2007, when subprime borrowers began to default on their subprime mortgages, the world's real estate bubble burst, and millions of homeowners found out the truth of that lesson the hard way. Their house was not an asset. The real problem: most people do not know that the real estate crash was not really a real estate crash. Poor people did not cause the real estate crash. The rich caused the real estate crash. The rich created financially engineered products known as derivatives. Products Warren Buffett called weapons of mass financial destruction. When the financial weapons of mass destruction started to explode, the real estate market crashed, and poor subprime borrowers were blamed. In 2007, there were an estimated $700 trillion in financial derivatives. Today, it is estimated there are $1.2 quadrillion in financial derivatives. In other words, the real problem has gotten bigger, not better. Rich Dad lesson: why the rich pay less in taxes. 20 years ago, a few publishers criticized Rich Dad Poor Dad for disclosing how and why the rich pay less in taxes. One stated that lesson was illegal. 10 years later, in 2007, President Barack Obama was running for re-election against former Governor Mitt Romney. When it was disclosed that President Obama paid approximately 30% of his income in taxes and Governor Romney paid less than 13% in taxes, Mitt Romney began the downhill slide at the cost of the election. Taxes again were a focal point in the 2016 US presidential election. Rather than find out how people like Mitt Romney and President Donald Trump pay less in taxes legally, the poor and middle class get angry. While President Trump promises to reduce taxes for the poor and middle class, the reality is the rich will always pay less in taxes. The reason the rich pay less in taxes goes back to Rich Dad's lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. As long as the person works for money, they will pay taxes. Even when presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was promising to raise the taxes on the rich, she was promising to raise the taxes on those with high incomes, people like doctors, actors, and lawyers, not the real rich. 20 years ago. Although Rich Dad Poor Dad was not an immediate success like the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's album, Rich Dad Poor Dad did make the New York Times bestseller list by the year 2000 and stayed on that list for nearly 7 years. Also in the year 2000, Oprah Winfrey called. I was on Oprah for the entire hour, and as they say, the rest is history. Rich Dad Poor Dad has become the number 1 personal finance book in history, with sales of the Rich Dad series of books estimated at nearly 40 million copies worldwide. Was there really a Rich Dad? Millions have asked, was there really a Rich Dad? To answer that question, you can listen to Rich Dad's son, Mike, when he was a guest on the Rich Dad radio show. You can listen to that program by going to richdadradio.com. Rich Dad Graduate School. Rich Dad Poor Dad was written as simply as possible so that almost everyone could understand my Rich Dad's lessons. For those who want to learn more, as part of the 20-year celebration, I wrote Why the Rich Are Getting Richer. What is financial education, really? Why the Rich Are Getting Richer goes into greater, more specific detail on what Rich Dad really taught his son and me when it came to money and investing. Why the Rich Are Getting Richer is Rich Dad Poor Dad for graduate students. It's graduate school for Rich Dad students. A warning and an invitation. While I did my best to keep why the rich are getting richer as simple as possible, what the rich really do is not easy or easy to explain. What the rich really do requires real financial education not taught in our schools. I suggest reading Rich Dad Poor Dad first. Then, if you want to learn more, why the rich are getting richer may be for you. Thank you for 20 great years. To all our readers, past, present, and future, all of us at the Rich Dad Company say thank you for 20 great years. It is our mission to elevate the financial well-being of humanity, and that starts with one life and one person at a time. Introduction: Rich Dad Poor Dad. Having 2 dads offered me the choice of contrasting points of view, one of a rich man and one of a poor man. I had 2 fathers, a rich one and a poor one. One was highly educated and intelligent. He had a PhD and completed 4 years of undergraduate work in less than 2 years. He then went on to Stanford University, the University of Chicago, and Northwestern University to do his advanced studies, all on full financial scholarships. The other father never finished the 8th grade. Both men were successful in their careers, working hard all their lives. Both earned substantial incomes. Yet one always struggled financially. The other would become one of the richest men in Hawaii. One died leaving tens of millions of dollars to his family, charities, and his church. The other left bills to be paid when he died. Both men were strong, charismatic, and influential. Both men offered me advice, but they did not advise the same things. Both men believed strongly in education, but did not recommend the same course of study. If I had had only one dad, I would have had to accept or reject his advice. Having 2 dads offered me the choice of contrasting points of view, one of a rich man and one of a poor man. Instead of simply accepting or rejecting one or the other, I found myself thinking more, comparing, and then choosing for myself. The problem was that the rich man was not rich yet, and the poor man was not yet poor. Both were just starting out in their careers, and both were struggling with money and families, but they had very different points of view about money. For example, one dad would say, the love of money is the root of all evil. The other said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. As a young boy, having 2 strong fathers both influencing me was difficult. I wanted to be a good son and listen, but the 2 fathers did not say the same things. The contrast in their points of view, particularly about money, was so extreme that I grew curious and intrigued. I began to start thinking for long periods of time about what each was saying. Much of my private time was spent reflecting, asking myself questions such as, why does he say that? And then asking the same question of the other dad's statement. It would have been much easier to simply say, yeah, he's right, I agree with that, or to simply reject the point of view by saying, the old man doesn't know what he's talking about. Instead, having 2 dads whom I loved forced me to think and ultimately choose a way of thinking for myself. As a process, choosing for myself turned out to be much more valuable in the long run than simply accepting or rejecting a single point of view. One of the reasons the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class struggles in debt is that the subject of money is taught at home, not in school. Most of us learn about money from our parents. So what do poor parents tell their child about money? They simply say, stay in school and study hard. The child may graduate with excellent grades, but with a poor person's financial programming and mindset. Sadly, money is not taught in schools. Schools focus on scholastic and professional skills, but not on financial skills. This explains why smart bankers, doctors, and accountants who earn excellent grades may struggle financially all their lives. Our staggering national debt is due in large part to highly educated politicians and government officials making financial decisions with little or no training in the subject of money. The debt clock. Fast forward 20 years, and the U.S. national debt is beyond staggering. At present time, it's nearing $20 trillion. That's trillion with a T. Today, I often wonder what will happen when we have millions of people who need financial and medical assistance. They will be dependent on their families or the government for financial support. What will happen when Medicare and Social Security run out of money? How will the nation survive if teaching children about money continues to be left to parents? Most of whom will be or already are poor. Because I had 2 influential fathers, I learned from both of them. I had to think about each dad's advice, and in doing so, I gained valuable insight into the power and effect of one's thoughts on one's life. For example, one dad had a habit of saying, I can't afford it. The other dad forbade those words to be used. He insisted I ask, how can I afford it? One's a statement, and the other is a question. One lets you off the hook, and the other forces you to think. My soon-to-be rich dad would explain that by automatically saying the words, I can't afford it, your brain stops working. By asking the question, how can I afford it, your brain is put to work. He did not mean that you should buy everything you want. He was fanatical about exercising your mind, the most powerful computer in the world. He'd say, my brain gets stronger every day because I exercise it. The stronger it gets, the more money I can make. He believed that automatically saying, I can't afford it was a sign of mental laziness. Although both dads worked hard, I noticed that one dad had a habit of putting his brain to sleep when it came to finances, and the other had a habit of exercising his brain. The long-term result was that one dad grew stronger financially, and the other grew weaker. It is not much different from a person who goes to the gym to exercise on a regular basis versus someone who sits on the couch watching television. Proper physical exercise increases your chances for health, and proper mental exercise increases your chance for wealth. My two dads had opposing attitudes, and that affected the way they thought. One dad thought that the rich should pay more in taxes to take care of those less fortunate. The other said taxes punish those who produce and reward those who don't produce. One dad recommended study hard so you can find a good company to work for. The other recommended study hard so you can find a good company to buy. One dad said, the reason I'm not rich is because I have few kids. The other said, the reason I must be rich is because I have few kids. One encouraged talking about money and business at the dinner table, while the other forbade the subject of money to be discussed over a meal. One said, when it comes to money, play it safe. Don't take risks. The other said, learn to manage risk. One believed our homes are our largest investment and our greatest asset. The other believed our house is a liability. And if your house is your largest investment, you're in trouble. Your house is not an asset. The 2008 housing market crash was a clear message that your personal residence is not an asset. Not only does it not put money in your pocket, but we cannot count on the fact that it will go up in value. Many houses in 2017 are still worth less than they were in 2007. Both dads paid their bills on time, yet one paid his bills first, while the other paid his bills last. One dad believed in the company or the government taking care of you and your needs. He was always concerned about pay raises, retirement plans, medical benefits, sick leave, vacation days, and other perks. He was impressed with two of his uncles who joined the military and earned retirement and entitlement package for life after 20 years of active service. He loved the idea of medical benefits and PX privileges the military provided to retirees. He also loved the tenure system available through the university. The idea of job protection for life and job benefits seemed more important at times than the job. He would often say, I've worked hard for the government and I'm entitled to these benefits. The other believed in total financial self-reliance. He spoke out against the entitlement mentality and how it created weak and financially needy people. He was emphatic about being financially competent. One dad struggled to save a few dollars, the other created investments. One dad taught me how to write an impressive resume so I could find a good job. The other taught me how to write strong business and financial plans so I could create jobs. Being a product of two strong dads allowed me the luxury of observing the effects different thoughts have on one's life. I noticed that people really do shape their lives through their thoughts. For example, my poor dad always said, I'll never be rich, and that prophecy became reality. My rich dad, on the other hand, always referred to himself as rich. He would say things like, I'm a rich man, and rich people don't do this. Even when he was flat broke after a major financial setback, he continued to refer to himself as a rich man. He would cover himself by saying, there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. My poor dad would say, I'm not interested in money, or money doesn't matter. My rich dad always said, money is power. The power of our thoughts may never be measured or appreciated, but it became obvious to me as a young boy that it was important to be aware of my thoughts and how I expressed myself. I noticed that my poor dad was poor, not because of the amount of money he earned, which was significant, but because of his thoughts and actions. As a young boy, having two fathers, I became acutely aware of being careful about which thoughts I chose to adopt as my own. Should I listen to my rich dad or to my poor dad? Although both men had tremendous respect for education and learning, they disagreed about what they thought was important to learn. One wanted me to study hard, earn a degree, and get a good job to earn money. He wanted me to study to become a professional, an attorney or an accountant, and to go to business school for my MBA. The other encouraged me to study to be rich, to understand how money works, and learn how to have it work for me. I don't work for money, were words he would repeat over and over. Money works for me. At the age of 9, I decided to listen to and learn from my rich dad about money. In doing so, I chose not to listen to my poor dad, even though he was the one with all the college degrees. There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. A lesson from Robert Frost. Robert Frost is my favorite poet. Although I love many of his poems, my favorite is The Road Not Taken. I use this lesson almost daily. The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent to the other grove, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and much aware. Though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on the way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And that has made all the difference. Over the years, I've often reflected on Robert Frost's poem. Choosing not to listen to my highly educated dad's advice and attitude about money was a painful decision, but it was a decision that shaped the rest of my life. Once I made up my mind about whom to listen to, my education about money began. My rich dad taught me over a period of 30 years until I was 39 years old. He stopped once he realized that I knew and fully understood what he had been trying to drum into my often thick skull. Money is one form of power. But what is more powerful is financial education. Money comes and goes. But if you have the education about how money works, you gain power over it and begin building wealth. The reason positive thinking alone does not work is because most people went to school and never learned how money works, so they spend their lives working for money. Because I was only 9 years old when I started, the lessons my rich dad taught me were simple. And when it was all said and done, there were only 6 main lessons repeated over 30 years. This book is about those 6 lessons put as simply as possible, just as simply as my rich dad put forth those lessons to me. The lessons are meant not to be answers, but guideposts that will assist you and your children and your families to grow wealthier, no matter what happens in a world of increasing change and uncertainty. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Dad, can you tell me how to get rich? My dad put down the evening paper. Why do you want to get rich, son? Because today Jimmy's mom drove up in their new Cadillac and they were going to the beach house for the weekend. He took 3 of his friends, but Mike and I weren't invited. They told us we weren't invited because we were poor kids. They did? My dad asked incredulously. Yeah, they did. I replied in a hurt tone. My dad silently shook his head, pushed his glasses up the bridge of his nose, and went back to reading the paper. I stood waiting for an answer. The year was 1956. I was 9 years old. By some twist of fate, I attended the same public school where the rich people sent their kids. We were primarily a sugar plantation town in Hawaii. The managers of the plantation and the other affluent people, such as doctors, business owners, and bankers, sent their children to this public elementary school. After grade 6, their children were generally sent off to private schools. Because my family lived on one side of the street, I went to this school. Had I lived on the other side of the street, I would have gone to a different school with kids from families more like mine. After grade 6, these kids and I would go on to the public intermediate high school. There was no private school for them or for me. My dad finally put down the paper. I could tell he was thinking. Well, son, he began slowly, if you want to be rich, you have to learn to make money. How do I make money? I asked. Well, use your head, son, he said, smiling. Even then, I knew that really meant, that's all I'm going to tell you, or I don't know the answer, so don't embarrass me. A partnership is formed. The next morning, I told my best friend Mike what my dad had said. As best as I could tell, Mike and I were the only poor kids in the school. Mike was also in the school by a twist of fate. Someone had drawn a dog in the line for the school district, and we wound up in school with the rich kids. We weren't really poor, but we felt as if we were because all the other boys had new baseball gloves, new bicycles, new everything. My dad provided us with the basics, like food, shelter, and clothes, but that was about it. My dad used to say, if you want something, work for it. We wanted things, but there was not much work available for 9-year-old boys. So what do we do to make money? Mike asked. I don't know, I said, but do you want to be my partner? He agreed. And so on that Saturday morning, Mike became my first business partner. We spent all morning coming up with ideas on how to make money. Occasionally, we talked about all the cool guys at Jimmy's Beach House having fun. It hurt a little, but that hurt was good because it inspired us to keep thinking of a way to make money. Finally, that afternoon, a bolt of lightning struck. It was an idea Mike got from a science book he had read. Excitedly, we shook hands, and the partnership now had a business. For the next several weeks, Mike and I ran around our neighborhood, knocking on doors and asking our neighbors if they would save their toothpaste tube source. With puzzled looks, most adults instead of smile. Some asked us what we were doing, to which we replied, we can't tell you, it's a business secret. My mom grew distressed as the weeks wore on. We had selected a site next to our washing machine as a place we would stockpile our raw materials. In a round cardboard box that at one time held ketchup bottles, our little pile of used toothpaste tubes began to grow. Finally, my mom put her foot down. The sight of her neighbor's messy, crumpled used toothpaste tubes had gotten to her. What are you boys doing? She asked. And I don't want to hear again that it's a business secret. Do something with this mess or I'm going to throw it out. Mike and I pleaded and begged, explaining that we would soon have enough and then we would begin production. We informed her that we were waiting on a couple of neighbors to finish their toothpaste so we'd have their tubes. Mom granted us a 1-week extension. The date to begin production was moved up and the pressure was on. My first partnership was already being threatened with an eviction notice by my own mom. It became Mike's job to tell the neighbors to quickly use up their toothpaste, saying their dentist wanted them to brush more often anyway. I began putting together the production line. One day, my dad drove up with a friend to see 2 9-year-old boys in the driveway with the production line operating at full speed. There was flying white powder everywhere. On a long table were small milk cartons from school, and our family's hibachi grill was glowing with red hot coals at maximum heat. Dad walked up cautiously, having to park the car at the base of the driveway since the production line blocked the carport. As he and his friend got closer, they saw a steel pot sitting on top of the coals in which the toothpaste tubes were being melted down. In those days, toothpaste did not come in plastic tubes. The tubes were made of lead. So once the paint was burned off, the tubes were dropped in a small steel pot. They melted until they became liquid, and with my mom's hot holders, we poured the lead through a small hole in the top of the milk cartons. The milk cartons were filled with plaster repairs. White powder was everywhere. In my haste, I had knocked the bag over, and the entire area looked like it had been hit by a snowstorm. The milk cartons were the outer containers for plaster repairs molds. My dad and his friend watched as we carefully poured the molten lead through a small hole in the top of the plaster repairs tube. Careful, my dad said. I nodded without looking up. Finally, once the pouring was through, I put the steel pot down and smiled at my dad. What are you boys doing? He asked with a cautious smile. We're doing what you told me to do. We're going to be rich, I said. Yup, said Mike, grinning, nodding his head. We're partners. And what is in those plaster molds? My dad asked. Watch, I said. This should be a good batch. With a small hammer, I tapped at the seal to divide the tube in half. Cautiously, I pulled out the top half of the plaster mold, and a lead nickel fell out. Oh no, my dad exclaimed. You're casting nickels out of lead. That's right, I said. We're doing as you told us to do. We're making money. My dad's friend turned and burst into laughter. My dad smiled and shook his head. Along with a fire and a box of spent toothpaste tubes, in front of him were two little boys covered with white dust, smiling from ear to ear. He asked us to put everything down and sit with him on the front step of our house. With a smile, he gently explained what the word counterfeiting meant. Our dreams were dashed. You mean this is illegal? Asked Mike in a quivering voice. Let them go, my dad's friend said. They might be developing a natural talent. My dad glared at him. Yes, it is illegal, my dad said gently. But you boys have shown great creativity and original thought. Keep going. I'm really proud of you. Disappointed, Mike and I sat in silence for about 20 minutes before we began cleaning up our mess. The business was over on opening day. Sweeping the powder up, I looked at Mike and said, I guess Jimmy and his friends are right. We are poor. My father was just leaving as I said that. Boys, he said, you're only poor if you give up. The most important thing is that you did something. Most people only talk and dream of getting rich. You've done something. I'm very proud of the two of you. I will say it again. Keep going. Don't quit. Mike and I stood there in silence. They were nice words, but we still did not know what to do. So how come you're not rich, Dad? I asked. Because I chose to be a school teacher. School teachers really don't think about being rich. We just like to teach. I wish I could help you, but I really don't know how to make money. Mike and I turned and continued our cleanup. I know, said my dad. If you boys want to learn how to be rich, don't ask me. Talk to your dad, Mike. My dad? Asked Mike with a scrunched up face. Yeah, your dad, repeated my dad with a smile. Your dad and I have the same banker, and he raised not your father. He told me several times that your father was brilliant when it comes to making money. My dad? Mike asked again in disbelief. Then how come we don't have a nice car and a nice house like rich kids at school? A nice car and a nice house don't necessarily mean we're rich or you don't have to make money, my dad replied. Jimmy's dad works for the sugar plantation. He's not much different from me. He works for a company and I work for the government. The company buys the car for him. The sugar company is in financial trouble and Jimmy's dad may soon have nothing. Your dad is different, Mike. He seems to be building an empire, and I suspect in a few years he will be a very rich man. With that, Mike and I got excited again. With new vigor, we began cleaning up the mess caused by our now defunct first business. As we were cleaning, we made plans for how and when to talk to Mike's dad. The problem was that Mike's dad worked long hours and often did not come home until late. His father owned warehouses, a construction company, chain stores, and 3 restaurants. It was the restaurants that kept him out late. Mike called the bus home after we finished cleaning up. He was going to talk to his dad when he got home that night and asked him if he would teach us how to become rich. Mike promised to call as soon as he had talked to his dad, even if it was late. The phone rang at 8:30 p.m. Okay, I said, next Saturday. I put the phone down. Mike's dad had agreed to meet with us. On Saturday, I caught the 7:30 a.m. bus to the poor side of town. The lessons began. Mike and I met with his dad that morning at 8 o'clock. He was already busy, having been at work for more than an hour. His construction supervisor was just leaving his pickup truck as I walked up to a simple, small, and tidy home. Mike met me at the door. Dad's on the phone and he said to wait on the back porch, Mike said as he opened the door. The old wooden floor creaked as I stepped across the threshold of the aging house. There was a cheap mat just inside the door. The mat was there to hide the years of wear from countless footsteps that the floor had supported. Although clean, it needed to be replaced. I felt claustrophobic as I entered the narrow living room. It was filled with old, musty, overstuffed furniture that today would be collector's items. Sitting on the couch were 2 women, both a little older than my mom. Across from the women sat a man in workman's clothes. He wore khaki slacks and a khaki shirt, neatly pressed but without starch, and polished work boots. He was about 10 years older than my dad. They smiled as Mike and I walked past them toward the back porch. I smiled back shyly. Who are those people? I asked. Oh, they work for my dad. The older man runs the warehouses, and the women are the managers of the restaurants. And as you arrived, you saw the construction supervisor who was working on a road project about 50 miles from here. His other supervisor who was building a tract of houses left before you got here. Does this go on all the time? I asked. Not always, but quite often, said Mike, smiling as he pulled up a chair to sit down next to me. I asked my dad if he would teach us to make money, Mike said. Oh, and what did he say to that? I asked with cautious curiosity. Well, he had a funny look on his face at first, and then he said he would make us an offer. Oh, I said, rocking my chair back against the wall. I sat there perched on 2 rear legs of the chair. Mike did the same thing. Do you know what the offer is? I asked. No, but we'll soon find out. Suddenly, Mike's dad burst through the ready screen door and onto the porch. Mike and I jumped to our feet, not out of respect, but because we were startled. Ready, boys? He asked as he pulled up a chair to sit down with us. We nodded our heads as we pulled our chairs away from the wall to sit in front of him. He was a big man, about 6 feet tall and 200 pounds. My dad was taller, about the same weight, and 5 years older than Mike's dad. They sort of looked alike, though not the same ethnic makeup. Maybe their energy was similar. Mike says you want to learn to make money. Is that correct, Robert? I nodded my head quickly, but with a little trepidation. He had a lot of power behind his words and smile. Okay, here's my offer. I'll teach you, but I won't do it classroom style. You work for me, I'll teach you. You don't work for me, I won't teach you. I can teach you faster if you work, and I'm wasting my time if you just want to sit and listen like you do in school. That's my offer. Take it or leave it. May I ask a question first? I asked. No, take it or leave it. I've got too much work to do to waste my time. If you can't make up your mind decisively, then you'll never learn to make money anyway. Opportunities come and go. Being able to know when to make quick decisions is an important skill. You have the opportunity that you asked for. School is beginning, or it's over in 10 seconds. Mike's dad said with a teasing smile. Take it, I said. Take it, said Mike. Good, said Mike's dad. Mrs. Martin will be by in 10 minutes. After I'm through with her, you'll ride with her to my super and you can begin working. I'll pay you 10 cents an hour and you work 3 hours every Saturday. I have a softball game today, I said. Mike's dad lowered his voice to a stern tone. Take it or leave it, he said. I'll take it, I replied, choosing to work and learn instead of playing. Decisiveness. The world is moving faster and faster. Stock market trades are made in milliseconds. Deals come and go on the internet in a matter of minutes. More and more people are competing for good deals. So the faster you can make a decision, the more likely you'll be able to seize opportunities before someone else does. 30 cents later. By 9 a.m. that day, Mike and I were working for Mrs. Martin. She was a kind and patient woman. She always said that Mike and I reminded her of her 2 grown sons. Although kind, she believed in hard work and kept us moving. We spent 3 hours taking canned goods off the shelves, brushing each can with a feather duster to get the dust off, and then restacking them neatly. It was excruciatingly boring work. Mike's dad, whom I call my rich dad, owned 9 of these little superettes, each with a large parking lot. They were the early version of 7-Eleven convenience stores, little neighborhood grocery stores where people bought items such as milk, bread, butter, and cigarettes. The problem was that this was Hawaii before air conditioning was widely used, and stores could not close their doors because of the heat. On 2 sides of the store, the doors had to be wide open to the road and parking lot. Every time the car drove by or pulled into the parking lot, dust would swirl and settle in the store. We knew we had a job as long as there was no air conditioning. For 3 weeks, Mike and I reported to Mrs. Martin and worked our 3 hours. By noon, our work was over, and she dropped 3 little dimes into our hands. Now, even at the age of 9 in the mid-1950s, 30 cents was not too exciting. Comic books cost 10 cents back then, so I usually spent my money on comic books and went home. By Wednesday of the 4th week, I was ready to quit. I had agreed to work only because I wanted to learn to make money from Mike's dad, and now I was a slave for 10 cents an hour. On top of that, I had not seen Mike's dad since that first Saturday. I'm quitting, I told Mike at lunchtime. School was boring, and now I did not even have my Saturdays to look forward to. But it was the 30 cents that really got to me. This time, Mike smiled. What are you laughing at? I asked with anger and frustration. Dad said this would happen. He said to meet with him when you were ready to quit. What? I said indignantly. He's been waiting for you to get fed up. Sort of, Mike said. Dad's kind of different. He doesn't teach like your dad. Your mom and dad lecture a lot. My dad is quiet and a man of few words. You just wait till this Saturday. I'll tell him you're ready. You mean I did set up? No, not really, but maybe. Dad will explain on Saturday. Waiting in line on Saturday. I was ready to face Mike's dad. Even my real dad was angry with him. My real dad, the one I called the poor one, thought that my rich dad was violating child labor laws and should be investigated. My educated poor dad told me to demand what I deserve, at least 25 cents an hour. My poor dad told me that if I did not get a raise, I was to quit immediately. You don't need that damn job anyway, said my poor dad with indignation. At 8 o'clock Saturday morning, I walked through the door of Mike's house when Mike's dad opened it. Take a seat and wait in line, he said as I entered. He turned and disappeared into his little office next to a bedroom. I looked around the room and didn't see Mike anywhere. Feeling awkward, I cautiously sat down next to the same 2 women who were there 4 weeks earlier. They smiled and slid down the couch to make room for me. 45 minutes went by and I was steaming. The 2 women had met with him and left 30 minutes earlier. An older gentleman was in there for 20 minutes and was also gone. The house was empty, and here I sat in a musty, dark living room on a beautiful sunny Hawaiian day, waiting to talk to a cheapskate who exploited children. I could hear him rustling around the office, talking on the phone and ignoring me. I was ready to walk out, but for some reason, I stayed. Finally, 15 minutes later, exactly 9 o'clock, Rich Dad walked out of his office, said nothing, and signaled with his hand before we enter. I understand you want a raise or you're going to quit, Rich Dad said as he swiveled in his office chair. Well, you're not keeping your end of the bargain, I blurted out, nearly in tears. It was really frightening for me to confront a grown-up. You said that you would teach me if I worked for you. Well, I've worked for you. I've worked hard. I've given up my baseball game to work for you. You haven't kept your word, and you haven't taught me anything. You're a crook like everyone in town thinks you are. You're greedy. You want all the money and don't take care of your employees. You made me wait and don't show me any respect. I'm only a little boy, but I deserve to be treated better. Rich Dad rocked back in his swivel chair, hands up to his chin, and stared at me. Not bad, he said. In less than a month, you sound like most of my employees. What? I asked, not understanding what he was saying. I continued with my grievance. I thought you were going to keep your end of the bargain and teach me. Instead, you want to torture me? That's cruel. That's really cruel. I am teaching you, Rich Dad said quietly. What have you taught me? Nothing, I said angrily. You haven't even talked to me once since I agreed to work for peanuts. 10 cents an hour. Ha! I should notify the government about you. We have child labor laws, you know. My dad works for the government, you know. Wow, said Rich Dad. Now you sound just like most of the people who used to work for me. People I've either fired or who have quit. So what do you have to say? I demanded, feeling pretty brave for a little kid. You lied to me. I've worked for you and you have not kept your word. You haven't taught me anything. How do you know that I've not taught you anything? Asked Rich Dad calmly. Well, you never talked to me. I've worked for 3 weeks and you have not taught me anything, I said with a pout. Does teaching mean talking or lecture? Rich Dad asked. Well, yes, I replied. That's how they teach you in school, he said smiling. The tone of learning. Edgar Dale gets credit for helping us to understand that we learn best through action, doing the real thing or simulation. Sometimes it's called experiential learning. Dale and his tone of learning tell us that reading and lecture are the least effective ways to learn, and yet we all know how most schools teach, reading and lecture. See chart 4 in the bonus material. But that is not how life teaches you, and I would say that life is the best teacher of all. Most of the time, life does not talk to you. It just sort of pushes you around. Each push is life saying, wake up, there's something I want you to learn. What is this man talking about? I asked myself. Life pushing me around was life talking to me? Now I knew I had to quit my job. I was talking to someone who needed to be locked up. If you learn life lessons, you'll do well. If not, life will just continue to push you around. People do two things. Some just let life push them around. Others get angry and push back. But they push back against their boss or their job or their husband or wife. They do not know it's life that's pushing. I had no idea what he was talking about. Life pushes all of us around. Some people give up and others fight. A few learn a lesson and move on. They welcome life pushing them around. To these few people, it means they need and want to learn something. They learn and move on. Most quit, and a few like you, fight. Rich dad stood and shut the creaky old wooden window that needed repair. If you learn this lesson, you will grow into a wise, wealthy, and happy young man. If you don't, you will spend your life blaming a job, low pay, or your boss for your problems. You'll live life always hoping for that big break that will solve all your money problems. Rich dad looked over at me to see if I was still listening. His eyes met mine. We stared at each other, communicating through our eyes. Finally, I looked away once I absorbed his message. I knew he was right. I was blaming him, and I did ask to learn. I was fighting. Life as a teacher. Today's millennials are learning the hard facts of life. Jobs are hard to find. Robots are replacing workers by the millions. Learning by making mistakes through trial and error is more and more important. Book learning is proving to be less valuable in the real world. No longer does college education guarantee a job. Rich dad continued. Or if you're the kind of person who has no guts, you just give up every time life pushes you. If you're that kind of person, you'll live all your life playing it safe, doing the right things, saving yourself for some event that never happens. Then you die a boring old man. You have lots of friends who really like you because you're such a nice, hardworking guy. But the truth is, you let life push you into submission. Deep down, you were terrified of taking risks. You really wanted to win, but the fear of losing was greater than the excitement of winning. Deep inside, you and only you will know you didn't go for it. You chose to play it safe. Our eyes met again. You've been pushing me around? I asked. Some people might say that, smiled Rich dad. I would say that I gave you a taste of life. What's a taste of life? I asked, still angry, but now curious and ready to learn. You boys are the first people who ever asked me to teach them how to make money. I have more than 150 employees, and not one of them has asked me what I know about money. They ask me for a job and a paycheck, but never to teach them about money. So most will spend the best years of their lives working for money, not really understanding what it is they're working for. I sat there listening intently. So when Mike told me he wanted to learn how to make money, I decided to design a course that mirrored real life. I could talk until I was blue in the face, but you wouldn't hear a thing. So I decided to let life push you around a bit so you could hear me. That's why I only paid you 10 cents. So what is the lesson I learned from working for only 10 cents an hour? I asked. That you're cheap and exploit your workers? Rich dad rocked back and laughed heartily. Finally he said, you best change your point of view. Stop blaming me and thinking I'm the problem. If you think I'm the problem, then you have to change me. If you realize that you're the problem, then you can change yourself, learn something, and grow wiser. Most people want everyone else in the world to change for themselves. Let me tell you, it's easier to change yourself than everyone else. Change what you can. I've learned the truth and wisdom of Rich dad's words. So much of life is out of our control. I've learned to focus on what I do have control over, myself. And if things must change, first, I must change. I don't understand, I said. Don't blame me for your problems, Rich dad said, growing impatient. But you only pay me 10 cents. So what are you learning? Rich dad asked, smiling. That you're cheap, I said with a sly grin. See, you think I'm the problem, said Rich dad. But you are. Well, keep that attitude and you'll learn nothing. Keep the attitude that I'm the problem, and what choices do you have? Well, if you don't pay me more or show me more respect and teach me, I'll quit. Well put, Rich dad said. And that's exactly what most people do. They quit and go looking for another job, a better opportunity, and higher pay, actually thinking that this will solve the problem. In most cases, it won't. So what should I do? I asked. Just take this measly 10 cents an hour and smile? Rich dad smiled. That's what the other people do. But that's all they do. Waiting for a raise, thinking that more money will solve their problems. Most just accept it. And some take a second job working harder, but again accepting a small paycheck. I was staring at the floor, beginning to understand the lesson Rich dad was presenting. I could sense it was a taste of life. Finally, I looked up and asked, so what will solve the problem? This, he said, leaning forward in his chair and tapping me gently on the head. This stuff between your ears. It was at that moment that Rich dad shared the pivotal point of view that separated him from his employees and my poor dad, and led to eventually become one of the richest men in Hawaii, while my highly educated but poor dad struggled financially all his life. It was a singular point of view that made all the difference over a lifetime. Rich dad explained this point of view over and over, which I call lesson number 1. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. On that bright Saturday morning, I learned a completely different point of view from what I had been taught by my poor dad. At the age of 9, I understand that both dads wanted me to learn. Both dads encouraged me to study, but not the same things. My highly educated dad recommended that I do what he did. Son, I want you to study hard, get good grades so you can find a safe, secure job with a big company, and make sure it has excellent benefits. My rich dad wanted me to learn how money works, so I could make it work for me. These lessons I would learn through life with his guidance, not because of a classroom. Assets over income. Buying or building assets that deliver cash flow is putting your money to work for you. High-paying jobs mean two things. You're working for money, and the taxes you pay will probably increase. I've learned to put my money to work for me and enjoy the tax benefits of generating income that doesn't come from a paycheck. My rich dad continued my first lesson. I'm glad you got angry about working for 10 cents an hour. If you hadn't got angry and had simply accepted it, I would have to tell you that I could not teach you. You see, true learning takes energy, passion, and a burning desire. Anger is a big part of that formula. For passion is anger and love combined. When it comes to money, most people want to play it safe and feel secure, so passion does not direct them. Fear does. So is that why they'll take jobs with low pay? I asked. Yes, said Rich dad. Some people say I exploit people because I don't pay as much as the sugar plantation or the government. I say that people exploit themselves. It's their fear, not mine. But don't you feel you should pay them more? I asked. I don't have to. And besides, more money will not solve their problems. Just look at your dad. He makes a lot of money and he still can't pay his bills. Most people give him more money, only getting more debt. So that's why the 10 cents an hour, I said smiling. It's part of the lesson. That's right, smiled Rich dad. You see, your dad went to school and got an excellent education, so he could get a high-paying job. But he still has money problems because he never learned anything about money in school. On top of that, he believes in working for money. And you don't? I asked. No, not really, said Rich dad. If you want to learn to work for money, then stay in school. That's a great place to learn to do that. But if you want to learn how to have money work for you, then I will teach you that. But only if you want to learn. Wouldn't everyone want to learn that? I asked. No, said Rich dad. Simply because it's easier to learn to work for money, especially if fear is your primary emotion when the subject of money is discussed. Go to school. While I am a huge supporter of education and lifelong learning, going to school, especially college, has become a financial nightmare. Student loan debt is at record highs, with 44 million Americans owing nearly $1.3 trillion. Again, that's trillion, with a T. I don't understand, I said with a frown. Don't worry about that for now. Just know that it's fear that keeps most people working a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn a professional trade and then working for money. Most people become a slave to money and then get angry at the boss. Learning to have money work for you is a completely different course of study, I asked. Absolutely, Rich dad answered. Absolutely. We sat in silence on that beautiful Hawaiian Saturday morning. My friends had just started a little league baseball game, but for some reason I was now thankful I had decided to work for 10 cents an hour. I sensed that I was about to learn something my friends wouldn't learn in school. Ready to learn? Asked Rich dad. Absolutely, I said with a grin. I kept my promise. I've been teaching you from afar, my Rich dad said. At 9 years old, you've got a taste of what it feels like to work for money. Just multiply your last month by 50 years, and you'll have an idea of what most people spend their life doing. I don't understand, I said. How did you feel waiting in line to see me? Once you get hired, and once asked for more money? Terrible, I said. If you choose to work for money, that is what life will be like, said Rich dad. And how did you feel when Miss Martin dropped 3 times in your hand for 3 hours of work? I felt like it wasn't enough. It seemed like nothing. I was disappointed, I said. And that is how most employees feel when they look at their paychecks, especially after all the tax and other deductions are taken out. At least you got 100%. You mean most workers don't get paid everything? I asked with amazement. Heavens no, said Rich dad. The government always takes its share first. How do they do that? I asked. Taxes, said Rich dad. You're taxed when you earn, you're taxed when you spend, you're taxed when you save, you're taxed when you die. Why do people let the government do that to them? The rich don't, said Rich dad with a smile. The poor and the middle class do. I'll bet you that I earn more than your dad, yet he pays more in taxes. How could that be? I asked. At my age, that made no sense to me. Why would someone let the government do that to them? Rich dad rocked slowly and silently in his chair, just looking at me. Taxes, taxes, taxes. As governments expand and need more and more money, the only place to get it is the middle class. That means the workers. Every government now favors the professional investor and business owners. Workers pay tax. Investors and business owners pay very little tax if they use the tax laws intended as a tool to build the economy. Ready to learn? He asked. I nodded my head slowly. As I said, there's a lot to learn. Learning how to have money work for you is a lifetime study. Most people go to college for 4 years and their education ends. I already know that my study of money will continue over my lifetime, simply because the more I find out, the more I need to know. Most people never study the subject. They go to work, get their paycheck, balance their checkbooks, and that's it. Then they wonder why they have money problems. They think that more money will solve the problem, and don't realize that it's their lack of financial education that is the problem. So my dad has tax problems because he doesn't understand money? I asked, confused. Look, said Rich dad. Taxes are just one small section on learning how to have money work for you. Today, I just wanted to find out if you still have the passion to learn about money. Most people don't. They want to go to school, learn a profession, have fun at their work, and earn lots of money. One day they wake up with big money problems, and then they can't stop working. That's the price of only knowing how to work for money instead of studying how to have money work for you. So, do you still have the passion to learn? Asked Rich dad. I nodded my head. Good, said Rich dad. Now, get back to work. This time I will pay you nothing. What? I asked in amazement. You heard me? Nothing. You will work the same 3 hours every Saturday, but this time you will not be paid 10 cents per hour. You said you wanted to learn to not work for money, so I'm not going to pay you anything. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I've already had this conversation with Mike, and he's already working, dusting, stacking canned goods for free. You better hurry and get back there. That's not fair, I shouted. You've got to pay something. You said you wanted to learn. If you don't learn this now, you'll grow up to be like the 2 women and the older man sitting in my living room, working for money and hoping I don't fire them. Or like your dad, earning lots of money, only to be in debt to his eyeballs, hoping more money will solve the problem. If that's what you want, I'll go back to our original deal of 10 cents an hour. Or you can do what most adults do. Complain that there's not enough pay, quit, and go looking for another job. But what do I do? I asked. Rich dad tapped me on the head. Use this, he said. If you use it well, you will soon thank me for giving you an opportunity, and you will grow into a rich man. I stood there, still not believing what a raw deal I was handed. I came to ask for a raise, and somehow I was instead working for nothing. Rich dad tapped me on the head again and said, use this. Now, get out of here and get back to work. Lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. I didn't tell my poor dad I wasn't being paid. He wouldn't have understood, and I didn't want to try to explain something I didn't understand myself. For 3 more weeks, Mike and I worked 3 hours every Saturday for nothing. The work didn't bother me, and the routine got easier, but it was the missed baseball games and not being able to afford to buy a few comic books that got to me. Rich dad stopped by at noon on the 3rd week. We were just truck pulled out of the parking lot and started when the engine was turned off. He entered the store and greeted us smart with a hug. After finding out how things were going in the store, he reached into the ice cream freezer, pulled out 2 bars, paid for them, and signaled to Mike and me. Let's go for a walk, boys. We crossed the street, dodging a few cars, and walked across a large grassy field where a few adults were playing softball. Sitting down at lone picnic tables, he handed Mike and me the treats. How's it going, boys? Okay, Mike said. I nodded in agreement. Learn anything yet? Rich dad asked. Mike and I looked at each other, shrugged our shoulders, and shook our heads in unison. Avoiding one of life's biggest traps. Well, you boys had better start thinking. You're staring at one of life's biggest lessons. If you learn it, you'll enjoy a life of great freedom and security. If you don't, you'll wind up like Mrs. Martin and most of the people playing softball in this park. They work very hard for little money, clinging to the illusion of job security, and looking forward to a 3-week vacation each year and maybe a sneaky pension after 45 years of service. If that excites you, I'll give you a raise to 25 cents an hour. But these are good, hardworking people. Are you making fun of them? I demanded. A smile came over Rich dad's face. Mrs. Martin is like a mother to me. I would never be that cruel. I may sound unkind because I'm doing my best to point something out to the 2 of you. I want to expand your point of view so you can see something most people never have the benefit of seeing because their vision is too narrow. Most people never see the track they're in. Mike and I sat there, uncertain of his message. He sounded cruel. It would get sense he was trying to drive home a point. With a smile, Rich dad said, doesn't that 25 cents an hour sound good? Doesn't it make your heart beat a little faster? I shook my head, no, but it really did. 25 cents an hour would be big bucks to me. Okay, I'll pay you $1 an hour, Rich dad said with a sly grin. Now my heart started to race. My brain was screaming, take it, take it. I could not believe what I was hearing. Still, I said nothing. Okay, $2 an hour. My little brain and heart nearly exploded. After all, it was 1956, and being paid $2 an hour would have made me the richest kid in the world. I couldn't imagine earning that kind of money. I wanted to say yes. I wanted the deal. I could picture a new bicycle, new baseball glove, and the adoration of my friends when I flashed some cash. On top of that, Jimmy and his rich friends could never call me poor again. But somehow my mouth stayed shut. The ice cream melted and was running down my hand. Rich dad was looking at 2 boys staring back at him, eyes wide open and brains empty. He was testing us, and he knew there was part of our emotions that wanted to take the deal. He understood that every person has a weak and needy part of their soul that can be bought, and he knew that every individual also had a part of their soul that was resilient and could never be bought. It was only a question of which one was stronger. Okay, $5 an hour. Suddenly, I decided. Something had changed. The offer was too big and ridiculous. Not many grown-ups in 1956 made more than that. But quickly my temptation disappeared and calm set in. Slowly I turned to my left to look at Mike. He looked back at me. The part of my soul that was weak and needy was silence. The part of me that had no price took over. I knew Mike had gotten to that point too. Good, Rich dad said softly. Most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions named fear and greed. First, the fear of being without money motivates us to work hard, and then once we get that paycheck, greed or desire starts us thinking about all the wonderful things money can buy. The pattern is then set. What pattern? I asked. The pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills. People's lives are forever controlled by 2 emotions, fear and greed. Offer them more money, and they continue the cycle by increasing their spending. This is what I call the rat race. There is another way, Mike asked. Yes, said Rich dad slowly, but only a few people find it. And what is that way? Mike asked. That's what I hope you boys will learn as you work and study with me. That is why I took away all forms of pay. Any hints? Mike asked. We're kind of tired of working hard, especially for nothing. Well, the first step is telling the truth, said Rich dad. We haven't been lying, I said. I did not say you were lying. I said to tell the truth, Rich dad retorted. The truth about what? I asked. How you're feeling, Rich dad said. You don't have to say it to anyone else, just admit it to yourself. You mean the people in this park, the people who work for you, Mrs. Martin, they don't do that? I asked. I got it, said Rich dad. Instead, they feel the fear of not having money. They don't confront it logically. They react emotionally instead of using their heads, Rich dad said. Then they get a few bucks in their hands, and again, the emotions of joy, desire, and greed take over. And again, they react instead of think. The number 1 fear. As the world population ages and more people move toward retirement, it's been reported that the number 1 fear is tied to money. Nearly 50% of the survey fear that they will outlive their money, running out of money in their golden years. So their emotions control their brain, Mike said. That's correct, said Rich dad. Instead of admitting the truth about how they feel, they react to their feelings and fail to think. They feel the fear, so they go to work, hoping that money will soothe the fear. But it doesn't. It continues to haunt them, and they return to work, hoping again that money will calm their fears. And again, it doesn't. Fear keeps them in this trap of working, earning money, hoping the fear will go away. But every day they get up, and that old fear wakes up with them. For millions of people, that old fear keeps them awake all night, causing a night of turmoil and worry. So they get up and go to work, hoping that a paycheck will kill that fear, gnawing at their soul. Money is running their lives, and they refuse to tell the truth about that. Money is in control of their emotions and their souls. Rich dad sat quietly, letting his words sink in. Mike had heard what he said, but didn't understand fully what he was talking about. I just knew that I often wondered why grown-ups worry off to work. It did not seem like much fun, and they never looked that happy, but something kept them going. Realizing we had absorbed as much as possible of what he was talking about, Rich dad said, I want you boys to avoid that trap. That is really what I want to teach you. Not just to be rich, because being rich does not solve the problem. It doesn't? I asked, surprised. No, it doesn't. Let me explain the other emotion. Desire. Some call it greed, but I prefer desire. It's perfectly normal to desire something better, prettier, more fun, or exciting. So people also work for money because of desire. They desire money for the joy they think they can buy. But the joy that money brings is often short-lived, and they soon need more money for more joy, more pleasure, more comfort, and more security. So they keep working, thinking money will soothe their souls that are troubled by fear and desire. But money can't do that. Even rich people do this, Mike asked. Rich people included, said Rich dad. In fact, the reason many rich people are rich is because of desire, but because of fear. They believe that money can eliminate the fear of being poor, so they amass tons of it, only to find the fear gets worse. Now they fear losing money. I have friends who keep working even though they have plenty. I know people who have millions who are more afraid now than when they were poor. They're terrified of losing all. The fears that drove them to get rich got worse. That weak and needy part of their soul is actually screaming louder. They don't want to lose the big houses, the cars, and the high life money has bought them. They worry about what their friends would say if they lost all their money. Many are emotionally desperate and near right, although they look rich and have more money. So is a poor man happier? I asked. No, I don't think so, replied Rich dad. The avoidance of money is just as psychotic as being attached to money. As if on cue, the town derelict went past our table, stopping by the large garbage can and rummaging around it. The 3 of us watched him with great interest, when before we probably would have just ignored him. Rich dad pulled a dollar out of his wallet and gestured to the older man. Seeing money, the derelict came over immediately, took the bill, thanked Rich dad profusely, and hurried off, ecstatic with his good fortune. He's not much different from most of my employees, said Rich dad. I've met so many people who say, oh, I'm not interested in money. If they work a job for 8 hours a day. That's a denial of truth. If they weren't interested in money, then why are they working? That kind of thing is probably more psychotic than the person who hoards money. As I sat there listening to my Rich dad, my mind flashed back to the countless times my own dad said, I'm not interested in money. He said those words often. He also covered himself by always saying, I work because I love my job. So what do we do? I asked. Not work for money until all traces of fear and greed are gone? No, that would be a waste of time, said Rich dad. Emotions are what makes us human. The word emotion stands for energy emotion. Be truthful about your emotions and use your mind and emotions in your favor, not against yourself. Whoa, said Mike. Don't worry about what I just said. It will make more sense in years to come. Just be an observer, not a reactor to your emotions. Most people do not know that it's their emotions that are doing the thinking. Your emotions are your emotions, but you have got to learn to do your own thinking. Can you give me an example? I asked. Sure, replied Rich dad. When a person says, I need to find a job, it's most likely an emotion doing the thinking. Fear of not having money generates that thought. But people do need money, they have bills to pay, I said. Sure they do, smiled Rich dad. All I'm saying is that it's fear that is all too often doing the thinking. I don't understand, said Mike. For example, said Rich dad, if the fear of not having enough money arises, instead of immediately running out to get a job, instead might ask themselves this question. Will a job be the best solution to this fear over the long run? In my opinion, the answer is no. A job is really a short-term solution to a long-term problem. But my dad is always saying, stay in school and get a good grades so you can find a safe, secure job, I interjected. Somewhat confused. Yes, I understand he says that, said Rich dad, smiling. Most people recommend that, and it's a good path for most people. But people make that recommendation primarily out of fear. You mean my dad says that because he's afraid? Yes, said Rich dad. He's terrified that you won't earn enough money and won't fit into society. Don't get me wrong, he loves you and wants the best for you. I too believe education and a job are important, but it won't handle the fear. You see, the same fear that makes him get up in the morning to earn a few bucks is the fear that's causing him to be so fanatical about going to school. So what do you recommend? I asked. I want to teach you to master the power of money instead of being afraid of it. They don't teach that in school, and if you don't learn it, you become a slave to money. Mastering money. With the advent of derivatives and increasingly complex economy, mastering money has become essential to surviving in the world economy. With low interest rates and uncertain stock market, the old adages of saving and investing for the long term make no sense. It was finally making sense. He wanted us to widen our views and see what the smartens of this world couldn't see. He used examples that sounded cruel at the time, but I've never forgotten them. My vision widened that day, and I began to see the trap that lay ahead for most people. You see, we're all employees ultimately. We just work at different levels, said Rich dad. I just want you boys to have a chance to avoid the trap caused by those two emotions, fear and desire. Use them in your favor, not against you. That's what I want to teach you. I'm not interested in just teaching you to make a pile of money. That won't handle fear or desire. If you don't first handle fear and desire and you get rich, you'll only be a highly paid slave. So how do we avoid the trap? I asked. The main cause of poverty or financial struggle is fear and ignorance, not the economy or the government or the rich. It's self-inflicted fear and ignorance that keep people trapped. So you boys go to school and get your college degrees, and I'll teach you how to stay out of the trap. The pieces of the puzzle were appearing. My highly educated dad had great education and great career, but school never told him how to handle money or his fear of it. It became clear that I could learn different and important things from two fathers. So you've been talking about the fear of not having money. How does the desire for money affect our thinking? Mike asked. How did you feel when I texted you with a pay raise? Did you notice your desires rising? We nodded our heads. By not giving into your emotions, you're able to delay your reactions and think. That is important. We will always have emotions of fear and greed. From here on in, it's imperative for you to use those emotions to your advantage, and for the long term, to not let your emotions control your thinking. Most people use fear and greed against themselves. That's the start of ignorance. Most people live their lives chasing paychecks, pay raises, and job security because of the emotions of desire and fear, not really questioning where those emotion-driven thoughts are leading them. It's just like the picture of a donkey dragging a cart with its owner dangling a carrot just in front of its nose. The donkey's owner may be going where he wants to, but the donkey is chasing an illusion. Tomorrow there will only be another carrot for the donkey. You mean the one I pictured with baseball glove, candy, and toys, that's like a carrot to a donkey? Mike asked. Yes. And as you get older, your toys get more expensive. And a car, a boat, and a big house to impress your friends, said Richard with a smile. Fear pushes you out the door, and desire calls you. That's the trap. So what's the answer? Mike asked. What intensifies fear and desire is ignorance. That's why rich people with lots of money often have more fear the richer they get. Money is the carrot, the illusion. If the donkey could see the whole picture, it might rethink its choice to chase the carrot. Richard went on to explain that human's life is a struggle between ignorance and illumination. He explained that once a person stops searching for information and self-knowledge, ignorance sets in. That struggle is a moment-to-moment decision to learn to open or close one's mind. Look, school is very important. You go to school to learn a skill or profession to become a contributing member of society. Every culture needs teachers, doctors, mechanics, artists, cooks, business people, police officers, firefighters, and soldiers. Schools train us so society can thrive and flourish, said Richard. Unfortunately for many people, school is the end, not the beginning. There was a long silence. Richard was smiling. I didn't comprehend everything he said that day, but as with most great teachers, his words continued to teach for years. I feel a little cruel today, said Richard, but I want you to always remember this talk. I want you to always think of this Martin, and I want you to always remember that donkey. Never forget that fear and desire can lead you into life's biggest trap if you're not aware of them controlling your thinking. To spend your life living in fear, never exploring your dreams is cruel. To work hard for money thinking it will buy you things that will make you happy is also cruel. To wake up in the middle of the night, terrified about paying bills, is a horrible way to live. To live life dictated by the size of a paycheck is not really living life. Thinking that a job makes you secure is lying to yourself. That's cruel, and that's the trap I want you to avoid. I've seen how money runs people's lives. Don't let that happen to you. Please don't let money run your life. A softball rolled under our table. Richard picked it up and threw it back. So what does ignorance have to do with greed and fear? I asked. Because it's ignorance about money that causes so much greed and fear, said Richard. Let me give you some examples. A doctor wanting more money to better provide for his family raises his fees. By raising his fees, it makes healthcare more expensive for everyone. It hurts the poor people most, so they have worse health than those with money. Because the doctors raise their fees, the attorneys raise their fees. Because the attorneys fees go up, school teachers want to raise, which raises our taxes, and on and on and on. Soon there will be such a horrifying gap between the rich and the poor that chaos will break out, and another great civilization will collapse. History proves that great civilizations collapse when the gap between the haves and have-nots is too great. Income inequality. In his 2016 U.S. presidential bid, Senator Bernie Sanders stated, wealth and income inequality is the biggest moral crisis facing Americans today. Sadly, America is on that same course because we haven't learned from history. We only memorize historical dates and names, not the lesson. Are prices supposed to go up? I asked. In an educated society with a well-run government, prices should actually come down. Of course, that is often only true in theory. Prices go up because of greed and fear caused by ignorance. If schools taught people about money, there would be more money and lower prices. But schools focus only on teaching people to work for money, not how to harness money's power. But don't we have business schools? Mike asked. And have you encouraged me to go for my MBA? Yes, said Richard. But all too often, business schools train employees to become sophisticated bean counters. Heaven forbid, bean counter takes over business. All they do is look at the numbers, fire people, and kill the business. I know this because I hire bean counters. All they think about is cutting costs and raising prices, which cause more problems. Bean counting is important. I wish more people knew it, but it too is not the whole picture, added Richard angrily. So is there an answer? Asked Mike. Yes, said Richard. Learn to use your emotions to think, not think with your emotions. When you always mastered your emotions by agreeing to work for free, I knew there was hope. When you again resisted your emotions when I tempted you with more money, you were again learning to think in spite of being emotionally charged. That's the first step. Why is that step so important? I asked. Well, that's up to you to find out. If you want to learn, I'll take you boys into the briar patch, a place almost everyone else avoids. If you go with me, you'll let go of the idea of working for money, and instead learn to have money work for you. And what will we get if we go with you? What if we agree to learn from you? What will we get? I asked. The same thing Brer Rabbit got, said Richard, referring to the classic children's story. Is there a briar patch? I asked. Yes, said Richard. The briar patch is our fear and greed. Confronting fear, weaknesses, and needs by choosing our own thoughts is the way out. Choosing our thoughts? Mike asked, puzzled. Yes, choosing what we think rather than reacting to our emotions. Instead of just getting up and going to work because not having money to pay your bills is scaring you. Ask yourself, is working hard with this the best solution to this problem? Most people are too afraid to rationally think things through, and instead run out the door to a job they hate. The target is in control. That's what I mean by choosing your thoughts. And how do you do that? Mike asked. That's what I will teach you. I'll teach you to have a choice of thoughts rather than a knee-jerk reaction, like gulping down your morning coffee and running out the door. Remember what I said before. A job is only a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Most people have only one problem in mind, and it's short-term. It's the bills at the end of the month, the car baby. Money controls their lives, or should I say that fear and ignorance about money controls it. So they do as their parents did. They get up every day and go work for money, not taking time to ask the question, is there another way? Their emotions now control their thinking, not their heads. Emotions and intelligence. I constantly work to control my thoughts and my emotions. I've seen this play out over and over in my life. When emotion goes up, intelligence goes down. Can you tell the difference between emotions thinking and head thinking? Mike asked. Oh yes, I hear it all the time, said Richard. I hear things like, well, everyone has to work, or the rich are crooks, or I'll get another job, I deserve this raise, you can't push me around, or I like this job because it's secure. No one asks, is there something I'm missing here, which will break through the emotional thought and give you time to think clearly? As we headed back to the store, Richard explained that the rich really did make money. They did not work for it. He went on to explain that when Mike and I were casting 5-cent pieces out of lead, thinking we were making money, we were very close to thinking the way the rich think. The problem was that creating money is legal for the government and banks to do, but illegal for us to do. There are legal ways to create money from nothing, he told us. Richard went on to explain that the rich know that money is an illusion, truly like the carrot for the donkey. It's only out of fear and greed that the illusion of money is held together by billions of people who believe that money is real. It's not. Money is really made up. It is only because of the illusion of confidence and the ignorance of the masses that this house of cards stands. He talked about the gold standard that America was on, and that each dollar bill was actually a silver certificate. What concerning him was the rumor that we would someday go off the gold standard, and our dollars would no longer be backed by something tangible. If that happens, boys, all hell will break loose. The poor, the middle class, and the ignorant will have their lives ruined simply because they will continue to believe that money is real, and the company they work for or the government will look after them. We really did not understand what he was saying that day, but over the years it made more and more sense. Seeing what others miss. As he climbed into his pickup truck outside the convenience store, Richard said, keep working, boys. The sooner you forget about needing a paycheck, the easier your adult life will be. Keep using your brain, work for free. And soon your mind will show you ways of making money far beyond what I could ever pay you. You will see things that other people never see. Most people never see these opportunities because they're looking for money and security, so that's all they get. The moment you see one opportunity, you'll see them for the rest of your life. The moment you do that, I'll teach you something else. Learn this and you'll avoid one of life's biggest traps. Mike and I picked up our things from the store and waved goodbye to Mrs. Martin. We went back to the park to the same picnic bench and spent several more hours thinking and talking. We spent the next week at school thinking and talking too. For 2 more weeks, we kept thinking, talking, and working for free. At the end of the second Saturday, I was again saying goodbye to Mrs. Martin and looking at the comic book stand with longing gaze. The hard thing about not even getting 30 cents every Saturday was that I didn't have any money to buy comic books. Suddenly, as Mrs. Martin said goodbye to Mike and me, I saw her do something I'd never seen her do before. Mrs. Martin was cutting the front page of the comic book in half. She cut the top half of the comic book cover and threw the rest of the book into a large cardboard box. When I asked her what she did with the comic books, she said, I throw them away. I give the top half of the cover back to the comic book distributor for credit when he brings in the new comics. He's coming in an hour. Mike and I waited for an hour. Soon the distributor arrived, and I asked him if we could have the comic books. To my delight, he said, you can have them as work for the store and do not resell them. Remember our old business partnership? Well, Mike and I revived it. Using a spare room in Mike's basement, we began piling hundreds of comic books in that room. Soon, our comic book library was open to the public. We hired Mike's younger sister, who loved to study, to be head librarian. She charged each child 10 cents admission to the library, which was open from 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. every day after school. The customers, the children of the neighborhood, could read as many comics as they wanted in 2 hours. It was a bargain for them, since the comic cost 10 cents each, and they could read 5 or 6 in 2 hours. Mike's sister would check the kids as they left to make sure they weren't borrowing any comic books. She also kept the books, logging in how many kids showed up each day, who they were, and any comics they may have. Mike and I averaged $9.50 per week over a 3-month period. We paid sister $1 a week and allowed her to read comics for free, which she rarely did since she was always studying. Mike and I kept our agreement by working the store every Saturday and collecting all the comic books from the different stores. We kept our agreement to the distributor by not selling any comic books. We burned them once they got too patterned. We tried opening a branch office, but we could never quite find someone as trustworthy and dedicated as my sister. At an early age, we found out how hard it was to find good staff. 3 months after the library first opened, a fight broke out in the room. Some bullies from another neighborhood pushed their way in, and Mike's dad suggested we shut down the business. So our comic book business shut down, and we stopped working on Saturdays at the convenience store. But Rich Dad was excited because he had new things he wanted to teach us. He was happy because we learned our first lesson so well. We learned to make money work for us by not getting paid for our work at the store. We were forced to use our imaginations to identify an opportunity to make money. By starting our own business, the comic book library, we were in control of our own finances, not dependent on an employer. The best part was that our business generated money for us, even when we weren't physically there. Our money worked for us. Instead of paying us money, Rich Dad had given us so much more. The power of imagination. In the information age and the age of the internet, millions of people under the age of 30 are getting rich, using their imaginations to create apps that change the world. From Facebook to Uber to Snapchat and others. Those with imaginations thrive, while those without are still looking for a job that may soon be replaced by robots and technology. Study session. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Summary. When he was 9 years old, Robert Kiyosaki and his childhood friend were invited to a classmate's beach house because they were poor kids in an affluent school. After being told by his poor dad his father was a teacher in neighborhood living but always struggled to make ends meet to simply go and make money, he and his friend Mike did just that. They collected empty toothpaste tubes, which at that time were made of lead. They melted them down and used plaster molds to make counterfeit nickels. They were soon set straight by Robert's dad, who told them they should talk to Mike's dad, who never finished 8th grade, but ran multiple successful businesses. Mike's dad, the rich dad of the book title, agreed to teach them, but on his terms. He had to work 3 hours every Saturday morning at one of his convenience stores, dusting the food packaging and cleaning. He paid them 10 cents an hour, which Robert usually spent on 10-cent comic books. Fairly quickly, Robert grew disenchanted with the boring work and low pay. When he told his friend he was going to quit, Mike told him that his dad said that would happen, and that Robert needed to meet with him. Robert's dad, the school teacher, used lectures, but Mike's dad was a man of few words, and talked in a very different way, which Robert was about to find out. The next Saturday morning, Robert went to meet Mike's dad, but was kept waiting in the dusty, dark living room for an hour. He was fed up and emotional by the time he got to complain to Mike's dad, accusing him of being greedy and not showing respect. When he said Mike's dad hadn't taught him anything despite their agreement, the business owner calmly disagreed. His rich dad explained that life doesn't teach you with words, but by pushing you around. Some people let life push them around. Others get angry and push back against their boss or their loved ones. But some people learn a lesson from it, and in fact welcome life pushing them around because it means they need to learn something. Those who don't learn that lesson spend their lives blaming everyone else and waiting for a big break, or decide to play it safe and never risk or win big. He told Robert that he and Mike were the first people who ever asked him to teach them how to make money. He had more than 150 employees, and though they had asked for a job, they had never asked for the knowledge that Robert and Mike wanted. So the rich dad decided to create a course that mirrored life and pushed the boys around a little. Robert asked what lesson he learned, other than that his rich dad was cheap and exploited his workers. The rich dad challenged him on this, saying that most people blamed others when in fact their attitude was the problem. What would solve the problem? His brain, Mike's dad told him. He wanted Robert to learn how money works so he could make it work for him. He was also glad that Robert was angry, because anger combines with love to create passion, a key component of learning. Money wouldn't solve people's problems, he went on. Many people who have a high-paying job still struggle with money problems, like Robert's poor dad, because they didn't know how to make money work for them. He said that the emotions Robert felt working for those 10 cents an hour, disappointment and feeling like it wasn't enough, was what he'd feel like his whole life if he didn't learn this lesson now. He introduced Robert to the concept of taxes, explaining that the poor and middle class allow the government to tax them, but the rich don't. He asked if Robert still had a passion to learn. When he said yes, his rich dad told him he was going to stop paying for the work at the store. He told Robert to use his head to figure it out. Robert and Mike worked for free for 3 weeks. Mike's dad showed up and took them outside for a talk, asking if they learned anything yet. They hadn't. The rich dad told them if they didn't learn this lesson, they'd be like most people who work hard for a little money their whole lives. He offered them 25 cents an hour, which they resisted. He upped it to $1 an hour, then $2, but Robert stayed silent. A final offer of $5 an hour, a princely sum at that time, solidified for Robert that he wouldn't be bought. The rich dad said it was good they didn't have a price. Most people did, because their lives are controlled by fear and greed. Fear of being without makes them work hard and earn a paycheck, but once they have that money, greed gets them thinking about all the things they could buy, which makes them need more money, which makes them spend more. It's what the rich dad called the rat race. He told the boys that the first step was admitting to themselves what they were feeling. Too often people reacted to their emotions instead of thinking logically. They're afraid to admit money is running their lives, and so money controls them. It's not just the poor who face that fear. The rich often operate from a place of fear. He wanted to teach the boys to not just be rich, because money doesn't solve the problem. School is important, he told them, but for most people it's the end, not the beginning. And the key for the boys was to learn to use their emotions to think, not to think with their emotions. They must learn to choose their thoughts. He told them to keep an eye out for ways to make money, saying, the moment you see one opportunity, you'll see them for the rest of your life. The boys did, and soon they saw an opportunity in creating a library where kids could pay an admission fee and read as many comic books as they could in 2 hours. Unsold comic books that otherwise would have been thrown away from the convenience store. They made great profit, and the business did well for about 3 months until fight in the library shut it down. But they learned the first lesson of making money work for them, even when they weren't physically present. They were ready to learn more, and Mike's dad was ready to teach them. Left hemisphere moment. Despite having a high-paying job, people like Robert's poor dad struggled to make ends meet. Right hemisphere moment. Looking at the discarded comic books in a new creative way led to a business opportunity. Subconscious moment. People let the emotions of fear and greed rule their lives. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. 2 minds are better than 1. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Life pushes all of us around. Some people give up and others fight. A few learn the lesson and move on. They welcome life pushing them around. Stop blaming me and thinking I'm the problem. If you think I'm the problem, then you have to change me. If you realize that you're the problem, then you can change yourself, learn something, and grow wiser. When it comes to money, most people want to play it safe and feel secure, so passion does not direct them, fear does. Most people give them more money, only get in more debt. It's fear that keeps most people working a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn a professional trade and then working for money. Most people become a slave to money and then get angry at their boss. Most people do not know that it's their emotions that are doing the thinking. A job is really a short-term solution to a long-term problem. It's just like the picture of a donkey driving a cart with its owner dangling a carrot just in front of its nose. The donkey's owner may be doing work he wants to, but the donkey is chasing an illusion. Tomorrow, there will only be another carrot for the donkey. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter along with the understanding of what Robert was saying and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you're giving, ask yourself if you're willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. How common is the approach to money taken by Robert's poor dad? 2. Robert's rich dad said true learning takes energy, passion, and a burning desire. What are examples of when this has proven true in your life? What's one lesson you never forgot and why? 3. Would the pay rate of 10 cents an hour and then nothing an hour have started you the same reaction as Robert? 4. Is it fear that drives most people to work? Are there other factors at play? 5. Is the temptation strong to think that more money will soothe that fear? Why is that such a common reaction? 6. What's an example from your life when you reacted with your emotions? What's a time when you were able to observe your emotions instead and choose your thoughts? 7. Are the rich or the poor more susceptible to those controlling emotions of fear and greed? Why do you think that is? 8. Do you think most people realize they're stuck in the rat race? Why or why not? Chapter 2. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. In 1990, Mike took over his father's empire and is in fact doing a better job than his dad did. We see each other once or twice a year on the golf course. He and his wife are wealthier than you could imagine. Rich dad's empire is in great hands, and Mike is now grooming his son to take his place as his dad had groomed us. In 1994, I retired. I was 47 and my wife Kim was 37. Retirement does not mean not working. For us, it means that barring unforeseen cataclysmic changes, we can work or not work, and our wealth grows automatically, staying ahead of inflation. Our assets are large enough to grow by themselves. It's like planting a tree. You water it for years, and then one day it doesn't need you anymore. Its roots aren't planted deep enough. Then the tree provides shade for your enjoyment. Mike chose to run the empire, and I chose to retire. Whenever I speak to groups of people, they often ask what I would recommend that they do. How do I get started? Is there a book you would recommend? What should I do to prepare my children? What is your secret to success? How do I make millions? Whenever I hear one of these questions, I'm reminded of the following story. The richest businessman. In 1923, a group of our greatest leaders and richest businessmen held a meeting at the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. Among them were Charles Schwab, head of the largest independent steel company, Samuel Insull, president of the world's largest utility, Howard Hudson, head of the largest gas company, Ira Kruger, president of the International Match Company, one of the world's largest companies at that time, Leon Fraser, president of the Bank of International Settlements, Richard Whitney, president of the New York Stock Exchange, Arthur Cotton and Jesse Livermore, two of the biggest stock speculators, and Albert Fall, a member of President Harding's cabinet. 25 years later, 9 of these titans ended their lives as follows. Schwab died penniless after living for 5 years on borrowed money. Insull died broke in foreign land, and Kruger and Cotton also died broke. Hudson went insane. Whitney and Albert Fall were released from prison, and Fraser and Livermore committed suicide. I doubt if anyone can say what really happened to these men. If you look at the date, 1923, it was just before the 1929 market crash and the Great Depression, which I suspect had a great impact on these men and their lives. The point is this. Today, we live in times of greater and faster change than these men did. I suspect there will be many booms and busts in the coming years that will parallel the ups and downs these men faced. I'm concerned that too many people are too focused on money and not on their greatest wealth, their education. If people are prepared to be flexible, keep an open mind and learn, they will grow richer and richer despite tough changes. If they think money will solve problems, they will have a rough ride. Intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Most people fail to realize that in life, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. We've all heard stories of lottery winners who are poor, then suddenly rich, and then poor again. They win millions, yet are soon back where they started. Or stories of professional athletes who at the age of 24 are earning millions, but are sleeping under a bridge 10 years later. I remember a story of a young basketball player who a year ago had millions. Today, at just 29, he claims his friends, attorney and accountant took his money, and he was forced to work at a car wash for minimum wage. He was fired from the car wash because he refused to take off his championship ring as he was wiping off the cars. His story made national news, and he's appealing discrimination, claiming hardship and discrimination. He claims that the ring is all he has left, and if it was stripped away, he'll crumble. I know so many people who became instant millionaires, and while I am glad some people have become richer and richer, I caution them that in the long run, it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep, and for how many generations you keep it. So when people ask, where do I get started, or tell me how to get rich quick, they often are greatly disappointed with my answer. I simply say to them what my rich dad said to me when I was a little kid. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. That idea was drummed into my head every time we were together. As I said, my educated dad stressed the importance of reading books, while my rich dad stressed the need to master financial literacy. If you're going to build the Empire State Building, the first thing you need to do is dig a deep hole and pour a strong foundation. If you're going to build a home in the suburbs, all you need to do is pour a 6-inch slab of concrete. Most people, in their drive to get rich, are trying to build an Empire State Building on a 6-inch slab. Our school system, created in the agrarian age, still believes in homes with no foundation. Dirt floors are still the rage. So kids graduate from school with virtually no financial foundation. One day, sleepless and deep in debt in suburbia, living the American dream, they decide that the answer to their financial problems is to find a way to get rich quick. Construction on the skyscraper begins. It goes up quickly, and soon, instead of the Empire State Building, we have the Leaning Tower of suburbia. The sleepless nights return. As for Mike and me in our adult years, both of our choices were possible because we were taught to pour a strong financial foundation when we were just kids. Accounting is possibly the most confusing, boring subject in the world. But if you want to be rich long term, it could be the most important subject. For Rich Dad, the question was how to take a boring and confusing subject and teach it to kids. The answer he found was to make it simple by teaching it in pictures. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities, but they think they're assets. My Rich Dad poured a strong financial foundation for Mike and me. Since we were just kids, he created a simple way to teach us. For years, he only drew pictures and used few words. Mike and I understood the simple drawings, the jargon, the movement of money, and then in later years, Rich Dad began adding numbers. Today, Mike has gone on to master much more complex and sophisticated accounting analysis because he had to in order to run his empire. I'm not as sophisticated because my empire was smaller, yet we come from the same simple foundation. In the bonus material, I offer you the same simple line drawings Mike's dad created for us. The basic, those drawings help guide two little boys in building great sums of wealth on a solid and deep foundation. Rule number 1. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. If you want to be rich, this is all you need to know. It is rule number 1. It is the only rule. This may sound absurdly simple, but most people have no idea how profound this rule is. Most people struggle financially because they do not know the difference between an asset and a liability. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets, said Rich Dad. When Rich Dad explained this to Mike and me, we thought he was kidding. Here we were, nearly teenagers, and waiting for the secret to getting rich, and this was his answer. It was so simple, we stopped for a long time to think about it. What is an asset? Asked Mike. Don't worry right now, said Rich Dad. Just let the idea sink in. If you can comprehend the simplicity, your life will have a plan and be financially easy. It is simple. That is why the idea is missed. You mean all we need to know is what an asset is, acquire them, and we'll be rich? I asked. Rich Dad nodded his head. It's that simple. If it's that simple, how come everyone is not rich? I asked. Rich Dad smiled. Because people do not know the difference between an asset and a liability. I remember asking, how could adults be so misguided? If it's that simple, if it's that important, why would everyone not want to find out? It took Rich Dad only a few minutes to explain what assets and liabilities were. As an adult, I have difficulty explaining it to other adults. The simplicity of the idea escapes them because they have been educated differently. They were taught by other educated professionals such as bankers, accountants, real estate agents, financial planners, and so forth. The difficulty comes in asking adults to unlearn or become children again. An intelligent adult often feels it is demeaning to pay attention to simplistic definitions. Rich Dad believed in the KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid, or keep it super simple. So he kept it simple for us, and that made our financial foundation strong. An asset puts money in my pocket, a liability takes money out of my pocket. So what causes the confusion? How could something so simple be so screwed up? Why would someone buy an asset that was really a liability? The answer is found in basic education. We focus on the word literacy and not financial literacy. What defines something to be an asset or liability are not words. In fact, if you really want to be confused, look up the words asset and liability in the dictionary. I know the definition may sound good to a trained accountant, but for the average person it makes no sense. But we adults are often too proud to admit that something does not make sense. To us young boys, Rich Dad said, what defines an asset are not words, but numbers. And if you can't read numbers, you can't tell an asset from a hole in the ground. In accounting, Rich Dad would say, it's not the numbers, but what the numbers are telling you. It's just like words. It's not the words, but the story the words are telling you. If you want to be rich, you've got to read and understand numbers. If I heard that once, I heard it 1,000 times from my Rich Dad. And I also heard, the rich acquire assets and the poor and middle class acquire liabilities. Learn, unlearn, relearn. This quote from Futurist Alvin Toffler mirrors what Rich Dad told me 2 decades ago. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Here's how to tell the difference between an asset and a liability. Most accountants and financial professionals do not agree with the definitions, but these simple drawings would start strong financial foundations for 2 young boys. Go to the bonus materials to review the 5-line drawings of cash flow pattern of an asset through cash flow pattern of a rich person. Cash flow tells the story of how a person handles money. All of these diagrams are obviously oversimplified. Everyone has living expenses, the need for food, shelter, and clothing. The diagrams show the flow of cash through a poor, middle class, and wealthy person's life. It is the cash flow that tells the story of how a person handles his or her money. The reason I started with the story of the richest men in America is to illustrate the flaw in believing that money will solve all problems. That is why I cringe whenever I hear people ask me how to get rich quicker or where they should start. I often hear, I'm in debt, so I need to make more money. But more money will often not solve the problem. In fact, it may compound the problem. Money often makes obvious our tragic human flaws, putting a spotlight on what we don't know. That's why, all too often, a person who comes into a sudden windfall of cash, let's say inheritance, a pay raise, or lottery winnings, soon returns to the same financial mess, if not worse, than the mess they were in before. Money only accentuates the cash flow pattern running in your head. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase in cash will just result in an increase in spending. Thus, the saying, a fool and his money is one big party. I've said many times that we go to school to gain scholastic and professional skills, both of which are important. We learn to make money with our professional skills. In the 1960s, when I was in high school, if someone did well academically, people assumed this bright student would go on to be a medical doctor because it was the profession with the promise of the greatest financial reward. Today, doctors face financial challenges I would wish on my worst enemy. Insurance companies take control of the business, manage healthcare, government intervention, and malpractice lawsuits. Today, kids want to be famous athletes, movie stars, rock stars, beauty queens, or CEOs because that's where the fame, money, and prestige are. That's the reason it's so hard to motivate kids in school today. They know that professional success is no longer solely linked to academic success as it once was. Because students leave school without financial skills, millions of educated people pursue their profession successfully, but they find themselves struggling financially. They work harder, but don't get ahead. What is missing from their education is not how to make money, but how to manage money. It's called financial aptitude. What you do with the money once you make it, how to keep people from taking it from you, how to keep it longer, and how to make that money work hard for you. Most people don't understand why they struggle financially because they don't understand cash flow. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. These people often work harder than they need to because they learn how to work hard, but not how to have their money work hard for them. How the quest for a financial dream turns into a financial nightmare. The classic story of hardworking people has a set pattern. Recently married, the happy, highly educated young couple now share a grandparent apartment. Immediately they realize that they're saving money because 2 can live as cheaply as 1. The problem is the apartment is cramped. They decide to save money to buy their dream home so they can have kids. They don't have 2 incomes and they begin to focus on their careers. Their incomes begin to increase. As their incomes go up, their expenses go up as well. The number 1 expense for most people is taxes. Many people think it's income tax, but for most Americans, their highest tax is Social Security. As an employee, it appears as if the Social Security tax combined with Medicare tax rate is roughly 7.5%, but it's really 15% since the employer must match the Social Security amount. In essence, it is money the employer can't pay you. On top of that, you still have to pay income tax on the amount deducted from your wages for Social Security tax. Income you never received because it went directly to Social Security through withholding. Taxes and entitlement programs. Taxes around the world have been higher and higher as social demands for tax dollars require higher property, income, and sales or value-added taxes. Higher incomes create even more of a bracket creep as tax rates become more progressive, steeper, to pay for social services, also called entitlements. Today, the government faces serious challenges as entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare face insolvency. Going back to the young couple, as a result of their incomes increasing, they decide to buy the house of their dreams. Once in their house with a mortgage, they have a new tax called property tax. Then they buy a new car, new furniture, and new appliances to match their new house. All of a sudden, they wake up and their liabilities column is full of mortgage and credit card debt. Their liabilities go up. They're now trapped in the rat race. Pretty soon, a baby comes along and they work harder. The process repeats itself. Higher incomes cause higher taxes, also called bracket creep. A credit card comes in the mail. They use it and max it out. A loan company calls and says their greatest asset, their home, has appreciated in value. Because their credit is so good, the company offers a bill consolidation loan and tells them the intelligent thing to do is clear off the high interest consumer debt by paying off their credit card. And besides, mortgage interest is a tax deduction. They go for it and pay off those high interest credit cards. They breathe a sigh of relief. Their credit cards are paid off. They now folded their consumer debt into their home mortgage. Their payments go down because they extended their debt over 30 years. It is a smart thing to do. Their neighbor calls to invite them to go shopping. The Memorial Day sale is on. They promise themselves just a window shop, but they take a credit card just in case. I run into this young couple all the time. Their names change, but their financial dilemma is the same. They come to one of my talks to hear what I have to say. They ask me, can you tell us how to make more money? They don't understand that their trouble is really how they choose to spend the money they do have. It is caused by financial illiteracy and not understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. More money seldom solves someone's money problems. Intelligence solves problems. There's a saying a friend of mine uses over and over to people in debt. If you find you have dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. Credit card debt. Today, based on 2016 stats, U.S. consumer credit card debt is at an all-time high, $779 billion. Is it all bad debt or good debt? Do you know the difference? A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. As a child, my dad often told us that the Japanese were aware of 3 powers: the power of the sword, the jewel, and the mirror. The sword symbolizes the power of weapons. America has spent trillions of dollars on weapons, and because of this, a powerful military presence in the world. The jewel symbolizes the power of money. There is some degree of truth to the saying, remember the golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rules. The mirror symbolizes the power of self-knowledge. This self-knowledge, according to Japanese legend, was the most treasured of the 3. All too often, the poor and middle class allow the power of money to control them. By simply getting up and working harder, failing to ask themselves if what they do makes sense, they shoot themselves in the foot as they leave for work every morning. By not fully understanding money, the vast majority of people allow its awesome power to control them. If they use the power of the mirror, they would ask themselves, does this make sense? All too often, instead of trusting their inner wisdom, that genius inside, most people follow the crowd. They do things because everybody else does them. They conform rather than question. Often they mindlessly repeat what they have been told. Diversify. Your home is an asset. Your home is your biggest investment. You get a tax break for going into greater debt. Get a safe job. Don't make mistakes. Don't take risks. It is said that the fear of public speaking is fear greater than death for most people. According to psychiatrists, the fear of public speaking is caused by the fear of ostracism, the fear of standing out, the fear of criticism, the fear of ridicule, and the fear of being an outcast. The fear of being different prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. That's why my educated dad said the Japanese value the power of the mirror the most. For it's only when we look into it that we find truth. Fear is the main reason that people say play it safe. That goes for anything, be it sports, relationships, careers, or money. It is that same fear, the fear of ostracism, that causes people to conform to and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends. Your home is an asset. You have to build consolidation loan, get out of debt, work harder. It's a promotion. Someday I'll be a vice president. Save money. When I get raised, I'll buy us a bigger house. Mutual funds are safe. Many financial problems are caused by trying to keep up with the Joneses. Occasionally, we all need to look in the mirror and be true to our inner wisdom rather than our fears. Who's on your team? Rich dads surround themselves with men and women who are specialists, attorneys, accountants, brokers, and bankers, and team and I have done the same. Today, our team of advisors is one of our greatest assets. What's more important than money? An entrepreneur's team. Who's on yours? By the time Mike and I were 16 years old, we began to have problems in school. We were not bad kids, we just began to separate from the crowd. We worked for Mike's dad after school and on weekends. Mike and I often spent hours after work just sitting at a table with his dad while he held meetings with his bankers, attorneys, accountants, brokers, investors, managers, and employees. Here was a man who had left school at 13, who was now directing, instructing, ordering, and asking questions of educated people. They came to expect a call and cringed when he didn't approve of them. Here was a man who had not gone along with the crowd. He was a man who did his own thing and detested the words, we have to do it this way because that's the way everyone else does it. He also hated the word can't. If you wanted to do something, just say, I don't think you can do it. Mike and I learned more sitting on his meetings than we did in all our years of school, college included. Mike's dad was not book smart, but he was financially educated and successful as a result. He told us over and over again, an intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than he is. So Mike and I had the benefit of spending hours listening to and learning from intelligent people. But because of this, Mike and I couldn't go along with the standard dogma our teachers preached, and that caused problems. Whenever the teacher said, if you don't get a good grade, you won't do well in the real world, Mike and I just raised our eyebrows. When we were told to follow set procedures and not deviate from the rules, we could see how school discouraged creativity. We started to understand why our rich dad told us that schools were designed to produce good employees instead of employers. Occasionally, Mike and I would ask our teachers how what we studied was applicable in the real world, or why we never studied money and how it worked. To the latter question, we often got the answer that money was not important, that if we excelled in our education, the money would follow. The more we knew about the power of money, the more distant we grew from the teachers and our classmates. My highly educated dad never pressured me about my grades, but we did begin to argue about money. By the time I was 16, I probably had a far better foundation of money than both my parents. I could keep books. I listened to tax accountants, corporate attorneys, bankers, real estate brokers, investors, and so forth. By contrast, my dad talked only to other teachers. One day, my dad told me that our home was his greatest investment, and not 2 plus an argument took place when I showed him why I thought our house was not a good investment. See diagram 1 in the bonus material. The diagram illustrates the difference in perception between my rich dad and my poor dad when it came to their homes. One dad thought his house was an asset, and the other dad thought it was a liability. I remember when I drew the following diagram from my dad, showing him the direction of cash flow. I also showed him the ancillary expenses that went along with owning the home. A bigger home meant bigger expenses, and the cash flow kept going out through the expense column. See diagram 2. Today, people still challenge me on the idea of a house not being an asset. I know that for many people, it is their dream as well as their largest investment, and owning your own home is better than nothing. I simply offer an alternate way of looking at this popular dogma. If my wife and I were to buy a bigger, flashier house, we realize it wouldn't be an asset. It would be a liability, since it would take money out of our pocket. So here's the argument I put forth. I really don't expect most people to agree with it, because your home is an emotional thing, and when it comes to money, high emotions tend to lower financial intelligence. I know from personal experience that money has a way of making every decision emotional. When it comes to houses, most people work all their lives paying for a home they never own. In other words, most people buy a new house every few years, each time incurring a new 30-year loan to pay off the previous one. Even though people receive tax deduction for interest on mortgage payments, they pay for all their other expenses with after-tax dollars, even after they pay off their mortgage. My wife's parents were shocked when the property taxes on their home increased to $1,000 a month. They already retired, so the increase was straining on their budget. Houses do not always go up in value. I have friends who owe $1 million for a home that today would sell for far less. The greatest losses of all are those tremendous opportunities. If all your money is tied up in your house, you may be forced to work harder because your money continues flowing out of the expense column instead of adding to the asset column, the classic middle-class cash flow pattern. If a young couple would put more money into their asset column early on, their later years would be easier. Their assets would have grown and would be available to help cover expenses. Making a decision to own a house that is too expensive in lieu of starting an investment portfolio impacts an individual in at least the following 3 ways. 1. Loss of time, during which other assets could have grown in value. 2. Loss of additional capital, which could have been invested instead of paying high home maintenance expenses. 3. Loss of education. Too often, people count their house and savings and retirement plans as all they have in their asset column. Because they have no money to invest, they simply don't invest. This costs an investment experience. Most never become what the investment world calls a sophisticated investor. And the best investors are usually first sold to sophisticated investors who then turn around and sell them to the people playing safe. I'm not saying don't buy a house. What I'm saying is that you should understand the difference between an asset and a liability. When I want a bigger house, I first buy assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for the house. Your scorecard. Without a financial statement, you don't really know where you are in life's financial game. Like it or not, money tells the story of your game. And a financial statement is your scorecard. Banks want financial statements, income statement, balance sheet to know how well you're scoring in your life's financial game. My educated dad's personal financial statement best demonstrates the life of someone caught in the rat race. His expenses match his income, never allowing him enough left over to invest in assets. As a result, his liabilities are larger than his assets. To see this further illustrated, go to the bonus material to see diagrams 3 through 5. This pattern of treating your home as an investment and the philosophy that pay raise means you can buy a larger home or spend more is the foundation of today's debt-ridden society. Increased spending throws families into greater debt and into more financial uncertainty, even though they may be advancing their jobs and receiving pay raises. This is high risk living caused by weak financial education. The massive loss of jobs in recent times proves how shaky the middle class really is financially. Company pension plans are being replaced by 401k plans. Social security is obviously in trouble and can't be relied upon as a source for retirement. Panic has set in for the middle class. Pension plans. Since Enron, it has become clear that pension plans are in trouble. Even government pension plans, such as those in Greece, Italy, and California, cannot pay out what is owed to retirees. So a retirement plan is no longer the guarantee of much was a security for old age and retirement. When the stock market crashed in 2009, anyone about to retire was in trouble, even if they saved in their 401k, RRSP, or superannuation. Today, mutual funds are popular because they supposedly represent safety. Average mutual fund buyers are too busy working to pay taxes and mortgages, save for their children's college, and pay off credit cards. They do not have time to study investing, so they rely on the expertise of the manager of a mutual fund. Also, because the mutual fund includes many different types of investments, they feel their money is safer because it is diversified. This educated middle class subscribes to the dogma put out by mutual fund brokers and financial planners. Play it safe, avoid risk. The real tragedy is that the lack of early financial education is what creates the risk faced by average middle class people. The reason they have to play it safe is because their financial decisions are tenuous at best. Their balance sheets are not balanced. Instead, they are loaded with liabilities and have no real assets that generate income. Typically, their only source of income is their paycheck. Their livelihood becomes entirely dependent on their employer. So when genuine deals of a lifetime come along, these people can't take advantage of them because they're working so hard, are taxed to the max, and are loaded with debt. As I said at the start of this section, the most important rule is to know the difference between an asset and a liability. Once you understand the difference, concentrate your efforts on buying income-generating assets. That's the best way to get started on the path to becoming rich. Keep doing that, and your asset column will grow. Keep liabilities and expenses down, so more money is available to continue pouring into the asset column. Soon, the asset base will be so deep that you can afford to look at more speculative investments. Investments that may have returns of 100% to infinity. $5,000 investments that are soon turned into $1 million or more. Investments that the middle class calls too risky. The investment is not risky for the financially literate. As an employee who is also a homeowner, your working efforts are generally as follows. 1. You work for the company. Employees make their business owner or the shareholders rich, not themselves. Your efforts and success will help provide for the owner's success in retirement. 2. You work for the government. The government takes its share from your paycheck before you even see it. By working harder, you simply increase the amount of taxes taken by the government. Most people work from January to May just for the government. 3. You work for the bank. After taxes, your next largest expense is usually your mortgage and credit card debt. The problem with simply working hard is that each of these 3 levels takes a greater share of your increased efforts. You need to learn how to have your increased efforts benefit you and your family directly. Once you have decided to concentrate on minding your own business, focusing your efforts on acquiring assets instead of a big paycheck, how do you set your goals? Most people must keep their job and rely on their wages to fund the acquisition of assets. As their assets grow, how do they measure the extent of their success? When does someone know that they are rich, that they have wealth? As well as having my own definition for assets and liabilities, I also have my own definition for wealth. Actually, I borrowed it from a man named R. Buckminster Fuller. Some call him a quack, and others call him a genius. Years ago, he got architects buzzing because he applied for a patent for something called a geodesic dome. But in the application, Fuller also said something about wealth. It was pretty confusing at first, but after reading it, it began to make some sense. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stop working today, how long could I survive? Wealth and cash reserves. Today, few people have enough money to live on for even 1 month. Most Americans, for example, have less than $400 in savings. A more staggering statistic reported in a 2016 Go Banking Rate survey, 34% of Americans have no savings at all. Few people could survive for very long without a paycheck or government assistance. Unlike net worth, which is the difference between your assets and liabilities, and is often filled with a person's expensive junk and opinions of what things are worth, this definition creates a possibility for developing a truly accurate measurement. I can now measure and know where I was in terms of my goal to become financially independent. Although net worth often includes non-cash producing assets, like stuff you bought and now sits in your garage, wealth measures how much money your money is making, and therefore your financial survivability. Wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared with the expense column. Let's use an example. Let's say I have cash flow from my asset column of $1,000 a month, and I have monthly expenses of $2,000. What's my wealth? Let's go back to Buckminster Fuller's definition. Using his definition, how many days forward can I survive? Assuming 30 a month, I have enough cash flow for half a month. When I achieve $2,000 a month cash flow from my assets, then I will be wealthy. So while I'm not yet rich, I am wealthy. I now have income generated from assets each month that fully cover my monthly expenses. If I want to increase my expenses, I first must increase my cash flow to maintain this level of wealth. Also note that it is at this point that I'm no longer dependent on my wages. I focused on and been successful in building an asset column that is made me financially independent. If I quit my job today, I would be able to cover my monthly expenses with the cash flow from my assets. My next goal would be to have the excess cash flow from my assets reinvested into the asset column. The more money that goes into my asset column, the more my asset column grows. The more my assets grow, the more my cash flow grows. And as long as I keep my expenses less than the cash flow from these assets, I grow richer with more and more income from sources other than my physical labor. As this reinvestment process continues, I'm well on my way to becoming rich. Just remember this simple observation. The rich buy assets. The poor only have expenses. The middle class buy liabilities. They think are assets. So how do I start minding my own business? What is the answer? Listen to the founder of McDonald's in the next chapter. Study session. Chapter 2. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? Chapter 2. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? Summary. We revisit Robert and Mike some 3.5 decades later. Mike is taking over his father's company and is doing an even better job than the rich dad did. As for Robert, he retired in 1994 at the age of 47. His wife's wealth is growing automatically like a well-established tree. He shares a story of the 1923 meeting of some of our greatest leaders and richest businessmen, men who owned the largest steel and gas company, ran the New York Stock Exchange, and who sat on President Harding's cabinet. 25 years later, most of their lives had ended tragically, with the many who broke, exiled, or in prison. The 1929 stock crash and Great Depression likely played a part in their fates, but today we live in a time of even more turmoil and change than they did. More important than money, our survival, is our education and the ability to learn. It's not how much you make, but how much you keep, and how many generations you keep it. So when people ask Robert where to start getting rich, he gives them the same answer his rich dad gave him. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. Robert compares the way many people act to building a skyscraper on a slab made for a small home. Because kids graduate school with little financial education, they launch into their adult lives chasing the American dream, but find themselves deep in debt. The only way out of the vacancy is a get rich strategy. But without having that financial literacy background, their efforts are like building a skyscraper on a weak foundation, and instead of creating the empire state building, they end up with a leaning tower of suburbia. Robert and his childhood friend Mike, however, were given a strong foundation worthy of a skyscraper thanks to the teaching of the rich dad. Accounting as a subject is boring, confusing, and absolutely crucial to financial success. To make successful kids, rich dad used pictures to teach it to two boys. Only later did he start adding numbers to guide the boys through key concepts. Rule number 1, Robert says, is that you must know the difference between an asset and a liability and only buy assets. That's all you need to know. But despite it being so simple, it's something that many people don't understand. When Rich Dad first explained it to the two now teenagers, they thought he was kidding. How could adults not understand this? Shouldn't everyone be rich? The problem is that most people have been educated differently by bankers, financial planners, and others, so they must unlearn what they think they know. Some find this demeaning to return to such basic introduction. The true definitions of asset and liability lie not in words, but in numbers. Robert uses drawings to help readers the same way Rich Dad used them to help him. Take a moment and review the 5 cash flow line drawings in the bonus material. Assets add to your income. They put money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Want to be rich? Buy assets. It seems simple, but so many people struggle because they buy liabilities. If you want to gain and maintain wealth, you must build your understanding. It's not just straight numbers, it's how the numbers tell the story. Follow the arrows in each of these diagrams to see where the money is flowing, or cash flow. It will tell you the story, the plot of that financial situation. Through these simplified diagrams, the cash flow tells the story of how each person handles money. Often those in debt think the answer is to make more money. But not only will more money not always solve their problems, it may compound them. It's why many people who get a sudden windfall, through the lottery or inheritance, for instance, so quickly burn through it. And increasing cash only results in an increase in spending. What is missing for so many people is financial education. It's why they might end up successful in their professions, but still struggling with money. They learn how to make money, but not how to manage it. People can be very intelligent and still be illiterate when it comes to finances. They learn how to work hard for money, but not how to make their money work hard for them. Robert tells the story of a young couple who get married and start their lives together. Their incomes begin to increase, but so do their expenses. The couple is hit with the number 1 expense for most people, taxes. And for many people, it's not income tax that gets the biggest hit, but Social Security. It's roughly 15%. Social Security tax combined with the Medicare tax rate, all of which must be matched by the employer, funds that the employer now can't pay the worker. And the employee is charged income tax on that amount too. The young couple is faced with those taxes, and when they buy a house, property tax, and go with a new house, a new car, new furniture, and new appliances, suddenly their liabilities go up, filling with mortgage and credit card debt. The couple is trapped in the rat race, adding to the mix, and they work harder. Higher incomes that lead to higher taxes. They continue to rack up debt, eventually rolling into their mortgage and consolidation loan, but their habits haven't changed, so the credit card debt continues. Not to mention they extended their home loan. For this couple and so many like them, their true problem is not knowing how to handle the money they have. It's caused by financial literacy, and not understanding the true difference between an asset and a liability. So many people don't take the time to question whether something makes sense and simply follow the crowd. Often, they mindlessly repeat what they've been told. Diversify. Your home is an asset. You get a tax break for going into greater debt. Get a safe job. Don't make mistakes. Don't take risks. Because of the large amount of time Robert and Mike spent sitting on meetings with Rich Dad and learning from the intelligent people he surrounded himself with, they learned a lot. And learned to question the standard dogma taught at their school. It began to cause problems and made them grow distant from the teachers. Robert also began disagreeing with his own father over money matters, especially when it came to his poor dad's view that his home was his greatest investment. In contrast, Rich Dad saw his home as a liability. Many people still believe that their home is an asset, but Robert teaches that home is a liability because it takes money out of your pocket, not only with taxes and expenses, but because of its loss in value and the opportunities missed when all your money is tied up in your house. And that causes you to lose out on the education and investment experience. That doesn't mean you can't ever buy a bigger house, but make sure to first buy assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for the house. When there are enough assets to generate more than enough income to cover expenses, the balance is reinvested into assets, which grows the asset column on the balance sheet, which produces more income. The result is that the rich who understand the difference between assets and liabilities get richer. The middle class gets stuck in a rat race because they treat their home as an asset instead of investing in income-producing assets. They are also stuck because their salary is the primary source of income, and thus when the income increases, so do their taxes. Many invest in mutual funds, paying a manager to handle their accounts because they don't have the time or the expertise to do it themselves. They feel like a mutual fund is playing safe, and they have to play safe because their balance sheets are not balanced. They can't take advantage of opportunities because they're maxed out on debt and only have their salary bringing money in. Want to grow rich? Concentrate your efforts on buying income-producing assets when you truly understand what an asset is. Keep liabilities and expenses low. You'll deepen your asset column. So how do you know you're wealthy? Robert uses this definition by Harvard Mr. Fuller. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stop working today, how long can I survive? Another way of stating it, wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared with the expense column. When your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses, you are wealthy, even if you're not yet rich. Left hemisphere moment. Look at the numbers and learn to read the story they're telling. Assets put money in your pocket. If something takes money out of your pocket, it's not an asset, it's a liability. Right hemisphere moment. The balance sheet drawings help explain the movement of money through different people's lives. Subconscious moment. The fear of ostracism causes people to conform to and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends, often to their financial detriment. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. Two minds are better than one. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Intelligence solves problem and produces money. Money without intelligence is money soon gone. If you're going to build the Empire State Building, the first thing you need to do is dig a deep hole and pour a strong foundation. If you're going to build a home in the suburbs, all you need to do is pour a 6-inch slab of concrete. Most people, in their drive to get rich, are trying to build an Empire State Building on a 6-inch slab. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase in cash will just result in an increase in spending. In 80% of most families, the financial story paints a picture of hard work to get ahead. However, this effort is for naught because they spend their lives buying liabilities instead of assets. By not fully understanding money, the vast majority of people allow its awesome power to control them. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter along with the understanding of what Robert was saying and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you are giving, ask yourself if you are willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. When did your financial education begin? Was it with this book or from another source? 2. How did you react when you first read Robert's definition of assets and liabilities? 3. How did you react when you stated that home is not an asset? Have you viewed yours as one? After he fully laid out his argument, did it change your mind? 4. Which cash flow situation looks most like your life? 5. Other than your home, is there something that you thought was an asset that later revealed itself to be a liability? 6. Would you agree with this statement? What is missing from most people's education is not how to make money, but how to manage money. Why or why not? 7. Rich Dad told the boys that it's not the numbers that matter in accounting, but what the numbers are telling you. What story do the numbers in your life tell? 8. When was the time in your life that a seemingly positive accomplishment, such as a promotion or raise, didn't lead to the balance sheet result you expected? 9. How many days forward could you survive if you stopped working today? Does that number surprise or frighten you? Term definitions. 401k. A U.S. retirement plan developed by the Act of 1974 when companies realized they could not provide for retirees' healthcare. Asset. Something that puts money in your pocket with minimum labor. Balance sheet. The lower part of an income statement diagram, so called because it's supposed to balance assets against liabilities. Cash flow. Cash coming in as income and cash going out as expenses. It is the direction of cash flow that determines whether something is income, expense, asset, or liability. Cash flow tells the story. Financial aptitude. What you do with the money once you made it, how to keep people from taking it from you, how to keep it longer, and how to make that money work hard for you. Golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. Income. The money that is received as a result of the normal business activities of an individual or business. Income statement or profit and loss statement. It measures income and expenses, money in and money out. Liability. Something that takes money out of your pocket. Mutual fund. A variety of stocks, bonds, or securities grouped together, managed by a professional investment company and purchased by individual investors through shares. The shares possess no direct ownership value in the various companies. Social Security. A social welfare or social insurance program commonly funded through automatic payroll deductions to subsidize persons in their old age and with disabilities. Chapter 3. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. The rich focus on their asset columns, while everyone else focuses on their income statements. In 1974, Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, was asked to speak to the MBA class at the University of Texas at Austin. A friend of mine was a student in that MBA class. After a powerful and inspiring talk, the class adjourned, and the students asked Ray if he would join them at their favorite hangout to have a few beers. Ray graciously accepted. What business am I in? Ray asked once the group had all the beers in hand. Everyone laughed. My friend said, most of the MBA students thought Ray was just fooling around. No answer, so Ray asked again, what business do you think I'm in? The students laughed again, and finally one brave soul yelled out, Ray, who in the world doesn't know that you're in the hamburger business? Ray chuckled. That's what I thought you would say. He paused and then quickly added, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not in the hamburger business. My business is real estate. As my friend tells the story, Ray spent a good amount of time explaining his viewpoint. In his business plan, Ray knew that the primary business focus was to sell hamburger franchises. But what he never lost sight of was the location of each franchise. He knew that the land and its location were the most significant factors in the success of each franchise. Basically, the person who bought the franchise was also buying the real estate under the franchise for Ray Kroc's organization. Today, McDonald's is the largest single owner of real estate in the world, owning even more than the Catholic Church. McDonald's owns some of the most valuable intersections and street corners in America and around the globe. My friend considers this as one of the most important lessons in his life. Today, he owns car washes, but his business is the real estate under those car washes. The previous chapter presented diagrams illustrating that most people work for everyone but themselves. They work first for the owners of the company, then for the government through taxes, and finally for the bank that owns their mortgage. When I was a young boy, we did not have a McDonald's nearby. Yet my rich dad was responsible for teaching my community the same lesson that Ray Kroc talked about at the University of Texas. His secret number 3 of the rich. That secret is mind your own business. Financial struggles often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. Many people simply have nothing at the end of their working days to show for their efforts. Our current educational system focuses on preparing today's youth to get good jobs by developing scholastic skills. Their lives will revolve around their wages, or as described earlier, their income column. Many will study further to become engineers, scientists, cooks, police officers, artists, writers, and so on. These professional skills allow them to enter the workforce and work for money. But there's a big difference between your profession and your business. Often I ask people, what is your business? And they'll say, oh, I'm a banker. Then I ask them if they own a bank, and they usually respond, no, I work there. In that instance, they confuse their profession with their business. Their profession may be a banker, but they still need their own business. The problem with school is that you want to become what you study. So if you study cooking, you become a chef. If you study law, you become an attorney, and study law mechanics makes you a mechanic. The mistake in becoming what you study is that too many people forget to mind their own business. They spend their lives minding someone else's business and making that person rich. To become financially secure, a person needs to mind their own business. Your business revolves around your asset column, not your income column. As stated earlier, the number one rule is to know the difference between an asset and a liability and to buy assets. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. That is why we hear so often, I need a raise. If only I had a promotion. I'm going back to school to get more training so I can get a better job. I'm going to work overtime. Maybe I can get a second job. In some circles, these are sensible ideas, but you are still not minding your own business. These ideas all still focus on the income column and will only help a person become more financially secure if the additional money is used to purchase income-generating assets. The primary reason the majority of the poor and middle class are fiscally conservative, which means I can't afford to take risks, is that they have no financial foundation. They have to cling to their jobs and play it safe. When downsizing became the in thing to do, millions of workers found out their largest so-called asset, their home, was eating them alive. Their asset was costing them money every month. Their car, another asset, was eating them alive. The golf clubs in the garage that cost $1,000 were not worth $1,000 anymore. Without job security, they had nothing to fall back on. What they thought were assets did not help them survive in a time of financial crisis. I assume most of us have filled out a credit application to buy a house or a car. It's always interesting to look at the net worth section because of like banking and accounting practices allow a person to count his assets. One day, when I went alone, my financial position did not look too good. So I added my golf clubs, my art collection, books, electronics, my suits, wristwatches, shoes, and other personal effects to boost the number in the asset column. But I was turned down because I had too much investment in real estate. The loan committee didn't like that I made so much money from rent. They wanted to know why I did not have a normal job with a salary. They did not question their money suits, golf clubs, or art collection. Life is sometimes tough when you do not fit the standard profile. I cringe every time I hear someone say to me that their net worth is $1 million or $100,000 or whatever. One of the main reasons net worth is not accurate is simply because the moment you begin selling your assets, you are taxed for any gains. So many people put themselves in deep financial trouble when they run short of income. To raise cash, they sell their assets, but their personal assets can generally be sold for only a fraction of the value that is listed on their personal balance sheet. Or if there is a gain on the sale of the assets, they are taxed on the gain. So again, the government takes its share, thus reducing the amount available to help them out of debt. That is why I say someone's net worth is often worth less than they think. Start minding your own business. Keep your day-time job, but start buying real assets, not liabilities or personal effects that have no real value once you get them home. A new car loses nearly 25% of the price you pay for it the moment you drive it off the lot. It is not a true asset, even if your bank lets you list it as one. My $400 new titanium driver was worth $150 the moment I teed off. Keep expenses low, reduce liabilities, and diligently build a base of solid assets. For young people who have not yet left home, it is important for parents to teach them the difference between an asset and liability. Get them to start building a solid asset column before they leave home, get married, buy a house, have kids, and get stuck in a risky financial position, cling to a job and buying everything on credit. I see so many young couples who get married and trap themselves into a lifestyle that will not let them get out of debt for most of their working years. For many people, just as the last child leaves home, the parents realize they have not adequately prepared for retirement and begin scrambling to put some money away. Then their own parents become ill and they find themselves with new responsibilities. So what kind of assets am I suggesting that you or your children acquire? In my world, real assets fall into the following categories. Businesses that do not require my presence. I own them, but they are managed or run by other people. If I have to work there, it's not a business. It becomes my job. Stocks, bonds, income-generating real estate, notes, IOUs, royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. Anything else that has value, produces income, or appreciates, and has a ready market. As a young boy, my educated dad encouraged me to find a safe job, but my rich dad encouraged me to begin acquiring assets that I loved. If you don't love it, you won't take care of it. I love real estate simply because I love buildings and land. I love shopping for them, and I look at it all day long. When problems arise, the problems are so bad that it changes my love for real estate. For people who hate real estate, they should buy it. I also love stocks of small companies, especially startups, because I am an entrepreneur, not a corporate person. In my early years, I worked in large organizations such as Standard Oil of California, the U.S. Marine Corps, and Xerox Corp. I enjoy my time with those organizations and have fond memories, but I know deep down I'm not a company man. I like starting companies, not running them. So my stock buys are usually of small companies. Sometimes I even start the company and take it public. Fortunes are made in new stock issues, and I love the game. Many people are afraid of small cap companies and call them risky, and they are. But that risk is diminished if you love what the investment is, understand it, and know the game. With small companies, my investment strategy is to be out of the stock in a year. On the other hand, my real estate strategy is to start small and keep trading up for bigger properties, and therefore delay paying taxes on the gain. This allows the value to increase dramatically. I generally hold real estate less than 7 years. For years, even while I was with the Marine Corps and Xerox, I did what my rich dad recommended. I kept my day job, but I still minded my own business. I was active in my asset column trading real estate and small stocks. Rich dad always stressed the importance of financial literacy. The better I was at understanding the accounting and cash management, the better I would be at analyzing investments and eventually starting to build my own company. I don't encourage anyone to start a company unless they really want to. Knowing what I know about running a company, I wouldn't wish that task on anyone. There are times when people can't find employment, and starting a company seems like the best solution. The odds are against success. 9 out of 10 companies fail in 5 years. Of those that survive the first 5 years, 9 out of every 10 of those eventually fail as well. So only if you really have the desire to own your own company do I recommend it. Otherwise, keep your day job and mind your own business. When I say mind your own business, I mean to build and keep your asset column strong. Once a dollar goes into it, never let it come out. Think of it this way. Once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. Keep your day job, be a great hardworking employee, but keep building that asset column. As your cash flow grows, you can indulge in some luxuries. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. The poor and middle class often buy luxury items like big houses, diamonds, furs, jewelry, or boats because they want to look rich. They look rich, but in reality, they just get deeper in debt on credit. The old money people, the long-term rich, build their asset column first. Then the income generated from the asset column buys their luxuries. The poor and middle class buy luxuries with their own sweat, blood, and children's inheritance. A true luxury is a reward for investing in and developing a real asset. For example, when my wife Kim and I had extra money coming from our apartment houses, she went out and bought a Mercedes. It didn't take any extra work or risk on her part because the apartment house bought the car. She didn't, however, have to wait 4 years while the real estate investment portfolio grew and began generating enough extra cash flow to pay for the car. But the luxury, the Mercedes, was a true reward because she proved she knew how to grow her asset column. That car now means a lot more to her than simply another pretty car. It means she used her financial intelligence to afford it. Instead, most people impulsively go out and buy a new car or some other luxury on credit. And they feel bored and just want to enjoy. Buying a luxury on credit often causes the person to eventually resent that luxury because the debt becomes a financial burden. After you've taken the time and invested in and built your own business, you are now ready to learn the biggest secret of the rich, the secret that puts the rich way ahead of the pack. Study session. Chapter 3. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Chapter 3. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Summary. A friend of ours got to hear Ray Kroc of McDonald's speak in 1974 at the University of Texas at Austin. Afterward, Ray agreed to join the students at their favorite hangout for a few years. He asked the students what business he was in. At first, they laughed, and then they answered that he was in the business of selling hamburgers, of course. But Ray told them he was not in the hamburger business, but in the real estate business. He knew that the land and location of each franchise were the most significant factors in its success. Today, McDonald's is the largest single owner of real estate in the world, owning some of the most valuable intersections and street corners around the globe. Robert's friend took that lesson to heart and today owns car washes, but his business is the real estate under those car washes. So many people work for everyone else, their employer, the government, taxes, and the bank, mortgage. What Ray Kroc and rich dad knew was secret number 3 of the rich. Mind your business. Don't spend your whole life working for someone else. There is a big difference between your profession and your business. Often Robert will ask people, what is your business? And they'll say, oh, I'm a banker. Then he asks them if they own the bank, and they usually respond, no, I work there. In that instance, they have confused their profession with their business. Their profession may be a banker, but they still need their own business. Too many people spend their lives minding someone else's business and making them rich. Minding your business doesn't mean starting a company, though for some people it will. Instead, your business revolves around your asset column, not your income column. Promotions or a better job will only help you become more financially secure if the additional money is used to purchase income-generating assets. The primary reason the majority of the poor and middle class are fiscally conservative is that they have no financial foundation. They have to cling to their jobs and play it safe. They can't afford to take risks. And when hard times come, what many people thought were assets will not help them survive a financial crisis. That car has lost much of its value. Those golf clubs, the same. Too often, what a bank will allow a person to list as assets on a financial statement are not true assets. Robert was once turned down for a loan because the bank didn't like how much money he made from rent and was concerned he didn't have a normal job. But they were fine with him listing suits and art collection and other personal effects as assets. Net worth is the measure that people think it is. Most so-called assets that people base their net worth on either aren't as valuable as they think, or if they have gain value, will trigger taxes on gain if they're sold. So Robert tells people to start minding your own business. Keep your daytime job, but start buying real assets, not liabilities or personal effects that have no real value once you get home. Keep expenses low, reduce liabilities, and diligently build a base of solid assets. Parents need to teach young people this before they leave home, so that they understand what a true asset is and won't find themselves trapped in a lifestyle of debt. Robert says real assets fall into the following categories. 1. Businesses that do not require his presence. He owns them, but they are managed or run by other people. If he has to work there, it's not a business, it becomes his job. 2. Stocks. 3. Bonds. 4. Income-generating real estate. 5. Notes, IOUs. 6. Royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. 7. Anything else that has value, produces income or appreciates, and has a great market. Acquire assets that you love. Robert loves real estate, and thus spends much of his time thinking about and shopping for it. If you don't like real estate, don't invest in it. Robert also loves the stocks of small startup companies because he himself is an entrepreneur. Some are afraid of the risk of such small cap companies, but he sees these as the place to make fortunes. His strategy is to be out of the stock in a year. His real estate strategy, on the other hand, is to start small and keep trading out for bigger properties and laying taxes on the gain, holding real estate less than 7 years. Even while working for the Marines and Xerox, Robert minded his own business. He kept his day job, but was active in his asset column, trading real estate and small stocks. The more he understood accounting and cash management, the better he was at analyzing investments and eventually building his own company. He doesn't recommend people start a company unless they really have the desire to. Otherwise, he advises them to keep their day job and mind their business, building and keeping their asset column strong. As cash flow grows, people can indulge in luxuries, but only if the cash flow supports them. Build the asset column and let the income generated by those assets pay for the luxuries. Left hemisphere moment. When assets generate enough income to cover luxuries, that's when you can buy them. Right hemisphere moment. Think creatively about what your business is. It's not your profession. Subconscious moment. Acquire the type of assets you love because you'll take better care of them and enjoy learning about them. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. Two minds are better than one. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. To become financially secure, a person needs to mind their own business. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. Financial struggle is often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. Many people will simply have nothing at the end of their working days to show for their efforts. One of the main reasons net worth is not accurate is simply because the moment you begin selling your assets, you are taxed for any gains. Once a dollar goes into it, never let it come out. Think of it this way. Once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. The poor and middle class buy luxuries with their own sweat, blood, and children's inheritance. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter, along with the understanding of what Robert was saying, and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you're giving, ask yourself if you're willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. What's your profession and what's your business? How do they differ? 2. What are things you might have counted in your net worth before reading this chapter? How do you view them now? 3. Are the assets you're acquiring the type that you love? If not, how do you change that? 4. What is the time you bought a luxury that your cash flow couldn't justify? What is the time you did so, but it could justify the purchase? Compare how you felt in the two situations, both at the moment of purchase and later. 5. Have there been people in your family who spent their whole lives working for someone else, only to end up with nothing? What would you advise them if you could? Term definitions. Bond. A debt security in which the authorized issuer owes the holders of debt and is obliged to repay the principal and interest at a later date, term to maturity. Entrepreneur. Someone who creates a system to offer a product or service in order to obtain profit. Entrepreneurs are willing to accept the level of risk to pursue opportunity and are viewed as fundamentally important in the capitalistic society. Financial statement. A statement of your income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. Your report card when you leave school and what your bank wants to see before lending you money. Stock. The capital raised by a corporation through the distribution of shares. Chapter 4. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. My rich dad just played the game smart and he did it through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich. I remember in school being told the story of Robin Hood and his merry men. My teacher thought it was a wonderful story of a romantic hero who robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. My rich dad did not see Robin Hood as a hero. He called Robin Hood a crook. Robin Hood may be long gone, but his followers live on. I often still hear people say, why don't the rich pay for it? Or the rich should pay more in taxes and give it to the poor. It is this Robin Hood fantasy, or taking from the rich to give to the poor, that has caused the most pain for the poor and middle class. The reason the middle class is so heavily taxed is because of the Robin Hood ideal. The reality is that the rich are not taxed. It's the middle class, especially the educated, upper income middle class, who pays for the poor. Again, to understand fully how things happen, we need to look at the history of taxes. Although my highly educated dad was an expert on the history of education, my rich dad fashioned himself as an expert on the history of taxes. Rich dad explained to Mike and me that originally in England and America there were no taxes. Occasionally there were temporary taxes levied in order to pay for wars. The king or the president would put the word out and ask everyone to chip in. Taxes were levied in Britain for fighting Napoleon from 1799 to 1816, and in America to pay for the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. In 1874, England made income tax a permanent levy on its citizens. In 1913, an income tax became permanent in the United States with the adoption of the 16th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. At one time, Americans were anti-tax. It had been the tax on tea that led to the famous Tea Party in Boston Harbor, an incident that helped ignite the Revolutionary War. It took approximately 50 years in both England and the United States to sell the idea of a regular income tax. What these historical dates failed to reveal is that both of these taxes were initially levied against only the rich. It was this point that rich dad wanted Mike and me to understand. He explained that the idea of taxes was made popular and accepted by the majority by telling the poor and the middle class that taxes were created only to punish the rich. This is how the masses voted for the law and became constitutionally legal. Although it was intended to punish the rich, in reality it wound up punishing the very people who voted for it, the poor and middle class. Once the government got a taste of money, its appetite grew, said Rich dad. Your dad and I are exactly opposite. He's a government bureaucrat and I am a capitalist. We get paid, and our success is measured on opposite behaviors. He gets paid to spend money on hire people. The more he spends and the more people he hires, the larger his organization becomes. In the government, a large organization is a respected organization. On the other hand, within my organization, the fewer people I hire and the less money I spend, the more I am respected by my investors. That's why I don't like government people. They have different objectives than most business people. As the government grows, more and more tax dollars are needed to support it. My educated dad sincerely believed that government should help people. He loved John F. Kennedy, and especially the idea of the Peace Corps. He loved the idea so much that both he and my mom worked for the Peace Corps, training volunteers to go to Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. He always strived for additional grants and budget increases so he could hire more people, both in his job with the education department and in the Peace Corps. From the time I was about 10 years old, I would hear from my rich dad that government workers were a pack of lazy thieves, and from my poor dad I would hear how the rich were greedy crooks who should be made to pay more taxes. Both sides have valid points. It was difficult to go to work for one of the biggest capitalists in town and come home to a father who was a prominent government leader. It was not easy to know which dad to believe. Yet, when you study the history of taxes, an interesting perspective emerges. As I said, the passage of taxes was only possible because the masses believed in the Robin Hood theory of economics. Take from the rich and give to everyone else. The problem was that the government's appetite for money was so great that taxes soon needed to be levied on the middle class, and from there it kept trickling down. However, the rich saw an opportunity because they don't play by the same set of rules. The rich grew up corporations, which became popular in the days of sailing ships. The rich created the corporation as a vehicle to limit their risk to the assets of each voyage. The rich put the money into a corporation to finance the voyage. The corporation would then hire a crew to sail to the new world to look for treasure. If the ship was lost, the crew lost their lives, but the loss of the rich would be limited only to the money they invested for that particular voyage. Diagram 6 in the bonus material shows how the corporate structure sits outside your personal income and balance sheet. The rich are not taxed. The rich will never be taxed. More and more often, we see governments use the tax laws to provide incentives to business owners and investors to create jobs and housing. These incentives reduce the taxes of the rich, so the only place for the government to drive tax revenue is from the middle class. It is the knowledge of the legal corporate structure that really gives the rich a vast advantage over the poor and the middle class. Having two fathers teaching me, one a socialist and the other a capitalist, I quickly began to realize that the philosophy of the capitalist made more financial sense to me. It seemed to me that the socialists ultimately penalized themselves due to their lack of financial education. No matter what the take from the rich crowd came up with, the rich always found a way to outsmart them. That is how taxes were eventually levied on the middle class. The rich outsmarted the intellectuals solely because they understood the power of money, a subject not taught in schools. How did the rich outsmart the intellectuals? Once the take from the rich tax was passed, cash started flowing into government coffers. Initially, people were happy. Money was handed out to government workers and the rich. It went to government workers in the form of jobs and pensions, and it went to the rich via their factories receiving government contracts. The government received a large pool of money, but the problem was the fiscal management of that money. The government's idea is to avoid having excess money. If you fail to spend your allotted funds, you risk losing it in the next budget. You would certainly not be recognized for being efficient. Business people, on the other hand, are rewarded for having excess money and are applauded for their efficiency. As this cycle of growing government spending continued, the demand for money increased, and the tax of the rich idea was adjusted to include lower income levels down to the very people who voted in, the poor and the middle class. True capitalists use their financial knowledge to simplify the state. They headed back to the protection of the corporation. But what many people who have never formed a corporation don't know is that a corporation is not really a thing. The corporation is merely a file folder with some legal document set, sitting in some attorney's office and registered with the state government agency. It's not a big building or factory or group of people. A corporation is merely a legal document that creates a legal body without a soul. Using it, the wealth of the rich was once again protected. It was popular because the income tax rate of a corporation is less than the individual income tax rates. In addition, certain expenses could be paid by a corporation with pre-tax dollars. This war between the haves and have-nots has raged for hundreds of years. The battle is waged whenever and wherever laws are made, and it will go on forever. The problem is that the people who lose are the uninformed, the ones who get up every day and diligently go to work and pay taxes. If they only understood the way the rich play the game, they could play it too. Then they would be on their way to their own financial independence. This is why I cringe every time I hear a parent advise their children to go to school so they can find a safe, secure job. An employee with a safe, secure job without financial aptitude has no escape. Average Americans today work 4 to 5 months for the government just to cover their taxes. In my opinion, that is simply too long. The harder you work, the more you pay the government. That's why I believe that the idea of take from the rich backfired on the very people who voted in. Every time people try to punish the rich don't simply comply. They react. They have the money, power, and intent to change things. They don't just sit there and voluntarily pay more taxes. Instead, they search for ways to minimize their tax burden. They hire smart attorneys and accountants and persuade politicians to change laws or create legal loopholes. They use their resources to affect change. The tax code of the United States also allows other ways to reduce taxes. Most of these deals are available to anyone, but it is the rich who find them because they are minding their own business. For example, 1031 is jargon for Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, which allows a seller to delay paying taxes on a piece of real estate that is sold for a capital gain for exchange for a more expensive piece of real estate. Real estate is one investment vehicle that has a great tax advantage. As long as you keep trading up in value, you will not be taxed on the gains until you liquidate. People who don't take advantage of these legal tax gains are missing a great opportunity to build their asset balance. The poor and middle class don't have the same resources. They sit there and let the government's needles enter their arm and allow the blood donation to begin. Today, I am constantly shocked at the number of people who pay more taxes or take fewer deductions simply because they are afraid of the government. I have friends who have had their businesses shut down and destroyed, only to find out it was a mistake on the part of the government. I realize all that, but the price of working from January to May is a high price to pay for that intimidation. My poor dad never fought back. My rich dad didn't either. He just played the game smarter and get it through corporations. The biggest secret of the rich. The tax man. The tax man will take as much as you let him. The tax system is ultimately fair, and it works the same for everyone who has the same situation. If you are willing to invest, the tax laws will work in your favor. If you want to just spend money on my liabilities, the tax law won't give you any breaks, and it's likely you will pay the most tax possible. You may remember the first lesson I learned from my rich dad. I was a little boy of mine who had to sit and wait for him to choose to talk to me. I sat in his office waiting for him to get to me. He was ignoring me on purpose. He wanted me to recognize his power and to desire to have that power for myself one day. During all the years I studied and learned from him, he always reminded me that knowledge is power, and with money comes great power that requires the right knowledge to keep it and make it multiply. Without that knowledge, the world pushes you around. Rich dad constantly reminded me that the biggest bully was not the boss or the supervisor, but the tax man. The tax man will always take more if you let him. The first lesson of having money work for you, as opposed to you working for money, is all about power. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Once we had this knowledge of the power of money working for us, he wanted us to be financially smart and not let anyone or anything push us around. If you're ignorant, it's easy to be bullied. If you know what you're talking about, you have a fighting chance. That's why he paid so much for smart tax accountants and attorneys. It was less expensive to pay them than pay the government. His best lesson to me was be smart and you won't be pushed around as much. He knew the law because he was a law-abiding citizen, and because it was expensive to not know the law. If you know you're right, you're not afraid to fight back, even if you're taking on robbery and it's banned for men. My highly educated dad always encouraged me to land a good job with a strong corporation. He spoke of the virtues of working your way up the corporate ladder. He didn't understand that by relying solely on a paycheck from a corporate employer, I would be a docile cow ready for milking. When I told my rich dad my father's advice, he only chuckled. Why not own the ladder, was all he said. As a young boy, I did not understand what rich dad meant by owning my own corporation. It was an idea that seemed impossible and intimidating. Although I was excited by the idea, my inexperience wouldn't let me envision the possibility that grown-ups would someday work for a company I would own. The point is that if not for my rich dad, I would have probably followed my educated dad's advice. It was merely the occasional reminder of my rich dad that kept the idea of owning my own corporation alive and kept me on a different path. By the time I was 15 or 16, I knew I wasn't going to continue down the path my educated dad recommended. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was determined not to head in the direction most of my classmates were heading. That decision changed my life. Own the ladder. Today, as technology continues to change the way we work and do business, I talk with more and more people who ask themselves, how can I own the ladder? Capitalism is thriving, and the free market system means entrepreneurs can offer a better product at a better price, have a good chance of success. It was not until my mid-20s that my rich dad's advice began to make more sense to me. I was just out of the Marine Corps and working for Xerox. I was making a lot of money, but every time I looked at my paycheck, I was disappointed. The deductions were so large, and the more I worked, the greater they became. As I became more successful, my bosses talked about promotions and raises. It was flattering, but I could hear my rich dad asking in my ear, who are you working for? Who are you making rich? In 1974, while still an employee for Xerox, I formed my first corporation and began minding my own business. There were already a few assets in my asset column, but now I was determined to focus on making it bigger. Those paychecks with all the deductions made all the years of my rich dad's advice make total sense. I could see the future if I followed my educated dad's advice. Many employers feel that advising their workers to mind their own business is bad for business. But for me, focusing on my own business and developing assets made me a better employee because I now had purpose. I came in early and worked diligently, amassing as much money as possible so I could invest in real estate. Hawaii was just set to boom, and there were fortunes to be made. The more I realized that we were in the beginning stages of the boom, the more Xerox machines I sold. The more I sold, the more money I made, and of course, the more deductions came out of my paycheck. It was inspiring. I wanted out of the employee trap so badly that I worked even harder so I could invest more. By 1978, I was consistently one of the top 5 salespeople at the company. I badly wanted out of the rat race. In less than 3 years, I was making more in my real estate holding corporation than I was making at Xerox. The money I was making in my asset column in my own corporation was money working for me, not me pounding on doors selling copiers. My rich dad's advice made much more sense. Soon the cash flow from my properties was so strong that my company bought me my first Porsche. My fellow Xerox salespeople thought I was spending my commissions. I wasn't. I was investing my commissions in assets. My money was working hard to make more money. Each dollar in my asset column was a great employee, working hard to make more employees and buy the boss a new Porsche with 4 tax dollars. I began to work harder for Xerox. The plan was working, and my Porsche was the proof. By using the lessons I learned from my rich dad, I was able to get out of the proverbial rat race at an early age. It was made possible because of the strong financial knowledge I acquired through rich dad's lessons. Without this financial knowledge, which I call financial intelligence or financial IQ, my road to financial independence would have been much more difficult. I now teach others in the hope that I may share my knowledge with them. I remind people that financial IQ is made up of knowledge from 4 broad areas of expertise. 1. Accounting. Accounting is financial literacy, or the ability to read numbers. This is a vital skill if you want to build an empire. The more money you are responsible for, the more accuracy is required, or the house comes tumbling down. This is the left brain side, or the details. Financial literacy is the ability to read and understand financial statements, which allows you to identify the strengths and weaknesses of any business. 2. Investing. Investing is the science of money making money. This involves strategies and formulas that use the creative right brain side. 3. Understanding markets. Understanding markets is the science of supply and demand. You need to know the technical aspects of the market, which are emotion-driven, in addition to the fundamental or economic aspects of investment. Does investment make sense, or does it not make sense based on current market conditions? 4. The law. A corporation wrapped around the technical skills of accounting, investing, and markets can contribute to explosive growth. A person who understands the tax advantages and protections provided by a corporation can get rich so much faster than someone who is an employee or a small business sole proprietor. It's like the difference between someone walking and someone flying. The difference is profound when it comes to long-term wealth. Tax advantages. A corporation can do many things that an employee cannot, like pay expenses before paying taxes. That is a whole area of expertise that is very exciting. Employers earn and get taxed, and they try to live on what is left. A corporation earns, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that is left. It's one of the biggest legal tax loopholes that the rich use. They're easy to set up and are not expensive if you own investments that are producing good cash flow. For example, by owning your own corporation, your vacations can be board meetings in Hawaii. Car payments, insurance, repairs, and health club memberships are company expenses. Most restaurant meals are partial expenses, and on, but it's done legally with pre-tax dollars. Protection from lawsuits. We live in a litigious society. Everybody wants a piece of your action. The rich hide much of their wealth using vehicles such as corporations and trusts to protect their assets from creditors. When someone sues a wealthy individual, they are often met with layers of legal protection, and often find that the wealthy person actually owns nothing. They control everything, but own nothing. The poor and middle class try to own everything and lose it to the government or to fellow citizens who like to sue the rich. They learn it from the Robin Hood story. Take from the rich and give it to the poor. It is not the purpose of this book to go into the specifics of owning a corporation, but I will say that if you own any kind of legitimate assets, I would consider finding out more about the benefits and protection offered by a corporation as soon as possible. There are many books written on the subject that will detail the benefits and can walk you through the steps necessary to set up a corporation. Garrett Sutton's books on corporations provide wonderful insight into the power of personal corporations. Financial IQ is actually the synergy of many skills and talents. I would say it is a combination of the 4 technical skills listed above that make up basic financial intelligence. If you aspire to great wealth, it is a combination of these skills that will greatly amplify your financial intelligence. In summary, business owners of corporations 1. Earn, 2. Spend, 3. Pay taxes. Employees who work for corporations 1. Earn, 2. Pay taxes, 3. Spend. As part of your overall financial strategy, I recommend that you learn about the protection that legal entities can provide for businesses and assets. Study session. Chapter 4. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and power of corporations. Chapter 4. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and power of corporations. Summary. Many people see Robin Hood as a hero, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. Rich dad did not share that opinion. He called Robin Hood a crook. Though the popular sentiment is that the rich should pay more in taxes and give to the poor, in reality it is the middle class that is heavily taxed, especially the educated upper income middle class. To understand how this happens, Robert gives a brief history of taxes. In England and America, originally, there were no taxes, only occasional temporary levies to pay for such things as wars. In 1874, England made income tax a permanent levy on its citizens. In America, the landlord tax on tea led the Boston Tea Party protests and helped ignite the Revolutionary War. The adoption of the 16th Amendment in 1913 made income tax permanent. These countries were able to get taxes accepted by the majority because they were first levied only against the rich. However, although income tax was designed to punish the rich, it wound up punishing those who voted for it, the poor and the class. Rich Dad explained that he and Poor Dad were opposite. Poor Dad, as a government employee, was rewarded if he spent money on hired people, making his organization larger. But for Rich Dad, the fewer people he hired and the less money he spent, the more he was respected by his investors. And as the government grows, so does the amount of tax dollars needed to support it. Poor Dad sincerely believed the government should help people. He and Robert's mom worked for the Peace Corps, training volunteers to go to Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. They were always seeking more grants and budget increases so they could hire more people. For Robert, it was a challenge to work for one of the biggest capitalists in town and go home to a prominent government leader. It wasn't easy to know which dad to believe. But over time, as Robert studied the history of taxes, he saw an interesting perspective. As the government's appetite for money grew, taxes soon needed to be levied on the middle class, and from there it kept trickling down. But the rich saw an opportunity because they don't play by the same set of rules. Corporations, which became popular in the days of sailing ships, offered a way around taxes. Understanding the legal corporate structure gave the richest the advantage and allowed them to outsmart the intellectuals. The government idea is to avoid having excess money. If you fail to spend your allotted funds, you risk losing it in the next budget. Business people, on the other hand, are rewarded for having excess money and are applauded for their efficiency. And as the government continued its idea to spend more and more money, more taxes, this time on the middle class and eventually the poor, were needed. A corporation is simply a legal document that creates a legal entity. It's not really a thing, not a factory or a group of people, but offers a lower income tax rate than individuals have, and certain expenses can be paid by corporations with free tax dollars. If those who get up and go to work at their jobs and pay taxes could only understand the way the rich play the game, they could too. The problem is, the harder you work in a job, the more you must pay the government. Taxes end up punishing the very people who voted in. Attempts to punish the rich rarely work because the rich find ways to minimize their tax burden. One such way is Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, which allows a seller to delay paying taxes on a piece of real estate that is sold for a capital gain, so in exchange for a more expensive piece of real estate. As long as you keep trading up in value, you won't be taxed on the gains until you liquidate. Those who don't take advantage of these savings are missing a chance to build their asset on. In all the years Rich Dad was guiding Robert, he was trying to teach him that knowledge is power, and with money comes great power that requires the right knowledge to keep it and make it multiply. Without that knowledge, the world pushes you around. The tax man is a bully who will always take more if you let him. Don't let him by making your money work for you. Smart tax consultants and attorneys are worth their cost, as it's still cheaper than paying the government. It's expensive to not know the law. In his mid-20s, when he was just out of the Marine Corps and working for Xerox, Robert was disappointed by how much was taken out of his paychecks. It motivated him to form his first corporation in 1974 and work harder at his day job to amass as much money as possible to invest in real estate. He became one of the top salesmen at Xerox, and in less than 3 years was making more in his real estate holding corporation than he was at Xerox. His company bought his first Porsche, proof that the plan was working. The lessons he learned from Rich Dad helped him break out of the proverbial rat race at an early age, and he wants to help others do the same. Financial IQ, or financial intelligence, is what makes that possible. It's made up of 4 things: accounting, financial literacy, or the ability to read numbers and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of any business; investing, the science and strategies of money making money; understanding markets, the science of supply and demand and market conditions; and the law, tax advantages and protections. Understanding those legal advantages is profound when it comes to long-term wealth. For instance, a corporation can pay expenses before paying taxes, whereas an employee gets taxed first and must try to pay expenses on what's left. Board meetings in Hawaii, car payments, and insurance and health club memberships can be pre-tax expenses for a corporation. Corporations also offer legal protection from lawsuits. When someone sues a wealthy individual, they are often met with layers of legal protection and often find the wealthy person actually owns nothing. They control everything, but own nothing. Robert urges those who own legitimate assets to find out more about corporations' benefits and protections. Here at Sun's books are among many that can help. In summary, business owners with corporations: 1. Earn; 2. Spend; 3. Pay taxes. Employees who work for corporations: 1. Earn; 2. Pay taxes; 3. Spend. Left hemisphere moment. Accounting is financial literacy, or the ability to read numbers. This is a vital skill if you want to build an empire. The more money you are responsible for, the more accuracy is required, or the house comes tumbling down. Right hemisphere moment. Investing is the science of money making money. This involves strategies and formulas, which use the creative side of the brain. Subconscious mode. Understanding markets is the science of supply and demand. You need to know the technical aspects of the market, which are emotion driven, in addition to the fundamental or economic aspects of investment. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. 2 minds are better than 1. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. My rich dad just played the game smart, and he did it through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich. The reality is that the rich are not taxed. It's the middle class who pays for the poor, especially the educated upper income middle class. Every time people try to punish the rich don't simply comply. They react. They have the money, power, and intent to change things. They don't just sit there and voluntarily pay more taxes. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. A person who understands the tax advantages and protections provided by a corporation can get rich so much faster than someone who is an employee or a small business sole proprietor. It's like the difference between someone walking and someone flying. Employees earn and get taxed, and they try to live on what's left. A corporation earns, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that is left. It's one of the biggest legal tax loopholes that the rich use. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter along with the understanding of what Robert was saying and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you are giving, ask yourself if you are willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. Do you agree with Rich Dad's assessment of Robin Hood, that he was a crook? Why or why not? 2. Have taxes created a bigger problem with government spending? 3. Do you think members of the middle class and the poor realize that the burden of taxes falls to them? What effects of that do you see? 4. Do your beliefs fall more into the manner of capitalism or socialism? What are the benefits and downfalls of each way of thinking? 5. Are the rich right to use the advantages of corporations to avoid paying taxes? Do you think more people would follow suit if they understood the system better? 6. What are specific ways that you yourself could benefit from using a corporation for your assets? Term definitions. 1031. Jargon for section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, which allows a seller to delay paying taxes on a piece of real estate that is sold for a capital gain to exchange for a more expensive piece of real estate. Corporation. Merely a legal document that creates a legal body without a soul. It's not a big building or a factory or a group of people. Using it, the wealth of the rich is protected. Financial IQ. Financial intelligence that comes as a result of financial education. People with high financial IQ learn to use other people's money to become rich. Financial literacy. The ability to read and understand financial statements, which allows you to identify the strengths and weaknesses of any business. Dedication. To parents everywhere, a child's first and most important teachers, and all those who educate, influence, and lead by example. Acknowledgements. How does a person say thank you when there are so many people to thank? Obviously, this book is a thank you to my 2 fathers, who were powerful role models, and to my mom, who taught me love and kindness. The person most responsible for this book becoming a reality is my wife, Kim, my partner in marriage, business, and in life. She makes my life complete. 20 years. 2020 hindsight. It was 20 years ago today. The Beatles released the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album on June 1st, 1967. It was an immediate commercial and critical success, spending 27 weeks at the top of the album chart in the UK and 15 weeks at #1 in the United States. Time magazine declared Sgt. Pepper's a historic departure in the progress of music. It won 4 Grammy Awards in 1968, as well as Album of the Year, the first rock album ever to receive that honor. Rich Dad Poor Dad was released 20 years ago on my 50th birthday on April 8th, 1997. Unlike the Beatles story, the book was not an immediate commercial success. It was not a critical success. In fact, the book's release and the firestorm of criticism that followed was quite the opposite. Rich Dad Poor Dad was originally self-published because every book publisher we approached turned my book down. A few rejections slipped off for comments like, "You do not know what you were talking about." I learned that most publishers are more like my highly educated poor dad than my rich dad. Most publishers disagree with my rich dad's lessons on money, as did my poor dad. 20 years today. In 1997, Rich Dad Poor Dad was a warning, a book of lessons about the future. 20 years later, millions of people around the world are more aware of my rich dad's warnings and his lessons about the future. With 2020 hindsight, many have said that his lessons were prophetic. Predictions come true. A few of those lessons are: Rich Dad's lesson number 1: the rich don't work for money. 20 years ago, a few publishers turned my book down because they did not agree with Rich Dad's number 1 lesson. Today, people are more aware of the growing divide between the rich and everyone else. Between 1993 and 2010, over 50% of the increase in the national income in the United States went to the wealthiest 1%. Since then, things have only gotten worse. Economists at the University of California found that 95% of the income gains between the years 2009 and 2012 also went to that wealthiest 1%. The lesson: the increases in income are going to entrepreneurs and investors, not to employees, not to the people who work for money. Rich Dad lesson: savers are losers. 20 years ago, most publishers vehemently disagree with this lesson for Rich Dad. For the poor and middle class, saving money is a religion, financial salvation from poverty and protection from the cruel world. For many people, calling savers losers is like taking God's name in vain. The lesson: a picture is worth 1,000 words. Take a look at the chart provided in bonus material of 120 years of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and you'll see why and how savers become losers. The charts show there have been 3 massive stock market crashes in the first 10 years of this new century. The first crash was the dot-com crash around the year 2000. The second and third crashes were the real estate crash of 2007, followed by the banking crash of 2008. The giant crash of 1929. When you compare the first 3 crashes of the 21st century to the giant crash of 1929, you gain perspective of how truly giant the first 3 crashes of the century were. Printing money. The third chart shows that after each crash, the US government and the Federal Reserve Bank began printing money. Saving the rich. Between the years 2000 to 2016, in the name of saving the economy, the banks of the world kept cutting interest rates and printing money. While our leaders wanted to believe they were saving the world, in reality, the rich were saving themselves, and threw the poor and middle class under the bus. Today, interest rates in many countries are below zero, which is why savers are losers. Today, the biggest losers are the poor and middle class, the people who work for money and save money. Rich Dad lesson: your house is not an asset. 20 years ago, in 1997, every publisher who sent me a rejection slip criticized Rich Dad's lesson that your house is not an asset. 10 years later, in 2007, when subprime borrowers began to default on their subprime mortgages, the world's real estate bubble burst, and millions of homeowners found out the truth in that lesson the hard way. Their house was not an asset. The real problem: most people do not know that the real estate crash was not really a real estate crash. Poor people did not cause the real estate crash. The rich caused the real estate crash. The rich created financially engineered products known as derivatives. Products Warren Buffett called weapons of mass financial destruction. When the financial weapons of mass destruction started to explode, the real estate market crashed, and poor subprime borrowers were blamed. In 2007, there were an estimated $700 trillion in financial derivatives. Today, it is estimated there are $1.2 quadrillion in financial derivatives. In other words, the real problem has gotten bigger, not better. Rich Dad lesson: why the rich pay less in taxes. 20 years ago, a few publishers criticized Rich Dad Poor Dad for disclosing how and why the rich pay less in taxes. One stated that that lesson was illegal. 10 years later, in 2007, President Barack Obama was running for re-election against former Governor Mitt Romney. When it was disclosed that President Obama paid approximately 30% of his income in taxes and Governor Romney paid less than 13% in taxes, Mitt Romney began the downhill slide that cost him the election. Taxes again were a focal point in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Rather than find out how people like Mitt Romney and President Donald Trump pay less in taxes legally, the poor and middle class get angry. While President Trump promises to reduce taxes for the poor and middle class, the reality is the rich will always pay less in taxes. The reason the rich pay less in taxes goes back to Rich Dad's lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. As long as the person works for money, they will pay taxes. Even when presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was promising to raise the taxes on the rich, she was promising to raise the taxes on those with high incomes, people like doctors, actors, and lawyers, not the real rich. 20 years ago, although Rich Dad Poor Dad was not an immediate success like the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's album, Rich Dad Poor Dad did make the New York Times bestseller list by the year 2000 and stayed on that list for nearly 7 years. Also in the year 2000, Oprah Winfrey called. I was on Oprah for the entire hour, and as they say, the rest is history. Rich Dad Poor Dad has become the number 1 personal finance book in history, with sales of the Rich Dad series of books estimated at nearly 40 million copies worldwide. Was there really a Rich Dad? Millions have asked, was there really a Rich Dad? To answer that question, you can listen to Rich Dad's son, Mike, when he was a guest on the Rich Dad radio show. You can listen to that program by going to richdadradio.com. Rich Dad Graduate School. Rich Dad Poor Dad was written as simply as possible so that almost everyone could understand why Rich Dad's lessons. For those who want to learn more, as part of the 20-year celebration I wrote, Why the Rich Are Getting Richer? What is financial education, really? Why the Rich Are Getting Richer goes into greater, more specific detail on what Rich Dad really taught his son and me when it came to money and investing. Why the Rich Are Getting Richer is Rich Dad Poor Dad for graduate students. It's a graduate school for Rich Dad students. Opening and invitation. While I did my best to keep Why the Rich Are Getting Richer as simple as possible, what the rich really do is not easy or easy to explain. What the rich really do requires real financial education not taught in our schools. I suggest reading Rich Dad Poor Dad first. Then, if you want to learn more, Why the Rich Are Getting Richer may be for you. Thank you for 20 great years. To all our readers, past, present, and future, all of us at the Rich Dad Company say thank you for 20 great years. It is our mission to elevate the financial well-being of humanity, and that starts with one life and one person at a time. Introduction: Rich Dad Poor Dad. Having two dads offered me the choice of contrasting points of view, one of a rich man and one of a poor man. I had two fathers, a rich one and a poor one. One was highly educated and intelligent. He had a PhD and completed 4 years of undergraduate work in less than 2 years. He then went on to Stanford University, the University of Chicago, and Northwestern University to do his advanced studies, all on full financial scholarships. The other father never finished the 8th grade. Both men were successful in their careers, working hard all their lives. Both earned substantial incomes. Yet one always struggled financially. The other would become one of the richest men in Hawaii. One died leaving tens of millions of dollars to his family, charities, and his church. The other left bills to be paid when he died. Both men were strong, charismatic, and influential. Both men offered me advice, but they did not advise the same things. Both men believed strongly in education, but did not recommend the same course of study. If I had had only one dad, I would have had to accept or reject his advice. Having two dads offered me the choice of contrasting points of view, one of a rich man and one of a poor man. Instead of simply accepting or rejecting one or the other, I found myself thinking more, comparing, and then choosing for myself. The problem was that the rich man was not rich yet, and the poor man was not yet poor. Both were just starting out in their careers, and both were struggling with money and families, but they had very different points of view about money. For example, one dad would say, the love of money is the root of all evil. The other said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. As a young boy, having two strong fathers both influencing me was difficult. I wanted to be a good son and listen, but the two fathers did not say the same things. The contrast in their points of view, particularly about money, was so extreme that I grew curious and intrigued. I began to start thinking for long periods of time about what each was saying. Much of my private time was spent reflecting, asking myself questions such as, why does he say that? And then asking the same question of the other dad's statement. It would have been much easier to simply say, yeah, he's right, I agree with that, or to simply reject the point of view by saying, the old man doesn't know what he's talking about. Instead, having two dads whom I loved forced me to think and ultimately choose a way of thinking for myself. As a process, choosing for myself turned out to be much more valuable in the long run than simply accepting or rejecting a single point of view. One of the reasons the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class struggles in debt is that the subject of money is taught at home, not in school. Most of us learn about money from our parents. So what can poor parents tell their child about money? They simply say, stay in school and study hard. The child may graduate with excellent grades, but with a poor person's financial programming and mindset. Sadly, money is not taught in schools. Schools focus on scholastic and professional skills, but not on financial skills. This explains why smart bankers, doctors, and accountants who earn excellent grades may struggle financially all their lives. Our staggering national debt is due in large part to highly educated politicians and government officials making financial decisions with little or no training in the subject of money. The debt clock. Fast forward 20 years, and the U.S. national debt is beyond staggering. At present time, it's nearing $20 trillion. That's trillion with a T. Today, I often wonder what will happen when we have millions of people who need financial and medical assistance. They will be dependent on their families or the government for financial support. What will happen when Medicare and Social Security run out of money? How will the nation survive if teaching children about money continues to be left to parents? Most of them will be or already are poor. Because I had two influential fathers, I learned from both of them. I had to think about each dad's advice, and in doing so, I gained valuable insight into the power and effect of one's thoughts on one's life. For example, one dad had a habit of saying, I can't afford it. The other dad forbade those words to be used. He insisted I ask, how can I afford it? One is a statement, and the other is a question. One lets you off the hook, and the other forces you to think. My soon-to-be rich dad would explain that by automatically saying the words, I can't afford it, your brain stops working. By asking the question, how can I afford it, your brain is put to work. He did not mean that you should buy everything you want. He was fanatical about exercising your mind, the most powerful computer in the world. He'd say, my brain gets stronger every day because I exercise it. The stronger it gets, the more money I can make. He believed that automatically saying, I can't afford it, was a sign of mental laziness. Although both dads worked hard, I noticed that one dad had a habit of putting his brain to sleep when it came to finances, and the other had a habit of exercising his brain. The long-term result was that one dad grew stronger financially, and the other grew weaker. It is not much different from a person who goes to the gym to exercise on a regular basis versus someone who sits on the couch watching television. Proper physical exercise increases your chances for health, and proper mental exercise increases your chances for wealth. My two dads had opposing attitudes, and that affected the way they thought. One dad thought that the rich should pay more in taxes to take care of those less fortunate. The other said taxes punish those who produce and reward those who don't produce. One dad recommended study hard so you can find a good company to work for. The other recommended study hard so you can find a good company to buy. One dad said, the reason I'm not rich is because I have few kids. The other said, the reason I must be rich is because I have few kids. One encouraged talking about money and business at the dinner table, while the other forbade the subject of money to be discussed over a meal. One said, when it comes to money, play it safe. Don't take risks. The other said, learn to manage risk. One believed our home is our largest investment and our greatest asset. The other believed my house is a liability. And if your house is your largest investment, you're in trouble. Your house is not an asset. The 2008 housing market crash was a clear message that your personal residence is not an asset. Not only does it not put money in your pocket, but we cannot count on the fact that it will go up in value. Many houses in 2017 are still worth less than they were in 2007. Both dads paid their bills on time, yet one paid his bills first, while the other paid his bills last. One dad believed in a company or the government taking care of you and your needs. He was always concerned about pay raises, retirement plans, medical benefits, sick leave, vacation days, and other perks. He was impressed with two of his uncles who joined the military and earned retirement and entitlement package for life after 20 years of active service. He loved the idea of medical benefits and PX privileges the military provided to retirees. He also loved the tenure system available through the university. The idea of job protection for life and job benefits seemed more important at times than the job. He would often say, I've worked hard for the government and I'm entitled to these benefits. The other believed in total financial self-reliance. He spoke out against the entitlement mentality and how it created weak and financially needy people. He was emphatic about being financially competent. One dad struggled to save a few dollars, the other created investments. One dad taught me how to write an impressive resume so I could find a good job. The other taught me how to write strong business and financial plans so I could create jobs. Being a product of two strong dads allowed me the luxury of observing the effects different thoughts have on one's life. I noticed that people really do shape their lives through their thoughts. For example, my poor dad always said, I'll never be rich, and that prophecy became reality. My rich dad, on the other hand, always referred to himself as rich. He would say things like, I'm a rich man, and rich people don't do this. Even when he was flat broke after a major financial setback, he continued to refer to himself as a rich man. He would cover himself by saying, there's a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. My poor dad would say, I'm not interested in money, or money doesn't matter. My rich dad always said, money is power. The power of our thoughts may never be measured or appreciated, but it became obvious to me as a young boy that it was important to be aware of my thoughts and how I expressed myself. I noticed that my poor dad was poor, not because of the amount of money he earned, which was significant, but because of his thoughts and actions. As a young boy having two fathers, I became acutely aware of being careful about which thoughts I chose to adopt as my own. Should I listen to my rich dad or to my poor dad? Although both men had tremendous respect for education and learning, they disagreed about what they thought was important to learn. One wanted me to study hard, earn a degree, and get a good job to earn money. He wanted me to study to become a professional, an attorney or an accountant, and to go to business school for my MBA. The other encouraged me to study to be rich, to understand how money works, and learn how to have it work for me. I don't work for money were words he would repeat over and over. Money works for me. At the age of 9, I decided to listen to and learn from my rich dad about money. In doing so, I chose not to listen to my poor dad, even though he was the one with all the college degrees. There's a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. A lesson from Robert Frost. Robert Frost is my favorite poet. Although I love many of his poems, my favorite is The Road Not Taken. I use this lesson almost daily. The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent to the other road, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and much wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no sky trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on the way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And it has made all the difference. Over the years, I've often reflected upon Robert Frost's poem. Choosing not to listen to my highly educated dad's advice and attitude about money was a painful decision, but it was a decision that shaped the rest of my life. Once I made up my mind about whom to listen to, my education about money began. My rich dad taught me over a period of 30 years until I was 39 years old. He stopped once he realized that I knew and fully understood what he had been trying to drum into my often thick skull. Money is one form of power. But what is more powerful is financial education. Money comes and goes, but if you have the education about how money works, you gain power over it and begin building wealth. The reason positive thinking alone does not work is because most people went to school and never learned how money works, so they spent their lives working for money. Because I was only 9 years old when I started, the lessons my rich dad taught me were simple. And when it was all said and done, there were only 6 main lessons repeated over 30 years. This book is about those 6 lessons put as simply as possible, just as simply as my rich dad put forth those lessons to me. The lessons are meant to not be answers, but guideposts that will assist you and your children and your families to grow wealthier, no matter what happens in a world of increasing change and uncertainty. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Dad, can you tell me how to get rich? My dad put down the evening paper. Why do you want to get rich, son? Because today Jimmy's mom drove up in their new Cadillac and they were going to the beach house for the weekend. He took 3 of his friends, but Mike and I weren't invited. They told us we weren't invited because we were poor kids. They did? My dad asked incredulously. Yeah, they did. I replied in a hurt tone. My dad silently shook his head, pushed his glasses up the bridge of his nose, and went back to reading the paper. I stood waiting for an answer. The year was 1956. I was 9 years old. By some twist of fate, I attended the same public school where the rich people sent their kids. We were primarily a sugar plantation town in Hawaii. The managers of the plantation and the other affluent people, such as doctors, business owners, and bankers, sent their children to this public elementary school. After grade 6, their children were generally sent off to private schools. Because my family lived on one side of the street, I went to the school. Had I lived on the other side of the street, I would have gone to a different school with kids from families more like mine. After grade 6, these kids and I would go on to the public intermediate high school. There was no private school for them or for me. My dad finally put down the paper. I could tell he was thinking. Well, son, he began slowly, if you want to be rich, you have to learn to make money. How do I make money? I asked. Well, use your head, son, he said, smiling. Even then, I knew that really meant, that's all I'm going to tell you, or I don't know the answer, so don't embarrass me. A partnership is formed. The next morning, I told my best friend Mike what my dad had said. As best as I could tell, Mike and I were the only poor kids in the school. Mike was also at the school by a twist of fate. Someone had drawn a dog in the line for the school district, and we wound up in school with the rich kids. We weren't really poor, but we felt as if we were because all the other boys had new baseball gloves, new bicycles, new everything. My dad provided us with the basics, like food, shelter, and clothes, but that was about it. My dad used to say, if you want something, work for it. We wanted things, but there was not much work available for 9-year-old boys. So what do we do to make money? Mike asked. I don't know, I said, but do you want to be my partner? He agreed. And so on that Saturday morning, Mike became my first business partner. We spent all morning coming up with ideas on how to make money. Occasionally, we talked about all the cool guys at Jimmy's Beach House having fun. It hurt a little, but that hurt was good because it inspired us to keep thinking of ways to make money. Finally, that afternoon, a bolt of lightning struck. It was an idea Mike got from a science book he had read. Excitedly, we shook hands, and the partnership now had a business. For the next several weeks, Mike and I ran around our neighborhood, knocking on doors and asking our neighbors if they would save their toothpaste tube source. With puzzled looks, most adults consented with a smile. Some asked us what we were doing, to which we replied, we can't tell you, it's a business secret. My mom grew distressed as the weeks wore on. We had selected a site next to our washing machine as a place we would stockpile our raw materials. In a round cardboard box that at one time held ketchup bottles, our little pile of used toothpaste tubes began to grow. Finally, my mom put her foot down. The sight of her neighbor's messy, crumpled used toothpaste tubes had gotten to her. What are you boys doing, she asked. And I don't want to hear again that it's a business secret. Do something with this mess or I'm going to throw it out. Mike and I pleaded and begged, explained that we would soon have enough and then we would begin production. We informed her that we were waiting on a couple of neighbors to finish their toothpaste, so we had their tubes. Mom granted us a 1-week extension. The date to begin production was moved up and the pressure was on. My first partnership was already being threatened with an eviction notice by my own mom. It became my job to tell the neighbors to quickly use up their toothpaste, saying their dentist wanted them to brush more often anyway. I began putting together the production line. One day, my dad drove up with a friend to see 2 9-year-old boys in the driveway with the production line operating at full speed. There was fine white powder everywhere. On one table were small milk cartons from school, and our family's hibachi grill was glowing with red hot coals at maximum heat. Dad walked up cautiously, having parked the car at the base of the driveway, since the production line blocked the carport. As he and his friend got closer, they saw a steel pot sitting on top of the poles in which the toothpaste tubes were being melted down. In those days, toothpaste did not come in plastic tubes. The tubes were made of lead. So once the tape was burned off, the tubes were dropped in a small steel pot. They melted until they became liquid, and with my mom's hot orders, we poured the lead through a small hole in the top of the milk cartons. The milk cartons were filled with plaster repairs. My powder was everywhere. In my haste, I had knocked the bag over, and the entire area looked like it had been hit by a snowstorm. The milk cartons were the outer containers for plaster repairs molds. My dad and his friend watched as we carefully poured the molds and lead through a small hole in the top of the plaster repairs tube. Careful, my dad said. I nodded without looking up. Finally, once the pouring was through, I put the steel pot down and smiled at my dad. What are you boys doing? He asked with a cautious smile. We're doing what you told me to do. We're going to be rich, I said. Yep, said Mike, grinning and nodding his head. We're partners. And what is in those plaster molds? My dad asked. Watch, I said. This should be a good batch. With a small hammer, I tapped the seal to divide the tube in half. Cautiously, I pulled up the top half of the plaster mold, and a lead nickel fell out. Oh no, my dad exclaimed. You're casting nickels out of lead. That's right, Mike said. We're doing as you told us to do. We're making money. My dad's friend turned and burst into laughter. My dad smiled and shook his head. Along with a fire and a box of spent toothpaste tubes, in front of him were 2 little boys covered with white dust, smiling from ear to ear. He asked us to put everything down and sit with him on the front step of our house. With a smile, he gently explained what the word counterfeiting meant. Our dreams were dashed. You mean this is illegal? Asked Mike in a quivering voice. Let them go, my dad's friend said. They might be developing a natural talent. My dad glared at him. Yes, it is illegal, my dad said gently. But you boys have shown great creativity and original thought. Keep going. I'm really proud of you. Disappointed, Mike and I sat in silence for about 20 minutes before we began cleaning up our mess. The business was over on opening day. Sweeping the powder up, I looked at Mike and said, I guess Jimmy and his friends are right. We are poor. My father was just leaving as I said that. Boys, he said, you're only poor if you give up. The most important thing is that you did something. Most people only talk and dream of getting rich. You've done something. I'm very proud of the 2 of you. I will say it again. Keep going. Don't quit. Mike and I stood there in silence. They were nice words, but we still did not know what to do. So how come you're not rich, Dad? I asked. Because I chose to be a school teacher. School teachers really don't think about being rich. We just like to teach. I wish I could help you, but I really don't know how to make money. Mike and I turned and continued our cleanup. I know, said my dad. If you boys want to learn how to be rich, don't ask me. Talk to your dad, Mike. My dad? Asked Mike with a scrunched up face. Yeah, your dad, repeated my dad with a smile. Your dad and I have the same banker, and he raised like your father. He's told me several times that your father is brilliant when it comes to making money. My dad? Mike asked again in disbelief. Then how come we don't have a nice car and a nice house like the rich kids at school? A nice car and a nice house don't necessarily mean you're rich or you know how to make money, my dad replied. Jimmy's dad works for the sugar plantation. He's not much different from me. He works for a company and I work for the government. The company buys the car for him. The sugar company is in financial trouble and Jimmy's dad may soon have nothing. Your dad is different, Mike. He seems to be building an empire, and I suspect in a few years he will be a very rich man. With that, Mike and I got excited again. With new vigor, we began cleaning up the mess caused by our now defunct first business. As we were cleaning, we made plans for how and when to talk to Mike's dad. The problem was that Mike's dad worked long hours and often did not come home until late. His father owned warehouses, a construction company, a chain stores, and 3 restaurants. It was the restaurants that kept him out late. Mike called the bus home after we finished cleaning up. He was going to talk to his dad when he got home that night and asked him if he would teach us how to become rich. Mike promised to call as soon as he talked to his dad, even if it was late. The phone rang at 8:30 p.m. Okay, I said, next Saturday. I put the phone down. Mike's dad had agreed to meet with us. On Saturday, I caught the 7:30 a.m. bus to the poor side of town. The lessons began. Mike and I met with his dad that morning at 8 o'clock. He was already busy, having been at work for more than an hour. His construction supervisor was just leaving his pickup truck as I walked up to a simple, small, and tidy home. Mike met me at the door. Dad's on the phone and he said, wait on the back porch. Mike said as he opened the door. The old wooden floor creaked as I stepped across the threshold of the aging house. There was a cheap mat just inside the door. The mat was there to hide the years of wear from countless footsteps that the floor had supported. Although clean, it needed to be replaced. I felt claustrophobic as I entered the narrow living room. It was filled with old, messy, overstuffed furniture that today would be collector's items. Sitting on the couch were 2 women, both a little older than my mom. Across from the women sat a man in workman's clothes. He wore khaki slacks and a khaki shirt, neatly pressed but without starch, and polished work boots. He was about 10 years older than my dad. His smile was Mike and I walked past them toward the back porch. I smiled back shyly. Who are those people? I asked. Oh, they work for my dad. The old man runs his warehouses, and the women are the managers of the restaurants. And as you arrived, you saw the construction supervisor who was working on a road project about 50 miles from here. His other supervisor who was building a tract of houses left before you got here. Does this go on all the time? I asked. Not always, but quite often, said Mike, smiling as he pulled up a chair to sit down next to me. I asked my dad if he would teach us to make money, Mike said. Oh, and what did you say to that? I asked with cautious curiosity. Well, he had a funny look on his face at first, and then he said he would make us an offer. Oh, I said, rocking my chair back against the wall. I sat there perched on two rear legs of the chair. Mike did the same thing. Do you know what the offer is? I asked. No, but we'll soon find out. Suddenly, Mike's dad burst through the ready screen door and onto the porch. Mike and I jumped to our feet, not out of respect, but because we were startled. Ready, boys? He asked as he pulled up a chair to sit down with us. We nodded our heads as we pulled our chairs away from the wall to sit in front of him. He was a big man, about 6 feet tall and 200 pounds. My dad was taller, about the same weight and 5 years older than Mike's dad. They sort of looked alike, though not of the same ethnic makeup. Maybe their energy was similar. Mike says you want to learn to make money. Is that correct, Robert? I nodded my head quickly, but with a little trepidation. He had a lot of power behind his words and smile. Okay, here's my offer. I'll teach you, but I won't do it classroom style. You work for me, I'll teach you. You don't work for me, I won't teach you. I can teach you faster if you work, and I'm wasting my time if you just want to sit and listen like you do in school. That's my offer. Take it or leave it. May I ask a question first? I asked. No, take it or leave it. I've got too much work to do to waste my time. If you can't make up your mind decisively, then you'll never learn to make money anyway. Opportunities come and go. Being able to know when to make quick decisions is an important skill. You have the opportunity that you asked for. School is beginning, or it's over in 10 seconds. My dad said with a teasing smile. Take it, I said. Take it, said Mike. Good, said Mike's dad. Mrs. Martin will be buying in 10 minutes. After I'm through with her, you'll ride with my super and you can begin working. I'll pay you 10 cents an hour and you work 3 hours every Saturday. I have a softball game today, I said. Mike's dad lowered his voice to a stern tone. Take it or leave it, he said. I'll take it, I replied, choosing to work and learn instead of playing. Decisiveness. The world is moving faster and faster. Stock market trades are made in milliseconds. Deals come and go on the internet in a matter of minutes. More and more people are competing for good deals. So the faster you can make a decision, the more likely you'll be able to seize opportunities before someone else does. 30 cents later. By 9 a.m. that day, Mike and I were working for Mrs. Martin. She was a kind and patient woman. She always said that Mike and I reminded her of her 2 grown sons. All the time, she believed in hard work and kept us moving. We spent 3 hours taking canned goods off the shelves, brushing each can with a feather duster to get the dust off, and then restacking them neatly. It was excruciatingly boring work. Mike's dad, whom I call my rich dad, owned 9 of these little cigarettes, each with a large parking lot. They were the early version of 7-Eleven convenience stores, little neighborhood grocery stores where people bought items such as milk, bread, butter, and cigarettes. The problem was that this was Hawaii before air conditioning was widely used, and the stores could not close their doors because of the heat. On 2 sides of the store, the doors had to be wide open to the road and parking lot. Every time the car drove by or pulled into the parking lot, dust would swirl and settle in the store. We knew we had a job as long as there was no air conditioning. For 3 weeks, Mike and I reported to Mrs. Martin and worked hours for 3 hours. My noon hour work was over, and she dropped 3 little dimes in each of our hands. Now, even at the age of 9 in the mid-1950s, 30 cents was not too exciting. Comic books cost 10 cents back then, so I usually spent my money on comic books and went home. By Wednesday of the 4th week, I was ready to quit. I had agreed to work only because I wanted to learn to make money from Mike's dad, and now I was a slave for 10 cents an hour. On top of that, I had not seen Mike's dad since that first Saturday. I'm quitting, I told Mike at lunchtime. School was boring, and now I did not even have my Saturdays to look forward to. But it was the 30 cents that really got to me. This time, Mike smiled. What are you laughing at? I asked with anger and frustration. Dad said this would happen. He said to me with him when you were ready to quit. What? I said indignantly. He's been waiting for me to get fed up. Sort of, Mike said. Dad's kind of different. He doesn't teach like your dad. Your mom and dad lecture a lot. My dad is quiet and a man of few words. You just wait till this Saturday. I'll tell him you're ready. You mean I could set up? No, not really, but maybe. Dad will explain on Saturday. Waiting in line on Saturday. I was ready to face Mike's dad. Even my real dad was angry with him. My real dad, the one I called poor one, thought that my rich dad was violating child labor laws and should be investigated. My educated poor dad told me to demand what I deserve, at least 25 cents an hour. My poor dad told me that if I did not get a raise, I was to quit immediately. You don't need that damn job anyway, said my poor dad with indignation. At 8 o'clock Saturday morning, I walked through the door of Mike's house when Mike's dad opened it. Take a seat and wait in line, he said as I entered. He turned and disappeared into his little office next to a bedroom. I looked around the room and didn't see Mike anywhere. Feeling awkward, I cautiously sat down next to the same 2 women who were there 4 weeks earlier. They smiled and slid down the couch to make room for me. 45 minutes went by and I was steaming. The 2 women had met with him and left 30 minutes earlier. An older gentleman was in there for 20 minutes and was also gone. The house was empty, and here I sat in a musty, dark living room on a beautiful sunny Hawaiian day, waiting to talk to a cheapskate who exploited children. I could hear him rustling around the office, talking on the phone and ignoring me. I was ready to walk out, but for some reason, I stayed. Finally, 15 minutes later, exactly 9 o'clock, Rich Dad walked out of his office, said nothing, and signaled with his hand for me to enter. I understand you want a raise or you're going to quit, Rich Dad said as he swiveled in his office chair. Well, you're not keeping your end of the bargain, I blurted out, nearly in tears. It was really frightening for me to confront a grown-up. You said that you would teach me if I worked for you. Well, I've worked for you. I've worked hard. I've given out baseball games to work for you. You haven't kept your word, and you haven't taught me anything. You're a crook like everyone in town thinks you are. You're greedy. You want all the money and don't take care of your employees. You made me wait and don't show me any respect. I'm only a little boy, but I deserve to be treated better. Rich Dad rocked back in his swivel chair, hands up to his chin, and stared at me. Not bad, he said. In less than a month, you sound like most of my employees. What? I asked, not understanding what he was saying. I continued with my grievance. I thought you were going to keep your end of the bargain and teach me. Instead, you had to torture me. That's cruel. That's really cruel. I am teaching you, Rich Dad said quietly. What have you taught me? Nothing, I said angrily. You haven't even talked to me once since I agreed to work for peanuts. 10 cents an hour. Ha! I should notify the government about you. We have child labor laws, you know. My dad works for the government, you know. Wow, said Rich Dad. Now you sound just like most of the people who used to work for me. People I've either fired or who quit. So what do you have to say? I demanded, feeling pretty brave for a little kid. You lied to me. I've worked for you and you have not kept your word. You haven't taught me anything. How do you know that I've not taught you anything? Asked Rich Dad calmly. Well, you never talked to me. I've worked for 3 weeks and you have not taught me anything, I said with a pout. Does teaching mean talking or lecture? Rich Dad asked. Well, yes, I replied. That's how they teach you in school, he said smiling. The tone of learning. Edgar Dale gets credit for helping us to understand that we learn best through action, doing the real thing or simulation. Sometimes it's called experiential learning. Dale and his tone of learning tell us that reading and lecture are the least effective ways to learn, and yet we all know how most schools teach, reading and lecture. See chart 4 in the bonus material. But that is not how life teaches you, and I would say that life is the best teacher of all. Most of the time, life does not talk to you. It just sort of pushes you around. Each push is life saying, wake up, there's something I want you to learn. What is this man talking about? I asked myself. Life pushing me around was life talking to me? Now I knew I had to quit my job. I was talking to someone who needed to be locked up. If you learn life lessons, you'll do well. If not, life will just continue to push you around. People do 2 things. Some just let life push them around. Others get angry and push back. But they push back against their boss or their job or their husband or wife. They do not know it's life that's pushing. I had no idea what he was talking about. Life pushes all of us around. Some people give up and others fight. A few learn the lesson and move on. They welcome life pushing them around. To these few people, it means they need and want to learn something. They learn and move on. Most quit, and a few, like you, fight. Rich Dad stood and shut the creaky old wooden window that needed repair. If you learn this lesson, you will grow into a wise, wealthy, and happy young man. If you don't, you will spend your life blaming your job, low pay, or your boss for your problems. You'll live life always hoping for that big break that will solve all your money problems. Rich Dad looked over at me to see if I was still listening. His eyes met mine. We stared at each other, communicating through our eyes. Finally, I looked away once I absorbed his message. I knew he was right. I was blaming him, and I did ask to learn. I was fighting. Life as a teacher. Today's millennials are learning the hard facts of life. Jobs are hard to find. Robots are replacing workers by the millions. Learning by making mistakes through trial and error is more and more important. Book learning is proving to be less valuable in the real world. No longer does college education guarantee a job. Rich Dad continued. Or if you're the kind of person who has no guts, you just give up every time life pushes you. If you're that kind of person, you'll live all your life playing it safe, doing the right things, saving yourself for some event that never happens. Then you die a boring old man. You have lots of friends who really like you because you're such a nice, hardworking guy. But the truth is, you let life push you into submission. Deep down, you were terrified of taking risks. You really wanted to win, but the fear of losing was greater than the excitement of winning. Deep inside, you and only you will know you didn't go for it. You chose to play it safe. Our eyes met again. You've been pushing me around? I asked. Some people might say that, smiled Rich Dad. I would say that I gave you a taste of life. What taste of life? I asked, still angry, but now curious and ready to learn. You boys are the first people who ever asked me to teach them how to make money. I have more than 150 employees, and not one of them has asked me why I know about money. They ask me for a job and a paycheck, but never to teach them about money. So most will spend the best years of their lives working for money, not really understanding what it is they're working for. I sat there listening intently. So when Mike told me he wanted to learn how to make money, I decided to design a course that mirrored real life. I could talk until I was blue in the face, but you wouldn't hear a thing. So I decided to let life push you around a bit so you could hear me. That's why I only paid you 10 cents. So what is the lesson I learned from working for only 10 cents an hour? I asked. That you're cheap and exploit your workers? Rich Dad rocked back and laughed heartily. Finally he said, you best change your point of view. Stop blaming me and thinking I'm the problem. If you think I'm the problem, then you have to change me. If you realize that you're the problem, then you can change yourself, learn something, and grow wiser. Most people want everyone else in the world to change for themselves. Let me tell you, it's easier to change yourself than everyone else. Change what you can. I've learned the truth and wisdom in Rich Dad's words. So much of life is out of our control. I've learned to focus on what I do have control over, myself. And if things must change, first, I must change. I don't understand, I said. Don't blame me for your problems, Rich Dad said, growing impatient. But you only pay me 10 cents. So what is the lesson I learned? I asked. So what are you learning? Rich Dad asked, smiling. That you're cheap, I said with a sly grin. See, you think I'm the problem, said Rich Dad. But you are. Well, keep that attitude and you'll learn nothing. Keep the attitude that I'm the problem, and what choices do you have? Well, if you don't pay me more or show me more respect and teach me, I'll quit. Well put, Rich Dad said. And that's exactly what most people do. They quit and go looking for another job, another opportunity, and higher pay, actually thinking that this will solve the problem. In most cases, it won't. So what should I do? I asked. Just take this measly 10 cents an hour and smile? Rich Dad smiled. That's what the other people do. But that's all they do. Waiting for a raise, thinking that more money will solve their problems. Most just accept it. And some take a second job working harder, but again, expecting a small paycheck. I was staring at the floor, beginning to understand the lesson Rich Dad was presenting. I could sense it was a taste of life. Finally, I looked up and asked, so what will solve the problem? This, he said, leaning forward in his chair and tapping me gently on the head. This stuff between your ears. It was at that moment that Rich Dad shared the pivotal point of view that separated him from his employees and my poor dad, and led to eventually become one of the richest men in Hawaii, while my highly educated but poor dad struggled financially all his life. It was a singular point of view that made all the difference over a lifetime. Rich Dad explained this point of view over and over, which I call lesson number 1. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. On that bright Saturday morning, I learned a completely different point of view from what I had been taught by my poor dad. At the age of 9, I understand that both dads wanted me to learn. Both dads encouraged me to study, but not the same things. My highly educated dad recommended that I do what he did. Son, I want you to study hard, get good grades so you can find a safe, secure job with a big company, and make sure it has excellent benefits. My rich dad wanted me to learn how money works so I can make it work for me. These lessons I would learn through life with his guidance, not because of a classroom. Assets over income. Buying or building assets that deliver cash flow is putting your money to work for you. High-paying jobs mean two things. You're working for money, and the taxes you pay will probably increase. I've learned to put my money to work for me and enjoy the tax benefits of generating income that doesn't come from a paycheck. My rich dad continued my first lesson. I'm glad you got angry about working for 10 cents an hour. If you hadn't got angry and simply accepted it, I would have to tell you that I could not teach you. You see, true learning takes energy, passion, and a burning desire. Anger is a big part of that formula. For passion is anger and love combined. When it comes to money, most people want to play it safe and feel secure, so passion does not direct them. Fear does. So is that why they'll take jobs with low pay? I asked. Yes, said Rich Dad. Some people say I exploit people because I don't pay as much as the sugar plantation or the government. I say that people exploit themselves. It's their fear, not mine. But don't you feel you should pay them more? I asked. I don't have to. And besides, more money will not solve their problems. Just look at your dad. He needs a lot of money and still can't pay his bills. Most people give him more money, only getting more debt. So that's why the 10 cents an hour, I said smiling. It's part of the lesson. That's right, smiled Rich Dad. You see, your dad went to school and got an excellent education, so he can get a high-paying job. But he still has money problems because he never learned anything about money in school. On top of that, he believes in working for money. And you don't? I asked. No, not really, said Rich Dad. If you want to learn to work for money, then stay in school. That's a great place to learn to do that. But if you want to learn how to have money work for you, then I will teach you that. But only if you want to learn. Wouldn't everyone want to learn that? I asked. No, said Rich Dad. Simply because it's easier to learn to work for money, especially if fear is your primary emotion when the subject of money is discussed. Go to school? Well, I am a huge supporter of education and lifelong learning. Going to school, especially college, has become a financial nightmare. Student loan debt is at record highs, with 44 million Americans owing nearly $1.3 trillion. Again, that's trillion, with a T. I don't understand, I said with a frown. Don't worry about that for now. Just know that it's fear that keeps most people working a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn a professional trade and then working for money. Most people become a slave to money and they get angry at the boss. Learning to have money work for you is a completely different course of study, I asked. Absolutely, Rich Dad answered. Absolutely. We sat in silence on that beautiful Hawaiian Saturday morning. My friends had just started their Little League baseball game, but for some reason, I was now thankful I had decided to work for 10 cents an hour. I sensed that I was about to learn something my friends wouldn't learn in school. Ready to learn? Asked Rich Dad. Absolutely, I said with a grin. I've kept my promise. I've been teaching you from afar, my Rich Dad said. At 9 years old, you've gotten a taste of what it feels like to work for money. Just multiply your last month by 50 years, and you'll have an idea of what most people spend their life doing. I don't understand, I said. How did you feel waiting in line to see me once you get hired and once asked for more money? Terrible, I said. If you choose to work for money, that is what life will be like, said Rich Dad. And how did you feel when Mrs. Martin dropped 3 dimes in your hand for 3 hours of work? I felt it wasn't enough. It seemed like nothing. I was disappointed, I said. And that is how most employees feel when they look at their paychecks, especially after all the tax and other deductions are taken out. At least you got 100%. You mean most workers don't get paid everything? I asked with amazement. Heavens no, said Rich Dad. The government always takes its share first. How do they do that? I asked. Taxes, said Rich Dad. You're taxed when you earn. You're taxed when you spend. You're taxed when you save. You're taxed when you die. Why do people let the government do that to them? The rich don't, said Rich Dad with a smile. The poor and the middle class do. I'll bet you that I earn more than your dad, yet he pays more in taxes. How could that be? I asked. At my age, that made no sense to me. Why would someone let the government do that to them? Rich Dad rocked slowly and silently in his chair, just looking at me. Taxes, taxes, taxes. As governments expand and need more and more money, the only place to get it is the middle class. That means the workers. Every government now favors the professional investor and business owners. Workers pay tax. Investors and business owners pay very little tax if they use the tax laws intended as a tool to build the economy. Ready to learn? He asked. I nodded my head slowly. As I said, there's a lot to learn. Learning how to have money work for you is a lifetime study. Most people go to college for 4 years and their education ends. I already know that my study of money will continue over my lifetime, simply because the more I find out, the more I find out I need to know. Most people never study the subject. They go to work, get their paycheck, balance their checkbooks, and that's it. Then they wonder why they have money problems. They think that more money will solve the problem and don't realize that it's their lack of financial education that is the problem. So my dad has tax problems because he doesn't understand money? I asked, confused. Look, said Rich Dad. Taxes are just one small section on learning how to have money work for you. Today, I just wanted to find out if you still have a passion to learn about money. Most people don't. They want to go to school, learn a profession, have fun at their work, and earn lots of money. One day they wake up with big money problems, and then they can't stop working. That's the price of only knowing how to work for money instead of studying how to have money work for you. So, do you still have a passion to learn? Asked Rich Dad. I nodded my head. Good, said Rich Dad. Now, get back to work. This time I will pay you nothing. What? I asked in amazement. You heard me? Nothing. You will work the same 3 hours every Saturday, but this time you will not be paid 10 cents per hour. You said you wanted to learn to not work for money, so I'm not going to pay you anything. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I've already had this conversation with Mike, and he's already working, dusting and stacking canned goods for free. You better hurry and get back there. That's not fair, I shouted. You've got to pay something. You said you wanted to learn. If you don't learn this now, you'll grow up to be like the 2 women and the older man sitting in my living room, working for money and hoping I don't fire them. Or like your dad, earning lots of money, only to be in debt to his eyeballs, hoping more money will solve the problem. If that's what you want, I'll go back to our original deal of 10 cents an hour. Or you can do what most adults do. Complain that there's not enough pay, quit, and go looking for another job. But what do I do? I asked. Rich Dad tapped me on the head. Use this, he said. If you use it well, you will soon thank me for giving you an opportunity, and you will grow into a rich man. I stood there, still not believing what a raw deal I was handed. I came to ask for a raise, and somehow I was instead working for nothing. Rich Dad tapped me on the head again and said, use this. Now, get out of here and get back to work. Lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. I didn't tell my poor dad I wasn't being paid. He wouldn't have understood, and I didn't want to try to explain something I didn't understand myself. For 3 more weeks, Mike and I worked 3 hours every Saturday for nothing. The work didn't bother me, and the routine got easier, but it was the missed baseball games and not being able to afford to buy a few comic books that got to me. Rich Dad stopped by at noon on the 3rd week. We heard his truck pull up in the parking lot and started when the engine was turned off. He entered the store and greeted Mrs. Martin with a hug. After finding out how things were going in the store, he reached into the ice cream freezer, pulled out 2 bars, paid for them, and signaled to Mike and me. Let's go for a walk, boys. We crossed the street, dodging a few cars, and walked across a large grassy field where a few adults were playing softball. Sitting down at a lone picnic tables, he handed Mike and me the treats. How's it going, boys? Okay, Mike said. I nodded in agreement. Learn anything yet? Rich Dad asked. Mike and I looked at each other, shrugged our shoulders, and shook our heads in unison. Avoiding one of life's biggest traps. Well, you boys had better start thinking. You're staring at one of life's biggest lessons. If you learn it, you'll enjoy a life of great freedom and security. If you don't, you'll wind up like Mrs. Martin and most of the people playing softball in this park. They work very hard for little money, clinging to the illusion of job security, and looking forward to a 3-week vacation each year and maybe a skimpy pension after 45 years of service. If that excites you, I'll give you a raise to 25 cents an hour. But these are good, hard-working people. Are you making fun of them? I demanded. A smile came over Rich Dad's face. Mrs. Martin is like a mother to me. I would never be that cruel. I may sound unkind because I'm doing my best to point something out to the 2 of you. I want to expand your point of view so you can see something most people never have the benefit of seeing because their vision is too narrow. Most people never see the trap they're in. Mike and I sat there, uncertain of his message. He sounded cruel. It made sense he was trying to drive home a point. With a smile, Rich Dad said, doesn't that 25 cents an hour sound good? Doesn't it make your heart beat a little faster? I shook my head no, but it really did. 25 cents an hour would be big bucks to me. Okay, I'll pay you $1 an hour, Rich Dad said with a sly grin. Now my heart started to race. My brain was screaming, take it, take it. I could not believe what I was hearing. Still, I said nothing. Okay, $2 an hour. My little brain and heart nearly exploded. After all, it was 1956, and being paid $2 an hour would have made me the richest kid in the world. I couldn't imagine earning that kind of money. I wanted to say yes. I wanted the deal. I could picture a new bicycle, new baseball glove, and the adoration of my friends when I flashed some cash. On top of that, Jimmy and his rich friends would never call me poor again. But somehow my mouth stayed shut. The ice cream melted and was running down my hand. Rich Dad was looking at 2 boys staring back at him, eyes wide open and brains empty. He was testing us, and he knew there was a part of our emotions that wanted to take the deal. He understood that every person has a weak and needy part of their soul that can be bought, and he knew that every individual also had a part of their soul that was resilient and could never be bought. It was only a question of which one was stronger. Okay, $5 an hour. Suddenly, I was silent. Something had changed. The offer was too big and ridiculous. Not many grown-ups in 1956 made more than that. But quickly my temptation disappeared and calm set in. Slowly I turned to my left to look at Mike. He looked back at me. The part of my soul that was weak and needy was silence. The part of me that had no price took over. I knew Mike had gotten to that point too. Good, Rich Dad said softly. Most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions named fear and greed. First, the fear of being without money motivates us to work hard, and then once we get that paycheck, greed or desire starts us thinking about all the wonderful things money can buy. The pattern is then set. What pattern? I asked. The pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Often the more money, and they continue to cycle by increasing their spending. This is what I call the rat race. There is another way, Mike asked. Yes, said Rich Dad slowly, but only a few people find it. And what is that way? Mike asked. That's what I hope you boys will learn as you work and study with me. That is why I took away all forms of pay. Any hints? Mike asked. We're kind of tired of working hard, especially for nothing. Well, the first step is telling the truth, said Rich Dad. We haven't been lying, I said. I did not say you were lying. I said to tell the truth, Rich Dad retorted. The truth about what? I asked. How you're feeling, Rich Dad said. You don't have to say it to anyone else, just admit it to yourself. You mean the people in this park, the people who work for you, Mrs. Martin, they don't do that? I asked. I got it, said Rich Dad. Instead, they feel the fear of not having money. They don't confront it logically. They react emotionally instead of using their heads, Rich Dad said. Then they get a few bucks in their hands, and again, the emotions of joy, desire, and greed take over. And again, they react instead of think. The number one fear. As the world population ages and more and more people move toward retirement, it's been reported that the number one fear is tied to money. Nearly 50% of the survey fear that they will outlive their money, running out of money in their golden years. So their emotions control their brain, Mike said. That's correct, said Rich Dad. Instead of admitting the truth about how they feel, they react to their feelings and fail to think. They feel the fear, so they go to work, hoping that money will soothe the fear, but it doesn't. It continues to haunt them, and they return to work, hoping again that money will calm their fears, and again it doesn't. Fear keeps them in this trap of working, earning money, hoping the fear will go away. But every day they get up, and that old fear wakes up with them. For millions of people, that old fear keeps them awake all night, causing night turmoil and worry. So they get up and go to work, hoping that a paycheck will kill that fear, gnawing at their soul. Money is running their lives, and they refuse to tell the truth about that. Money is in control of their emotions and their souls. Rich Dad sat quietly, letting his words sink in. Mike heard what he said, but didn't understand fully what he was talking about. I just knew that I often wondered why grown-ups worried off to work. It did not seem like much fun, and they never looked that happy, but something kept them going. Realizing we had absorbed as much as possible of what he was talking about, Rich Dad said, I want you boys to avoid that trap. That's really what I want to teach you. Not just to be rich, because being rich does not solve the problem. It doesn't? I asked, surprised. No, it doesn't. Let me explain the other emotion. Desire. Some call it greed, but I prefer desire. It's perfectly normal to desire something better, prettier, more fun, or exciting. So people also work for money because of desire. They desire money for the joy they think they can buy. But the joy that money brings is often short-lived, and they soon need more money for more joy, more pleasure, more comfort, and more security. So they keep working, thinking money will soothe their souls that are troubled by fear and desire. But money can't do that. Even rich people do this, Mike asked. Rich people included, said Rich Dad. In fact, the reason many rich people are rich isn't because of desire, but because of fear. They believe that money can eliminate the fear of being poor, so they amass tons of it, only to find the fear gets worse. Now they fear losing money. I have friends who keep working even though they have plenty. I know people who have millions who are more afraid now than when they were poor. They're terrified of losing all. The fears that drove them to get rich got worse. That weak and needy part of their soul is actually screaming louder. They don't want to lose the big houses, the cars, and the high life money has bought them. They worry about what their friends would say if they lost all their money. Many are emotionally desperate in your life, although they look rich and have more money. So is a poor man happier? I asked. No, I don't think so, replied Rich Dad. The avoidance of money is just as psychotic as being attached to money. As if on cue, the town derelict went past our table, stopping by the large rubbish can and rummaging around it. The three of us watched with great interest, when before we probably would have just ignored him. Rich Dad pulled $1 out of his wallet and gestured to the older man. Seeing money, the derelict came over immediately, took the bill, thanked Rich Dad profusely, and hurried off, ecstatic with his good fortune. He's not much different from most of my employees, said Rich Dad. I've met so many people who say, oh, I'm not interested in money. If they work a job for 8 hours a day. That's a denial of truth. If they weren't interested in money, then why are they working? That kind of thing is probably more psychotic than the person who hoards money. As I sat there listening to my Rich Dad, my mind flashed back to the countless times my own dad said, I'm not interested in money. He said those words often. He also covered himself by always saying, I work because I love my job. So what do we do? I asked. Not work for money until all traces of fear and greed are gone? No, that would be a waste of time, said Rich Dad. Emotions are what make us human. The word emotion stands for energy emotion. Be truthful about your emotions and use your mind and emotions in your favor, not against yourself. Whoa, said Mike. Don't worry about what I just said. It will make more sense in years to come. Just be an observer, not a reactor to your emotions. Most people do not know that it's their emotions that are doing the thinking. Your emotions are your emotions, but you have got to learn to do your own thinking. Can you give me an example? I asked. Sure, replied Rich Dad. When a person says, I need to find a job, it's most likely an emotion doing the thinking. Fear of not having money generates that thought. But people do need money, they have bills to pay, I said. Sure they do, smiled Rich Dad. All I'm saying is that it's fear that is all too often doing the thinking. I don't understand, said Mike. For example, said Rich Dad, if the fear of not having enough money arises, instead of immediately running out to get a job, instead might ask themselves this question. Will a job be the best solution to this fear over the long run? In my opinion, the answer is no. A job is really a short-term solution to a long-term problem. But my dad is always saying, stay in school and get good grades so you can find a safe, secure job, I interjected, somewhat confused. Yes, I understand he says that, said Rich Dad, smiling. Most people recommend that, and it's a good path for most people. But people make that recommendation primarily out of fear. You mean my dad says that because he's afraid? Yes, said Rich Dad. He's terrified that you won't earn enough money and won't fit into society. Don't get me wrong, he loves you and wants the best for you. I too believe that education and a job are important, but it won't handle the fear. You see, the same fear that makes him get up in the morning to earn a few bucks is the fear that's causing him to be so fanatical about going to school. So what do you recommend? I asked. I want to teach you to master the power of money instead of being afraid of it. They don't teach that in school, and if you don't learn it, you become a slave to money. Mastering money. With the advent of derivatives and an increasingly complex economy, mastering money has become essential to surviving in the world economy. With low interest rates and an uncertain stock market, the old adages of saving and investing for the long term make no sense. It was finally making sense. He wanted us to widen our views and see what the Mrs. Martins of this world couldn't see. He used examples that sounded cruel at the time, but I've never forgotten them. My vision widened that day, and I began to see the trap that they had for most people. You see, we're all employees ultimately. We just work at different levels, said Rich Dad. I just want you boys to have a chance to avoid the trap caused by those two emotions, fear and desire. Use them in your favor, not against you. That's what I want to teach you. I'm not interested in just teaching you to make a pile of money. That won't handle fear or desire. If you don't first handle fear and desire and you get rich, you'll only be a highly paid slave. So how do we avoid the trap? I asked. The main cause of poverty or financial struggle is fear and ignorance, not the economy or the government or the rich. It's self-inflicted fear and ignorance that keep people trapped. So you boys go to school and get your college degrees, and I'll teach you how to stay out of the trap. The pieces of the puzzle were appearing. My highly educated dad had great education and great career, but school never told him how to handle money or his fear of it. It became clear that I could learn different and important things from two fathers. So you've been talking about the fear of not having money. How does the desire for money affect our thinking? Mike asked. How did you feel when I texted you with a pay raise? Did you notice your desire rising? We nodded our heads. By not giving into your emotions, you're able to delay your reactions and think. That is important. We will always have emotions of fear and greed. From here on in, it's imperative for you to use those emotions to your advantage, and for the long term, to not let your emotions control your thinking. Most people use fear and greed against themselves. That's the start of ignorance. Most people live their lives chasing paychecks, pay raises, and job security because of the emotions of desire and fear, not really questioning where those emotion-driven thoughts are leading them. It's just like the picture of a donkey driving a cart with its owner dangling a carrot just in front of its nose. The donkey's owner may be going where he wants to, but the donkey is chasing an illusion. Tomorrow there will only be another carrot for the donkey. You mean the one I picture in baseball glove, candy, and toys, that's like a carrot to a donkey? Mike asked. Yes. And as you get older, your toys get more expensive. And a car, a boat, and a big house to impress your friends, said Rich Dad with a smile. Fear pushes you out the door, and desire calls you. That's the trap. So what's the answer? Mike asked. What intensifies fear and desire is ignorance. That's why rich people with lots of money often have more fear the richer they get. Money is the carrot, the illusion. If the donkey can see the whole picture, it might rethink its choice to chase the carrot. Rich Dad went on to explain that the human's life is a struggle between ignorance and illumination. He explained that once a person stops searching for information and self-knowledge, ignorance sets in. That struggle is a moment-to-moment decision to learn to open or close one's mind. Look, school is very important. You go to school to learn a skill or profession to become a contributing member of society. Every culture needs teachers, doctors, mechanics, artists, cooks, business people, police officers, firefighters, and soldiers. Schools train them so society can thrive and flourish, said Rich Dad. Unfortunately for many people, school is the end, not the beginning. There was a long silence. Rich Dad was smiling. I didn't comprehend everything he said that day, but as with most great teachers, his words continued to teach for years. I feel a little cruel today, said Rich Dad, but I want you to always remember this talk. I want you to always think of Mrs. Martin, and I want you always to remember that donkey. Never forget that fear and desire can lead you into life's biggest trap if you're not aware of them controlling your thinking. To spend your life living in fear, never exploring your dreams is cruel. To work hard for money thinking it will buy you things that will make you happy is also cruel. To wake up in the middle of the night terrified about paying bills is a horrible way to live. To live life dictated by the size of a paycheck is not really living life. Thinking that a job makes you secure is lying to yourself. That's cruel, and that's the trap I want you to avoid. I've seen how money runs people's lives. Don't let that happen to you. Please don't let money run your life. A softball rolled under our table. Rich Dad picked it up and threw it back. So what does ignorance have to do with greed and fear? I asked. Because it is ignorance about money that causes so much greed and fear, said Rich Dad. Let me give you some examples. A doctor wanting more money to provide for his family raises his fees. By raising his fees, it makes healthcare more expensive for everyone. It hurts the poor people most, so they have worse health than those with money. Because the doctors raise their fees, the attorneys raise their fees. Because the attorneys' fees have gone up, school teachers want to raise, which raises our taxes, and on and on and on. Soon there will be such a horrifying gap between the rich and the poor that chaos will break out, and another great civilization will collapse. History proves that great civilizations collapse when the gap between the haves and have-nots is too great. Income inequality. In his 2016 U.S. presidential bid, Senator Bernie Sanders stated, wealth and income inequality is the biggest moral crisis facing Americans today. Sadly, America is on that same course because we haven't learned from history. We only memorize historical dates and names, not the lesson. Are prices supposed to go up? I asked. In an educated society with a well-run government, prices should actually come down. Of course, that is often true in theory. Prices go up because of greed and fear caused by ignorance. If schools taught people about money, there would be more money and lower prices. But schools focus only on teaching people to work for money, not how to harness money's power. But don't we have business schools? Mike asked. And have you encouraged me to go for my MBA? Yes, said Rich Dad. But all too often, business schools train employees to become sophisticated bean counters. Heaven forbid, bean counter takes over business. All they do is look at the numbers, fire people, and kill the business. I know this because I hire bean counters. All they think about is cutting costs and raising prices, which cause more problems. Bean counting is important. I wish more people knew it, but it too is not the whole picture, added Rich Dad angrily. So is there an answer? Asked Mike. Yes, said Rich Dad. Learn to use your emotions to think, not think with your emotions. When you always mastered your emotions by agreeing to work for free, I knew there was hope. When you again resisted your emotions when I tempted you with more money, you again learned to think in spite of being emotionally charged. That's the first step. Why is that step so important? I asked. Well, that's up to you to find out. If you want to learn, I'll take you boys into the briar patch, a place almost everyone else avoids. If you go with me, you'll let go of the idea of working for money, and instead learn to have money work for you. And what will we get if we go with you? What if we agree to learn from you? What will we get? I asked. The same thing Brer Rabbit got, said Rich Dad, referring to the classic children's story. Is there a briar patch? I asked. Yes, said Rich Dad. The briar patch is our fear and greed. Confronting fear, weaknesses, and needs by choosing our own thoughts is the way out. Choosing our thoughts? Mike asked, puzzled. Yes, choosing what we think rather than reacting to our emotions. Instead of just getting up and going to work because not having money to pay your bills is steering you. Ask yourself, is working harder the best solution to this problem? Most people are too afraid to rationally think things through, and instead run out the door to a job they hate. The target is in control. That's what I mean by choosing your thoughts. And how do you do that? Mike asked. That's what I will teach you. I'll teach you to have a choice of thoughts rather than a knee-jerk reaction, like gulping down your morning coffee and running out the door. Remember what I said before, a job is only a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Most people have only one problem in mind, and it's short-term. It's the bills at the end of the month, the tar baby. Money controls their lives, or should I say the fear and ignorance about money controls it. So they do as their parents did. They get up every day and go work for money, not taking time to ask the question, is there another way? Their emotions now control their thinking, not their heads. Emotions and intelligence. I constantly work to control my thoughts and my emotions. I see this play out over and over in my life. When emotion goes up, intelligence goes down. Can you tell the difference between emotions thinking and head thinking? Mike asked. Oh yes, I hear it all the time, said Rich Dad. I hear things like, well, everyone has to work, or the rich are crooks, or I'll get another job, I deserve this raise, you can't push me around, or I like this job because it's secure. No one asks, is there something I'm missing here which will break through the emotional thought and give you time to think clearly? As we headed back to the store, Rich Dad explained that the rich really did make money. They did not work for it. He went on to explain that when Mike and I were casting 5 cent pieces out of lead thinking we were making money, we were very close to thinking the way the rich think. The problem was that creating money is legal for the government and banks to do, but illegal for us to do. There are legal ways to create money from nothing, he told us. Rich Dad went on to explain that the rich know that money is an illusion, truly like the carrot for the donkey. It's only out of fear and greed that the illusion of money is held together by billions of people who believe that money is real. It's not. Money is really made up. It's only because of the illusion of confidence and the ignorance of the masses that this house of cards stands. He talked about the gold standard that America was on, and that each dollar bill was actually a silver certificate. What concerning him was the rumor that we would someday go off the gold standard, and our dollars would no longer be backed by something tangible. If that happens, boys, all hell will break loose. The poor, the middle class, and the ignorant will have their lives ruined simply because they will continue to believe that money is real, and that the company they work for or the government will look after them. We really did not understand what he was saying that day, but over the years it made more and more sense. Seeing what others miss. As he climbed into his pickup truck outside the convenience store, Rich Dad said, keep working, boys. The sooner you forget about needing a paycheck, the easier your adult life will be. Keep using your brain, work for free. And soon your mind will show you ways of making money far beyond what I could ever pay you. You will see things other people never see. Most people never see these opportunities because they're looking for money and security, so that's all they get. The moment you see one opportunity, you'll see them for the rest of your life. The moment you do that, I'll teach you something else. Learn this and you'll avoid one of life's biggest traps. Mike and I picked up our things from the store and waved goodbye to Mrs. Martin. We went back to the park to the same picnic bench and spent several more hours thinking and talking. We spent the next week at school thinking and talking too. For 2 more weeks, we kept thinking, talking, and working for free. At the end of the second Saturday, I was again saying goodbye to Mrs. Martin and looking at the comic book stand with the longing gaze. The hard thing about not even getting 30 cents every Saturday was that I didn't have any money to buy comic books. Suddenly, as Mrs. Martin said goodbye to Mike and me, I saw her do something I'd never seen her do before. Mrs. Martin was cutting the front page of the comic book in half. She cut the top half of the comic book cover and threw the rest of the book into a large cardboard box. When I asked her what she did with the comic books, she said, I throw them away. I give the top half of the cover back to the comic book distributor for credit when he brings in the new comics. He's coming in an hour. Mike and I waited for an hour. Soon the distributor arrived, and I asked him if we could have the comic books. To my delight, he said, you can have them if you work for the store and do not resell them. Remember our old business partnership? Well, Mike and I revived it. Using a spare room in Mike's basement, we began piling hundreds of comic books in that room. Soon, our comic book library was open to the public. We hired Mike's younger sister, who loved to study, to be head librarian. She charged each child 10 cents admission to the library, which was open from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. every day after school. The customers, the children of the neighborhood, could read as many comics as they wanted in 2 hours. It was a bargain for them since the comic cost 10 cents each, and they could read 5 or 6 in 2 hours. Mike's sister would check the kids as they left to make sure they weren't borrowing any comic books. She also kept the books, logging in how many kids showed up each day, who they were, and any comics they might have. Mike and I averaged $9.50 per week over a 3-month period. We paid sister $1 a week and allowed her to read comics for free, which she rarely did since she was always studying. Mike and I kept our agreement by working in the store every Saturday and collecting all the comic books from the different stores. We kept our agreement to the distributor by not selling any comic books. We burned them once they got too tired. We tried opening a branch office, but we could never quite find someone as trustworthy and dedicated as my sister. At an early age, we found out how hard it was to find good staff. 3 months after the library first opened, a fight broke out in the room. Some bullies from another neighborhood pushed their way in, and Mike's dad suggested we shut down the business. So our comic book business shut down, and we stopped working on Saturdays at the convenience store. But Rich Dad was excited because he had new things he wanted to teach us. He was happy because we had learned our first lesson so well. We learned to make money work for us. By not getting paid for our work at the store, we were forced to use our imagination to identify an opportunity to make money. By starting our own business, the comic book library, we were in control of our own finances, not dependent on an employer. The best part was that our business generated money for us, even when we weren't physically there. Our money worked for us. Instead of paying us money, Rich Dad had given us so much more. The power of imagination. In the information age and the age of the internet, millions of people under the age of 30 are getting rich, using their imaginations to create apps that change the world. From Facebook to Uber to Snapchat and others. Those with imaginations thrive, while those without are still looking for a job that is soon to be replaced by robots and technology. Study session. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Chapter 1. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Summary. When he was 9 years old, Robert Kiyosaki and his childhood friend were invited to a classmate's beach house because they were poor kids in an affluent school. After being told by his poor dad, his father, who was a teacher and made a good living, but always struggled to make ends meet to simply go and make money, he and his friend Mike did just that. They collected empty toothpaste tubes, which at that time were made of lead. They melted them down and used plaster molds to make counterfeit nickels. They were soon set straight by Robert's dad, who told them they should talk to Mike's dad, who never finished 8th grade, but ran multiple successful businesses. Mike's dad, the rich dad of the book title, agreed to teach them, but on his terms. He had them work 3 hours every Saturday morning at one of his convenience stores, dusting the food packaging and cleaning. He paid them 10 cents an hour, which Robert usually spent on 10-cent comic books. Fairly quickly, Robert grew disenchanted with the boring work and low pay. When he told his friend he was going to quit, Mike told him that his dad said that would happen, and that Robert needed to meet with him. Robert's dad, his school teacher, used lectures, but Mike's dad was a man of few words and talked in a very different way, which Robert was about to find out. The next Saturday morning, Robert went to meet Mike's dad, but was kept waiting in the dusty dark living room for an hour. He was fed up and emotional by the time he got to complaining to Mike's dad, accusing him of being greedy and not showing respect. When he said Mike's dad hadn't taught him anything despite their agreement, the business owner calmly disagreed. His rich dad explained that life doesn't teach you with words, but by pushing you around. Some people let life push them around. Others get angry and push back against their boss or their loved ones. But some people learn a lesson from it, and in fact welcome life pushing them around because it means they need to learn something. Those who don't learn that lesson spend their lives blaming everyone else and waiting for a big break, or decide to play it safe and never risk or win big. He told Robert that he and Mike were the first people who ever asked him to teach them how to make money. He had more than 150 employees, and though they had asked for a job, they had never asked for the knowledge that Robert and Mike wanted. So the rich dad decided to create a course that mirrored life and pushed the boys around a little. Robert asked what lesson he learned, other than that his rich dad was cheap and exploited his workers. The rich dad challenged him on this, saying that most people blamed others when in fact their attitude was the problem. What would solve the problem? His brain, Mike's dad told him. He wanted Robert to learn how money worked so he could make it work for him. He was also glad that Robert was angry, because anger combines with love to create passion, a key component of learning. Money wouldn't solve people's problems, he went on. Many people who have a high-paying job still struggle with money problems, like Robert's poor dad, because they didn't know how to make money work for them. He said that the emotions Robert had felt working for those 10 cents an hour, disappointment and feeling like it wasn't enough, was what he'd feel like his whole life if he didn't learn this lesson now. He introduced Robert to the concept of taxes, explaining that the poor and middle class allow the government to tax them, but the rich don't. He asked if Robert still had a passion to learn. When he said yes, his rich dad told him he was going to stop paying him for the work at the store. He told Robert to use his head to figure it out. Robert and Mike worked for free for 3 weeks. Mike's dad showed up and took them outside for a talk, asking if they'd learned anything yet. They hadn't. The rich dad told them if they didn't learn this lesson, they'd be like most people who work hard for a little money their whole lives. He offered them 25 cents an hour, which they resisted. He opted to $1 an hour, then $2, but Robert stayed silent. A final offer of $5 an hour, a princely sum at that time, solidified for Robert that he wouldn't be bought. The rich dad said it was good they didn't have a price. Most people did because their lives are controlled by fear and greed. Fear of being without makes them work hard and earn a paycheck, but once they have that money, greed gets them thinking about all the things they could buy, which makes them need more money, which makes them spend more. It's what the rich dad called the rat race. He told the boys that the first step was admitting to themselves what they were feeling. Too often people react to their emotions instead of thinking logically. They're afraid to admit money is running their lives and somebody controls them. It's not just the poor who face that fear. The rich often operate from a place of fear. He wanted to teach the boys to not just be rich because money doesn't solve the problem. School is important, he told them, but for most people it's the end, not the beginning. And the key for the boys was to learn to use their emotions to think, not to think with their emotions. They must learn to choose their thoughts. He told them to keep an eye out for ways to make money, saying, the moment you see one opportunity, you'll see them for the rest of your life. The boys did, and soon they saw an opportunity in creating a library where kids could pay an admission fee and read as many comic books as they could in 2 hours. Unsold comic books that otherwise would have been thrown away from the convenience store. They made great profit, and the business did well for about 3 months until fighting the library shut it down. But they learned the first lesson of making money work for them, even when they weren't physically present. They were ready to learn more, and Mike's dad was ready to teach them. But hemisphere moment. Despite having a high-paying job, people like Robert's poor dad struggled to make ends meet. Right hemisphere moment. Looking at the discarded comic books in a new creative way led to a business opportunity. Subconscious moment. People let the emotions of fear and greed rule their lives. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. 2 minds are better than 1. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Life pushes all of us around. Some people give up and others fight. A few learn the lesson and move on. They welcome life pushing them around. Stop blaming me and thinking I'm the problem. If you think I'm the problem, then you have to change me. If you realize that you're the problem, then you can change yourself, learn something, and grow wiser. When it comes to money, most people want to play it safe and feel secure, so passion does not direct them, fear does. Most people give them more money only to get in more debt. It's fear that keeps most people working a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn a professional trade and then working for money. Most people become a slave to money and then get angry at their boss. Most people do not know that it's their emotions that are doing the thinking. A job is really a short-term solution to a long-term problem. It's just like the picture of a donkey dragging a cart with its owner dangling a carrot just in front of its nose. The donkey's owner may be going where he wants to, but the donkey is chasing an illusion. Tomorrow, there will only be another carrot for the donkey. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter along with the understanding of what Robert was saying and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you're giving, ask yourself if you're willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. How common is the approach to money taken by Robert's poor dad? 2. Robert's rich dad said true learning takes energy, passion, and burning desire. What are examples of when this has proven true in your life? What's one lesson you never forgot and why? 3. Would the pay rate of 10 cents an hour and then nothing an hour have stirred in you the same reaction as Robert? 4. Is it fear that drives most people to work? Are there other factors at play? 5. Is the temptation strong to think that more money will soothe that fear? Why is that such a common reaction? 6. What's an example from your life when you reacted with your emotions? What's a time when you were able to observe your emotions instead and choose your thoughts? 7. Are the rich or the poor more susceptible to those controlling emotions of fear and greed? Why do you think that is? 8. Do you think most people realize they're stuck in the rat race? Why or why not? Chapter 2. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. In 1990, Mike took over his father's empire and is in fact doing a better job than his dad did. We see each other once or twice a year on the golf course. He and his wife are wealthier than you could imagine. Rich dad's empire is in great hands, and Mike is now bringing his son to take his place as his dad had groomed us. In 1994, I retired. I was 47 and my wife Kim was 37. Retirement does not mean not working. For us, it means that barring unforeseen cataclysmic changes, we can work or not work, and our wealth grows automatically, staying ahead of inflation. Our assets are large enough to grow by themselves. It's like planting a tree. You water it for years, and then one day it doesn't need you anymore. Its roots aren't planted deep enough. Then the tree provides shade for your enjoyment. Mike chose to run the empire, and I chose to retire. Whenever I speak to groups of people, they often ask what I would recommend that they do. How do I get started? Is there a book you would recommend? What should I do to prepare my children? What is your secret to success? How do I make millions? Whenever I hear one of these questions, I'm reminded of the following story. The richest businessman. In 1923, a group of our greatest leaders and richest businessmen held a meeting at the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. Among them were Charles Schwab, head of the largest independent steel company, Samuel Insull, president of the world's largest utility, Howard Hudson, head of the largest gas company, Ivor Kruger, president of the International Match Company, one of the world's largest companies at that time, Leon Fraser, president of the Bank of International Settlements, Richard Whitney, president of the New York Stock Exchange, Arthur Cotton and Jesse Livermore, two of the biggest stock speculators, and Albert Fall, a member of President Harding's cabinet. 25 years later, 9 of these titans ended their lives as follows. Schwab died penniless after living for 5 years on borrowed money. Insull died broke in foreign land, and Kruger and Cotton also died broke. Hobson went insane. Whitney and Albert Fall were released from prison, and Fraser and Livermore committed suicide. I doubt if anyone can say what really happened to these men. If you look at the date, 1923, it was just before the 1929 market crash and the Great Depression, which I suspect had a great impact on these men and their lives. The point is this. Today, we live in times of greater and faster change than these men did. I suspect there will be many booms and busts in the coming years that will parallel the ups and downs these men faced. I'm concerned that too many people are too focused on money and not on their greatest wealth, their education. If people are prepared to be flexible, keep an open mind and learn, they will grow richer and richer despite tough changes. If they think money will solve problems, they will have a rough ride. Intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Most people fail to realize that in life, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. We've all heard stories of lottery winners who are poor, then suddenly rich, and then poor again. They win millions, yet are soon back where they started. Or stories of professional athletes who at the age of 24 are earning millions, but are sleeping under a bridge 10 years later. I remember a story of a young basketball player who a year ago had millions. Today, at just 29, he claims his friends, attorney, and accountant took his money, and he was forced to work at a car wash for minimum wage. He was fired from the car wash because he refused to take off his championship ring as he was wiping off the cars. His story made national news, and he's feeling discrimination, claiming hardship and discrimination. He claims that the ring is all he has left, and if it was stripped away, he'll crumble. I know so many people who became instant millionaires, and while I am glad some people have become richer and richer, I caution them that in the long run, it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep, and for how many generations you keep it. So when people ask, where do I get started, or tell me how to get rich quick, they often are greatly disappointed with my answer. I simply say to them what my rich dad said to me when I was a little kid. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. That idea was drummed into my head every time we were together. As I said, my educated dad stressed the importance of reading books, while my rich dad stressed the need to master financial literacy. If you're going to build the Empire State Building, the first thing you need to do is dig a deep hole and pour a strong foundation. If you're going to build a home in the suburbs, all you need to do is pour a 6-inch slab of concrete. Most people, in their drive to get rich, are trying to build an Empire State Building on a 6-inch slab. Our school system, created in the agrarian age, still believes in homes with no foundation. Dirt floors are still the rage. So kids graduate from school with virtually no financial foundation. One day, sleepless and deep in debt in suburbia, living the American dream, they decide that the answer to their financial problems is to find a way to get rich quick. Construction on the skyscraper begins. It goes up quickly, and soon, instead of the Empire State Building, we have the Leaning Tower of suburbia. The sleepless nights return. As for Mike and me in our adult years, both of our choices were possible because we were taught to pour a strong financial foundation when we were just kids. Accounting is possibly the most confusing, boring subject in the world. But if you want to be rich long term, it could be the most important subject. For rich dad, the question was how to take a boring and confusing subject and teach it to kids. The answer he found was to make it simple by teaching it in pictures. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. My rich dad poured a strong financial foundation for Mike and me. Since we were just kids, he created a simple way to teach us. For years, he only drew pictures and used few words. Mike and I understood the simple drawings, the jargon, the movement of money, and then in later years, rich dad began adding numbers. Today, Mike has gone on to master much more complex and sophisticated accounting analysis because he had to in order to run his empire. I am not as sophisticated because my empire is smaller, yet we come from the same simple foundation. In the bonus material, I offer you the same simple line drawings Mike's dad created for us. The basic, those drawings help guide two little boys in building great sums of wealth, a solid and deep foundation. Rule number 1. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability, and buy assets. If you want to be rich, this is all you need to know. It is rule number 1. It is the only rule. This may sound absurdly simple, but most people have no idea how profound this rule is. Most people struggle financially because they do not know the difference between an asset and a liability. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets, said Rich dad. When Rich dad explained this to Mike and me, we thought he was kidding. Here we were, nearly teenagers, and waiting for the secret to getting rich, and this was his answer. It was so simple, we stopped for a long time to think about it. What is an asset? Asked Mike. Don't worry right now, said Rich dad. Just let the idea sink in. If you can comprehend the simplicity, your life will have a plan and be financially easy. It is simple. That is why the idea is missed. You mean all we need to know is what an asset is, acquire them, and we'll be rich? I asked. Rich dad nodded his head. It's that simple. If it's that simple, how come everyone is not rich? I asked. Rich dad smiled. Because people do not know the difference between an asset and a liability. I remember asking, how could adults be so misguided? If it is that simple, if it is that important, why would everyone not want to find out? It took Rich dad only a few minutes to explain what assets and liabilities were. As an adult, I have difficulty explaining it to other adults. The simplicity of the idea escapes them because they have been educated differently. They were taught by other educated professionals, such as bankers, accountants, real estate agents, financial planners, and so forth. The difficulty comes in asking adults to unlearn or become children again. And intelligent adult often feels it's demeaning to pay attention to simplistic definitions. Rich Dad believed in the KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid, or keep it super simple. So he kept it simple for us, and that made our financial foundation strong. An asset puts money in my pocket, a liability takes money out of my pocket. So what causes the confusion? How could something so simple be so screwed up? Why would someone buy an asset that was really a liability? The answer is found in basic education. We focus on the word literacy and not financial literacy. What defines something to be an asset or liability are not words. In fact, if you really want to be confused, look up the words asset and liability in the dictionary. I know the definition may sound good to a trained accountant, but for the average person it makes no sense. We adults are often too proud to admit that something does not make sense. To us young boys, Rich Dad said, what defines an asset are not words, but numbers. And if you can't read numbers, you can't tell an asset from a hole in the ground. In accounting, Rich Dad would say, it's not the numbers, but what the numbers are telling you. It's just like words. It's not the words, but the story that the words are telling you. If you want to be rich, you've got to read and understand numbers. If I heard that once, I heard it 1,000 times from my Rich Dad. And I also heard, the rich acquire assets, and the poor and middle class acquire liabilities. Learn, unlearn, relearn. This quote from futurist Alvin Toffler mirrors what Rich Dad told me 2 decades ago. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Here's how to tell the difference between an asset and a liability. Most accountants and financial professionals do not agree with the definitions, but these simple drawings would start strong financial foundations for 2 young boys. Go to the bonus materials to review the 5-line drawings of cash flow pattern of an asset through cash flow pattern of a rich person. Cash flow tells the story of how a person handles money. All of these diagrams are obviously oversimplified. Everyone has living expenses, the need for food, shelter, and clothing. The diagrams show the flow of cash through a poor, middle class, and wealthy person's life. It is the cash flow that tells the story of how a person handles his or her money. The reason I started with the story of the richest men in America is to illustrate the flaw in believing that money will solve all problems. That is why I cringe whenever I hear people ask me how to get rich quicker or where they should start. I often hear, I'm in debt, so I need to make more money. But more money will often not solve the problem. In fact, it may compound the problem. Money often makes obvious our tragic human flaws, putting a spotlight on what we don't know. That's why, all too often, a person who comes into a sudden windfall of cash, let's say inheritance, a pay raise, or lottery winnings, soon returns to the same financial mess, if not worse than the mess they were in before. Money only accentuates the cash flow pattern running in your head. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase in cash will just result in an increase in spending. Thus, the saying, a fool and his money is one big party. I've said many times that we go to school to gain scholastic professional skills, both of which are important. We learn to make money with our professional skills. In the 1960s, when I was in high school, if someone did well academically, people assumed this right student would go on to be a medical doctor, because it was the profession with the promise of the greatest financial reward. Today, doctors face financial challenges I would wish on my worst enemy. Insurance companies taking control of the business, managed healthcare, government intervention, and malpractice lawsuits. Today, kids want to be famous athletes, movie stars, rock stars, beauty queens, or CEOs, because that's where the fame, money, and prestige are. That is the reason it's so hard to motivate kids in school today. They know that professional success is no longer solely linked to academic success as it once was. Because students leave school without financial skills, millions of educated people pursue their profession successfully, but they find themselves struggling financially. They work harder, but don't get ahead. What is missing from their education is not how to make money, but how to manage money. It's called financial aptitude. What you do with the money once you make it, how to keep people from taking it from you, how to keep it longer, and how to make that money work hard for you. Most people don't understand why they struggle financially because they don't understand cash flow. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. These people often work harder than they need to because they learn how to work hard, but not how to have their money work hard for them. How the cost-free financial dream turns into a financial nightmare. The classic story of hardworking people has a set pattern. Recently married, a happy, highly educated young couple now share a grand target. Immediately they realize that they're saving money because 2 can live as cheaply as 1. The problem is the apartment is rent. They decide to save money to buy their dream home so they can have kids. They now have 2 incomes and they begin to focus on their careers. Their incomes begin to increase. As their incomes go up, their expenses go up as well. The number one expense for most people is taxes. Many people think it's income tax, but for most Americans, their highest tax is Social Security. As an employee, it appears as if the Social Security tax combined with the Medicare tax rate is roughly 7.5%, but it's really 15% since the employer must match the Social Security amount. In essence, it is money the employer can't pay you. On top of that, you still have to pay income tax on the amount deducted from your wages for Social Security tax. Income you never received because it went directly to Social Security through withholding. Taxes and entitlement programs. Taxes around the world are getting higher and higher as social demands for tax dollars require higher property, income, and sales or value-added taxes. Higher incomes create even more of a bracket creep as tax rates become more progressive, steeper, to pay for social services, also called entitlements. Today, the government faces serious challenges as entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare face insolvency. Going back to the young couple, as a result of their incomes increasing, they decide to buy the house of their dreams. Once in their house with a mortgage, they have a new tax called property tax. Then they buy a new car, new furniture, and new appliances to match their new house. All of a sudden they wake up and their liabilities column is full of mortgage and credit card debt. Their liabilities go up. They're now trapped in the rat race. Pretty soon a baby comes along and they work harder. The process repeats itself. Higher incomes cause higher taxes, also called bracket creep. A credit card comes in the mail. They use it and max it out. A loan company calls and says their greatest asset, their home has appreciated in value. Because their credit is so good, the company offers a bill consolidation loan and tells them the intelligent thing to do is clear off the high interest consumer debt by paying off their credit card. And besides, mortgage interest is a tax deduction. They go for it and pay off those high interest credit cards. They breathe a sigh of relief. Their credit cards are paid off. They now fold their consumer debt into their home mortgage. Their payments go down because they extend their debt over 30 years. It's a smart thing to do. Their neighbor calls to invite them to go shopping. The more they say it was on, they promise themselves just a window shop, but they take a credit card just in case. I run into this young couple all the time. Their names change, but their financial dilemma is the same. They come to one of my talks to hear what I have to say. They ask me, can you tell us how to make more money? They don't understand that their trouble is really how they choose to spend the money they do have. It's caused by financial illiteracy and not understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. More money seldom solves someone's money problems. Intelligence solves problems. There's a saying a friend of mine uses over and over to people in debt. If you find you have dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. Credit card debt. Today, based on 2016 stats, U.S. consumer credit card debt is at an all-time high, $779 billion. Is it all bad debt or good debt? Do you know the difference? A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. As a child, my dad often told us that the Japanese were aware of 3 powers: the power of the sword, the jewel, and the mirror. The sword symbolizes the power of weapons. America has spent trillions of dollars on weapons, and because of this, is a powerful military presence in the world. The jewel symbolizes the power of money. There is some degree of truth to the saying, remember the golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rules. The mirror symbolizes the power of self-knowledge. This self-knowledge, according to Japanese legend, was the most treasured of the 3. All too often, the poor and middle class allow the power of money to control them. By simply getting up and working harder, failing to ask themselves if what they do makes sense, they shoot themselves in the foot as they leave for work every morning. By not fully understanding money, the vast majority of people allow its awesome power to control them. If they use the power of the mirror, they would ask themselves, does this make sense? All too often, instead of trusting their inner wisdom, that genius inside, most people follow the crowd. They do things because everybody else does them. They inform rather than question. Often they mindlessly repeat what they've been told. Diversify. Your home is an asset. Your home is your biggest investment. You get a tax break for going into greater debt. Get a safe job. Don't make mistakes. Don't take risks. It is said that the fear of public speaking is fear greater than death for most people. According to psychiatrists, the fear of public speaking is caused by the fear of ostracism, the fear of standing out, the fear of criticism, the fear of ridicule, and the fear of being an outcast. The fear of being different prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. That's why my educated dad said the Japanese value the power of the mirror the most. For it's only when we look into it that we find truth. Fear is the main reason that people say play it safe. That goes for anything, be it sports, relationships, careers, or money. It is that same fear, the fear of ostracism, that causes people to conform to and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends. Your home is an asset. Get a bill consolidation loan, get out of debt, work harder. It's a promotion. Someday I'll be a vice president. Save money. When I get a raise, I'll buy us a bigger house. Mutual funds are safe. Many financial problems are caused by trying to keep up with the Joneses. Occasionally, we all need to look in the mirror and be true to our inner wisdom rather than our fears. Who's on your team? Rich Dad surrounded himself with men and women who were specialists, attorneys, accountants, brokers, and bankers, and Tim and I have done the same. Today, our team of advisors is among our greatest assets. What's more important than money? An entrepreneur's team. Who's on yours? By the time Mike and I were 16 years old, we began to have problems in school. We were not bad kids, we just began to separate from the crowd. We worked for Mike's dad after school and on weekends. Mike and I often spent hours after work just sitting at the table with his dad while he held meetings with his bankers, attorneys, accountants, brokers, investors, managers, and employees. He was a man who had left school at 13, who was now directing, instructing, ordering, and asking questions of educated people. They came to expect a call and cringe when we didn't approve of them. He was a man who had not gone along with the crowd. He was a man who did his own thinking and detested the words, we have to do it this way because that's the way everyone else does it. He also hated the word can't. If you want him to do something, just say, I don't think you can do it. Mike and I learned more sitting on his meetings than we did in all our years of school, college included. Mike's dad was not book smart, but he was financially educated and successful as a result. He told us over and over again, an intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than he is. So Mike and I had the benefit of spending hours listening to and learning from intelligent people. But because of this, Mike and I couldn't go along with the standard dogma our teachers preached, and that caused problems. Whenever the teacher said, if you don't get a good grade, you won't do well in the real world, Mike and I just raised our eyebrows. When we were told to follow set procedures and not deviate from rules, we could see how school discouraged creativity. We started to understand why our rich dad told us that schools were designed to produce good employees instead of employers. Occasionally, Mike and I would ask our teachers how what we studied was applicable in the real world, or why we never studied money and how it worked. To the latter question, we often got the answer that money was not important. That if we excelled in our education, the money would follow. The more we knew about the power of money, the more distant we grew from the teachers and our classmates. My highly educated dad never pressured me about my grades, but we did begin to argue about money. By the time I was 16, I probably had a far better foundation with money than both my parents. I could keep books. I listened to tax accountants, corporate attorneys, bankers, real estate brokers, investors, and so forth. By contrast, my dad talked to teachers. One day, my dad told me that our home was his greatest investment. And not 2 pleasant arguments took place when I showed him my iPhone house was not a good investment. See diagram 1 in the bonus material. The diagram illustrates the difference in perception between my rich dad and my poor dad when it came to their homes. One dad thought his house was an asset, and the other dad thought it was a liability. I remember when I drew the following diagram for my dad, showing him the direction of cash flow. I also showed him the ancillary expenses that went along with owning the home. A bigger home meant bigger expenses, and the cash flow kept going out through the expense column. See diagram 2. Today, people still challenge me on the idea of a house not being an asset. I know that for many people, it is their dream as well as their largest investment, and owning your own home is better than nothing. I simply offer an alternate way of looking at this popular dogma. If my wife and I were to buy a bigger, flashier house, we realize it wouldn't be an asset. It would be a liability, since it would take money out of our pocket. So here's the argument I put forth. I really don't expect most people to agree with it, because your home is an emotional thing, and when it comes to money, high emotions tend to lower financial intelligence. I know from personal experience that money has a way of making every decision emotional. When it comes to houses, most people work all their lives paying for a home they never own. In other words, most people buy a new house every few years, each time incurring a new 30-year loan to pay off the previous one. Even though people receive tax deduction for interest on mortgage payments, they pay for all their other expenses with after-tax dollars, even after they pay off their mortgage. My wife's parents were shocked when the property taxes on their home increased to $1,000 a month. They already retired, so the increase was straining on their budget. Houses do not always go up in value. I have friends who owe $1 million for a home that today would sell for far less. The greatest losses of all are those tremendous opportunities. If all your money is tied up in your house, you may be forced to work harder because your money continues flowing out of the expense column instead of adding to the asset column, the classic middle-class cash flow pattern. If a young couple would put more money into their asset column early on, their later years would be easier. Their assets would have grown and would be available to help cover expenses. Making a decision to own a house that is too expensive in lieu of starting an investment portfolio impacts an individual in at least the following 3 ways. 1. Loss of time, during which other assets could have grown in value. 2. Loss of additional capital, which could have been invested instead of paying high home maintenance expenses. 3. Loss of education. Too often, people count their house and savings and retirement plans as all they have in their asset column. Because they have no money to invest, they simply don't invest. This costs an investment experience. Most never become what the investment world calls a sophisticated investor. And the best investors are usually first sold to sophisticated investors who then turn around and sell them to the people playing safe. I'm not saying don't buy a house. What I'm saying is that you should understand the difference between an asset and a liability. When I want a bigger house, I first buy assets that will generate cash flow to pay for the house. Your scorecard. Without a financial statement, you don't really know where you are in life's financial game. Like it or not, money tells the story of your game. And a financial statement is your scorecard. Banks want financial statements, income statement, balance sheet to know how well you're scoring in your life's financial game. My educated dad's personal financial statement best demonstrates the life of someone calling the rat race. His expenses match his income, never allowing him enough left over to invest in assets. As a result, his liabilities are larger than his assets. To see this further illustrated, go to the bonus materials, see diagrams 3 through 5. This pattern of treating your home as an investment and the philosophy that pay raise means you can buy a larger home or spend more is the foundation of today's debt-ridden society. Increased spending throws families into greater debt and into more financial uncertainty, even though they may be advancing their jobs and receiving pay raises. This is high-risk living caused by weak financial education. The massive loss of jobs in recent times proves how shaky the middle class really is financially. Company pension plans are being replaced by 401k plans. Social security is obviously in trouble and can't be relied upon as a source for retirement. Panic has set in for the middle class. Pension plans. Since Enron, it has become clear that pension plans are in trouble. Even government pension plans, such as those in Greece, Italy, and California, cannot pay out what is owed to retirees. So a retirement plan is no longer the guarantee of what once was a security for old age and retirement. When the stock market crashed in 2009, anyone about to retire was in trouble, even if they had saved in their 401k, RRSP, or superannuation. Today, mutual funds are popular because they supposedly represent safety. Average mutual fund buyers are too busy working to pay taxes and mortgages, save for their children's college, and pay off credit cards. They do not have time to study investing, so they rely on the expertise of the manager of a mutual fund. Also, because the mutual fund includes many different types of investments, they feel their money is safer because it is diversified. This educated middle class subscribes to the dogma put out by mutual fund brokers and financial planners. Play it safe, avoid risk. The real tragedy is that the lack of early financial education is what creates the risk faced by average middle class people. The reason they have to play safe is because their financial positions are tenuous at best. Their balance sheets are not balanced. Instead, they are loaded with liabilities and have no real assets that generate income. Typically, their only source of income is their paycheck. Their livelihood becomes entirely dependent on their employer. So when genuine deals of a lifetime come along, these people can't take advantage of it because they're working so hard, are taxed to the max, and are loaded with debt. As I said at the start of this section, the most important rule is to know the difference between an asset and a liability. Once you understand the difference, concentrate your efforts on buying income-generating assets. That's the best way to get started on a path to becoming rich. Keep doing that, and your asset column will grow. Keep liabilities and expenses down, so more money is available to continue pouring into the asset column. Soon, the asset base will be so deep that you can afford to look at more speculative investments. Investments that may have returns of 100% to infinity. $5,000 investments that are soon turned into $1 million or more. Investments that the middle class calls too risky. The investment is not risky for the financially literate. As an employee who is also a homeowner, your working efforts are generally as follows. 1. You work for the company. Employees make their business owner or the shareholders rich, not themselves. Your efforts and success will help provide for the owner's success in retirement. 2. You work for the government. The government takes its share from your paycheck before you even see it. By working harder, you simply increase the amount of taxes taken by the government. Most people work from January to May just for the government. 3. You work for the bank. After taxes, your next largest expense is usually your mortgage and credit card debt. The problem with simply working hard is that each of these 3 levels takes a greater share of your increased efforts. You need to learn how to have your increased efforts benefit you and your family directly. Once you have decided to concentrate on minding your own business, focusing your efforts on acquiring assets instead of a bigger paycheck, how do you set your goals? Most people must keep their job and rely on their wages to fund the acquisition of assets. As their assets grow, how do they measure the extent of their success? When does someone know that they are rich, that they have wealth? As well as having my own definition for assets and liabilities, I also have my own definition for wealth. Actually, I borrowed it from a man named R. Buckminster Fuller. Some call him a quack, and others call him a genius. Years ago, he got architects buzzing because he applied for a patent for something called a geodesic dome. But in the application, Fuller also said something about wealth. It was pretty confusing at first, but after reading it, it began to make some sense. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stop working today, how long could I survive? Wealth and cash reserves. Today, few people have enough money to live on for even 1 month. Most Americans, for example, have less than $400 in savings. A more staggering statistic reported in a 2016 Go Banking Rate Survey, 34% of Americans have no savings at all. Few people could survive for very long without a paycheck or government assistance. Unlike net worth, which is the difference between your assets and liabilities, and is often filled with a person's expensive junk and opinions of what things are worth, this definition creates a possibility for developing a truly accurate measurement. I can now measure and know where I was in terms of my goal to become financially independent. Although net worth often includes non-cash producing assets, like stuff you bought and now sits in your garage, wealth measures how much money your money is making, and therefore your financial survivability. Wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared to the expense column. Let's use an example. Let's say I have cash flow from my asset column of $1,000 a month, and I have monthly expenses of $2,000. What's my wealth? Let's go back to Buckminster Fuller's definition. Using his definition, how many days forward can I survive? Assuming 30 a month, I have enough cash flow for half a month. When I achieve $2,000 a month cash flow from my assets, then I will be wealthy. So while I'm not yet rich, I am wealthy. I now have income generated from assets each month that fully cover my monthly expenses. If I want to increase my expenses, I first must increase my cash flow to maintain this level of wealth. Also note that it is at this point that I'm no longer dependent on my wages. I focused on and been successful in building an asset column that has made me financially independent. If I quit my job today, I would be able to cover my monthly expenses with the cash flow from my assets. My next goal would be to have the excess cash flow from my assets reinvested into the asset column. The more money that goes into my asset column, the more my asset column grows. The more my assets grow, the more my cash flow grows. And as long as I keep my expenses less than the cash flow from these assets, I grow richer with more and more income from sources other than my physical labor. As this reinvestment process continues, I'm well on my way to becoming rich. Just remember this simple observation. The rich buy assets. The poor only have expenses. The middle class buy liabilities. They think are assets. So how do I start minding my own business? What is the answer? Listen to the founder of McDonald's in the next chapter. Study session. Chapter 2. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? Chapter 2. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? Summary. We revisit Robert and Mike some 3.5 decades later. Mike is taking over his father's company and is doing an even better job than the rich dad did. As for Robert, he retired in 1994 at the age of 47. His and his wife's wealth is growing automatically like a well-established tree. He shares a story of the 1923 meeting of some of our greatest leaders and richest businessmen, men who owned the largest oil and gas company, ran the New York Stock Exchange, and who sat on President Harding's cabinet. 25 years later, most of their lives had ended tragically, with the many who broke, exiled, or in prison. The 1929 stock crash and Great Depression likely played a part in their fates, but today we live in a time of even more turmoil and change than they did. More important than money to our survival is our education and the ability to learn. It's not how much you make, but how much you keep, and how many generations you keep it. So when people ask Robert where to start getting rich, he gives them the same answer his rich dad gave him. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. Robert compares the way many people act to building a skyscraper on a slab made for a small home. Because kids graduate school with little financial education, they launch into their adult lives chasing the American dream, but find themselves deep in debt. The only way out that they can see is a get-rich strategy. But without having that financial literacy background, their efforts are like building a skyscraper on a weak foundation, and instead of creating the empire state building, they end up with a leaning tower of suburbia. Robert and his childhood friend Mike, however, were given a strong foundation worthy of a skyscraper thanks to the teaching of their rich dad. Accounting as a subject is boring, confusing, and absolutely crucial to financial success. To make it accessible to kids, rich dad used pictures to teach it to 2 boys. Only later did he start adding numbers to guide the boys through key concepts. Rule number 1, Robert says, is that you must know the difference between an asset and a liability and only buy assets. That's all you need to know. But despite it being so simple, it's something that many people don't understand. When Rich Dad first explained it to the two now teenagers, they thought he was kidding. How could adults not understand this? Shouldn't everyone be rich? The problem is that most people have been educated differently by bankers, financial planners, and others, so they must unlearn what they think they know. Some find this to mean to return to such basic introduction. The true definitions of asset and liability lie not in words, but in numbers. Robert uses drawings to help readers the same way Rich Dad used them to help him. Take a moment and review the 5 cash flow line drawings in the bonus material. Assets add to your income. They put money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Want to be rich? Buy assets. It seems simple, but so many people struggle because they buy liabilities. If you want to gain and maintain wealth, you must build your understanding. It's not just straight numbers, it's how the numbers tell the story. Follow the arrows in each of these diagrams to see where the money is flowing, or cash flow. It will tell you the story, the plot of that financial situation. Through these simplified diagrams, the cash flow tells the story of how each person handles money. Often those in debt, the answer is to make more money. But not only will more money not always solve their problems, it may compound them. It's why many people who get a sudden windfall through the lottery or inheritance, for instance, so quickly burn through it. And increasing cash only results in an increase in spending. What is missing for so many people is financial education. It's why they might end up successful in their professions, but still struggling with money. They have learned how to make money, but not how to manage it. People can be very intelligent and still be illiterate when it comes to finances. They learn how to work hard for money, but not how to make their money work hard for them. Robert tells the story of a young couple who get married and start their lives together. Their incomes begin to increase, but so do their expenses. The couple is hit with the number one expense for most people, taxes. And for many people, it's not income tax that gets them biggest hit, but Social Security. It's roughly 15%. Social Security tax combined with the Medicare tax rate, all of which must be matched by the employer, funds that the employer now can't pay the worker. And the employees charge income tax on that amount too. The young couple is faced with those taxes, and when they buy a house, property tax, and go through houses and car, new furniture and new appliances, suddenly their liabilities go up, filling with mortgage and credit card debt. The couple is trapped in the rat race. Add age to the mix and they work harder. Higher incomes that lead to higher taxes. They continue to rack up debt, eventually rolling into their mortgage and consolidation loan, but their habits haven't changed, so the credit card debt continues. Not to mention they extended their home loan. For this couple and so many like them, their true problem is not knowing how to handle the money they have. It's caused by financial literacy and not understanding the true difference between asset and liability. So many people don't take the time to question whether something makes sense and simply follow the crowd. Often, they mindlessly repeat what they've been told. Diversify. Your home is an asset. You get a tax break for going into greater debt. Get a safe job. Don't make mistakes. Don't take risks. Because of the large amount of time Robert and Mike spent sitting on meetings with Rich Dad and learning from the intelligent people he surrounded himself with, they learned a lot and learned to question the standard dogma taught at their school. It began to cause problems and made them more distant from their teachers. Robert also began disagreeing with his own father over money matters, especially when it came to his poor dad's view that his home was his greatest investment. In contrast, Rich Dad saw his home as a liability. Many people still believe that their home is an asset, but Robert teaches that home is a liability because it takes money out of your pocket, not only with taxes and expenses, but because of its loss in value and the opportunities missed when all your money is tied up in your house. And that causes you to lose out on the education and investment experience. That doesn't mean you can't ever buy a bigger house, but make sure to first buy assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for the house. When there are enough assets to generate more than enough income to cover expenses, the balance is reinvested into assets, which grows the asset column on the balance sheet, which produces more income. The result is that the rich who understand the difference between assets and liabilities get richer. The middle class gets stuck in the rat race because they treat their home as an asset instead of investing in income producing assets. They are also stuck because their salary is the primary source of income, and thus when their income increases, so do their taxes. Many invest in mutual funds, paying a manager to handle their accounts because they don't have the time or the expertise to do it themselves. They feel like a mutual fund is playing safe, and they have to play safe because their balance sheets are not balanced. They can't take advantage of opportunities because they're maxed out on debt and only have their salary bringing money in. Want to grow rich? Concentrate your efforts on buying income producing assets when you truly understand what an asset is. Keep liabilities and expenses low. You'll deepen your asset column. So how do you know you're wealthy? Robert uses a definition by R. Buckminster Fuller. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stop working today, how long can I survive? Another way of saying it, wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared to the expense column. When your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses, you are wealthy, even if you're not yet rich. Left hemisphere moment. Look at the numbers and learn to read the story they are telling. Assets put money in your pocket. If something takes money out of your pocket, it's not an asset, it's a liability. Right hemisphere moment. The balance sheet drawings help explain the movement of money through different people's lives. Subconscious moment. The fear of ostracism causes people to conform to and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends, often their financial detriment. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. Two minds are better than one. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without intelligence is money soon gone. If you're going to build an empire state building, the first thing you need to do is dig a deep hole and pour a strong foundation. If you're going to build a home in the suburbs, all you need to do is pour a 6-inch slab of concrete. Most people, in their drive to get rich, are trying to build an empire state building on a 6-inch slab. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase in cash will just result in an increase in spending. In 80% of most families, the financial story paints a picture of hard work to get ahead. However, this effort is for naught because they spend their lives buying liabilities instead of assets. By not fully understanding money, the vast majority of people allow its awesome power to control them. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories of this chapter along with the understanding of what Robert was saying and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you are getting, ask yourself if you're willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. When did your financial education begin? Was it with this book or from another source? 2. How did you react when you first read Robert's definition of assets and liabilities? 3. How did you react when you stated that home is not an asset? Have you viewed yours as one? After you fully laid out his argument, did you change your mind? 4. Which cash flow situation looks most like your life? 5. Other than your home, is there something that you thought was an asset that later revealed itself to be a liability? 6. Would you agree with this statement? What is missing from most people's education is not how to make money, but how to manage money. Why or why not? 7. Rich Dad told the boys that it's not the numbers that matter in counting, but what the numbers are telling you. What story do the numbers in your life tell? 8. When was the time in your life that seemingly positive accomplishment, such as a promotion or raise, didn't lead to the balance sheet result you expected? 9. How many days forward did you survive if you stopped working today? Does that number surprise or frighten you? Term definitions. 401k. A U.S. retirement plan developed by the ERISA Act of 1974 when companies realized they could not provide for retiree health care. Asset. Something that puts money in your pocket with minimum labor. Balance sheet. The lower part of the income statement diagram, so called because it's supposed to balance assets against liabilities. Cash flow. Cash coming in as income and cash going out as expenses. It is the direction of cash flow that determines whether something is income, expense, asset, or liability. Cash flow tells the story. Financial aptitude. What you do with the money once you make it, how to keep people from taking it from you, how to keep it longer, and how to make that money work hard for you. Golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. Income. The money that is received as a result of the normal business activities of an individual or business. Income statement or profit and loss statement. It measures income and expenses, money in and money out. Liability. Something that takes money out of your pocket. Mutual fund. A variety of stocks, bonds, or securities grouped together, managed by a professional investment company and purchased by individual investors through shares. The shares possess no direct ownership value in the various companies. Social Security. A social welfare or social insurance program commonly funded through automatic payroll deductions to subsidize persons in their old age and with disabilities. Chapter 3. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. The rich focus on their asset columns, while everyone else focuses on their income statements. In 1974, Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, was asked to speak to the MBA class at the University of Texas at Austin. A friend of mine was a student in that MBA class. After a powerful and inspiring talk, the class adjourned, and the students asked Ray if he would join them at their favorite hangout to have a few beers. Ray graciously accepted. What business am I in? Ray asked once the group had all their beers in hand. Everyone laughed, my friend said. Most of the MBA students thought Ray was just fooling around. No answer, so Ray asked again, what business do you think I'm in? The students laughed again, and finally one brave soul yelled out, Ray, who in the world doesn't know that you're in the hamburger business? Ray chuckled. That's what I thought you would say. He paused and then quickly added, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not in the hamburger business. My business is real estate. As my friend tells the story, Ray spent a good amount of time explaining his viewpoint. In his business plan, Ray knew that the primary business focus was to sell hamburger franchises. But what he never lost sight of was the location of each franchise. He knew that the land and its location were the most significant factors in the success of each franchise. Basically, the person who bought the franchise was also buying the real estate under the franchise for Ray Kroc's organization. Today, McDonald's is the largest single owner of real estate in the world, owning even more than the Catholic Church. McDonald's owns some of the most valuable intersections and street corners in America and around the globe. My friend considers this as one of the most important lessons in his life. Today, he owns car washes, but his business is the real estate under those car washes. The previous chapter presented diagrams illustrating that most people work for everyone but themselves. They work first for the owners of the company, then for the government through taxes, and finally for the bank that owns their mortgage. When I was a young boy, we did not have McDonald's nearby. Yet my rich dad was responsible for teaching my family the same lesson that Ray Kroc talked about at the University of Texas. It is secret number 3 of the rich. That secret is mind your own business. Financial struggles often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. Many people simply have nothing at the end of their working days to show for their efforts. Our current educational system focuses on preparing today's youth to get good jobs by developing scholastic skills. Their lives will revolve around their wages, or as described earlier, their income column. Many will study further to become engineers, scientists, cooks, police officers, artists, writers, and so on. These professional skills allow them to enter the workforce and work for money. But there's a big difference between your profession and your business. Often I ask people, what is your business? And they'll say, oh, I'm a banker. I ask them if they own a bank, and they usually respond, no, I work there. In that instance, they confuse their profession with their business. Their profession may be a banker, but they still need their own business. The problem with school is that you want to become what you study. So if you study cooking, you become a chef. If you study law, you become an attorney. And if you study auto mechanics, makes you a mechanic. The mistake in becoming what you study is that too many people forget to mind their own business. They spend their lives minding someone else's business and making that person rich. To become financially secure, a person needs to mind their own business. Your business revolves around your asset column, not your income column. As stated earlier, the number one rule is to know the difference between an asset and a liability and to buy assets. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. That is why we hear so often, I need a raise. If only I had a promotion. I'm going back to school to get more training so I can get a better job. I'm going to work overtime. Maybe I can get a second job. In some circles, these are sensible ideas, but you are still not minding your own business. These ideas all still focus on the income column and will only help a person become more financially secure if the additional money is used to purchase income-generating assets. The primary reason the majority of the poor and middle class are fiscally conservative, which means I can't afford to take risks, is that they have no financial foundation. They have to cling to their jobs and play it safe. When downsizing became the in thing to do, millions of workers found out their largest so-called asset, their home, was eating them alive. Their asset was costing them money every month. Their car, another asset, was eating them alive. The golf clubs in the garage that cost $1,000 were not worth $1,000 anymore. Without job security, they had nothing to fall back on. What they thought were assets did not help them survive in a time of financial crisis. I assume most of us have filled out a credit application to buy a house or a car. It's always interesting to look at the net worth section because of like banking and accounting practices allow a person to count his assets. One day, while I went alone, my financial position did not look too good. So I added my golf clubs, my art collection, books, electronics, my suits, wristwatches, shoes, and other personal effects to boost the number in the asset column. But I was turned down because I had too much investment in real estate. The loan committee didn't like that I made so much money from rent. They wanted to know why I did not have a normal job with a salary. They did not question the amount of suits, golf clubs, or art collection. Life is sometimes tough when you do not fit the standard profile. I cringe every time I hear someone say to me that their net worth is $1 million or $100,000 or whatever. One of the main reasons net worth is not accurate is simply because the moment you begin selling your assets, you are taxed for any gains. So many people put themselves in deep financial trouble when they run short of income. To raise cash, they sell their assets. But their personal assets can generally be sold for only a fraction of the value that is listed on their personal balance sheet. Or if there's a gain on the sale of the assets, they're taxed on the gain. So again, the government takes its share, thus reducing the amount available to help them out of debt. That's why I say someone's net worth is often worth less than they think. Start minding your own business. Keep your daytime job, but start buying real assets, not liabilities or personal effects that have no real value once you get them home. A new car loses nearly 25% of the price you pay for it the moment you drive off the lot. It's not a true asset, even if your banker lets you list it as one. My $400 new titanium driver was worth $150 the moment I keyed off. Keep expenses low, reduce liabilities, and diligently build a base of solid assets. For young people who have not yet left home, it is important for parents to teach them the difference between an asset and a liability. Get them to start building a solid asset column before they leave home, get married, buy a house, have kids, and get stuck in a risky financial position, cling to a job and buying everything on credit. I see so many young couples who get married and trap themselves into a lifestyle that will not let them get out of debt for most of their working years. For many people, just as the last child leaves home, the parents realize they have not adequately prepared for retirement and they get scrambled with some money away. Then their own parents become ill and they find themselves with new responsibilities. So what kind of assets am I suggesting that you or your children acquire? In my world, real assets fall into the following categories. Businesses that do not require my presence. I own them, but they are managed or run by other people. If I have to work there, it's not a business. It becomes my job. Stocks, bonds, income generating real estate, notes I use, royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. Anything else that has value, produces income, or appreciates, and has a great market. As a young boy, my educated dad encouraged me to find a safe job. But my rich dad encouraged me to begin acquiring assets that I loved. If you don't love it, you won't take care of it. I love real estate simply because I love buildings and land. I love shopping for them, and I look at them all day long. When problems arise, the problems are so bad that it changes my love for real estate. For people who hate real estate, they should buy it. I also love stocks of small companies, especially startups, because I am an entrepreneur, not a corporate person. In my early years, I worked in large organizations such as Standard Oil of California, the U.S. Marine Corps, and Xerox Corp. I enjoyed my time with those organizations and have fond memories, but I know deep down I'm not a company man. I like starting companies, not running them. So my stock buys are usually of small companies. Sometimes I even start a company and take it public. Fortunes are made in new stock issues, and I love the game. Many people are afraid of small cap companies and call them risky, and they are. But that risk is diminished if you love what the investment is, understand it, and know the game. With small companies, my investment strategy is to be out of the stock in a year. On the other hand, my real estate strategy is to start small and keep trading up for bigger properties, and therefore delay paying taxes on the gain. This allows the value to increase dramatically. I generally hold real estate less than 7 years. For years, even while I was with the Marine Corps and Xerox, I did what my rich dad recommended. I kept my day job, but I still minded my own business. I was active in my asset column trading real estate and small stocks. Rich dad always stressed the importance of financial literacy. The better I was at understanding the accounting and cash management, the better I would be at analyzing investments and eventually starting building my own company. I don't encourage anyone to start a company unless they really want to. Knowing what I know about running a company, I wouldn't wish that task on anyone. There are times when people can't find employment, and starting a company seems like the best solution. The odds are against success. 9 out of 10 companies fail in 5 years. Of those that survive the first 5 years, 9 out of every 10 of those eventually fail as well. So only if you really have the desire to own your own company do I recommend it. Otherwise, keep your day job and mind your own business. When I say mind your own business, I mean to build and keep your asset column strong. Once a dollar goes into it, never let it come out. Think of it this way. Once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. Keep your day job, be a great hardworking employee, but keep building that asset column. As your cash flow grows, you can indulge in some luxuries. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. The poor and middle class often buy luxury items like big houses, diamonds, furs, jewelry, or boats because they want to look rich. They look rich, but in reality, they just get deeper in debt on credit. The old money people, the long-term rich, build their asset column first. Then the income generated from the asset column buys their luxuries. The poor and middle class buy luxuries with their own sweat, blood, and children's inheritance. A true luxury is a reward for investing in and developing a real asset. For example, when my wife came and I had extra money coming from our apartment houses, she went out and bought her Mercedes. It didn't take any extra work or risk on her part because the apartment house bought the car. She didn't however have to wait 4 years while the real estate investment portfolio grew and began generating enough extra cash flow to pay for the car. But the luxury, the Mercedes, was a true reward because she proved she knew how to grow her asset column. That car now means a lot more to her than simply another pretty car. It means she used her financial intelligence to afford it. Instead, most people impulsively go out and buy a new car or some other luxury on credit. They may feel bored and just want to enjoy. Buying a luxury on credit often causes a person to eventually resent that luxury because the debt becomes a financial burden. After you've taken the time and invested in and built your own business, you are now ready to learn the biggest secret of the rich, the secret that puts the rich way ahead of the pack. Study session. Chapter 3. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Chapter 3. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Summary. A friend of ours got to hear Ray Kroc of McDonald's speak in 1974 at the University of Texas at Austin. Afterward, Ray agreed to join the students at a favorite hangout for a few years. He asked the students what business he was in. At first, they laughed, and then they answered that he was in the business of selling hamburgers, of course. But Ray told them he was not in the hamburger business, but in the real estate business. He knew that the land and location of each franchise were the most significant factors in its success. Today, McDonald's is the largest single owner of real estate in the world, owning some of the most valuable intersections and street corners around the globe. Robert's friend took that lesson to heart, and today owns car washes. But his business is the real estate under those car washes. So many people work for everyone else: their employer, the government, taxes, and the bank, mortgage. What Ray Kroc and Rich Dad knew was secret number 3 of the rich: mind your business. Don't spend your whole life working for someone else. There is a big difference between your profession and your business. Often Robert will ask people, "What is your business?" And they'll say, "Oh, I'm a banker." Then he asks them if they own the bank, and they usually respond, "No, I work there." In that instance, they have confused their profession with their business. Their profession may be a banker, but they still need their own business. Too many people spend their lives minding someone else's business and making them rich. Minding your business doesn't mean starting a company, though for some people it will. Instead, your business revolves around your asset column, not your income column. Promotions or a better job will only help you become more financially secure if the additional money is used to purchase income-generating assets. The primary reason the majority of the poor and middle class are fiscally conservative is that they have no financial foundation. They have to cling to their jobs and play it safe. They can't afford to take risks. And when hard times come, what many people thought were assets will not help them survive a financial crisis. That car has lost much of its value. Those golf clubs, the same. Too often, what a bank will allow a person to list as assets on a financial statement are not true assets. Robert was once turned down for a loan because the bank didn't like how much money he made from rent and was concerned he didn't have a normal job. But they were fine with him listing suits and art collection and other personal effects as assets. Net worth is the measure that people think it is. Most so-called assets that people base their net worth on either aren't as valuable as they think, or if they have gain value, will trigger taxes on gain if they're sold. So Robert tells people to start minding your own business. Keep your daytime job, but start buying real assets, not liabilities or personal effects that have no real value once you get home. Keep expenses low, reduce liabilities, and diligently build a base of solid assets. Parents need to teach young people this before they leave home, so that they understand what a true asset is and won't find themselves trapped in a lifestyle of debt. Robert says real assets fall into the following categories. 1. Businesses that do not require his presence. He owns them, but they are managed or run by other people. If he has to work there, it's not a business. It becomes his job. 2. Stocks. 3. Bonds. 4. Income-generating real estate. 5. Notes, IOUs. 6. Royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. 7. Anything else that has value, produces income, or appreciates, and has a great market. Acquire assets that you love. Robert loves real estate, and thus spends much of his time thinking about it and shopping for it. If you don't like real estate, don't invest in it. Robert also loves the stocks of small startup companies because he himself is an entrepreneur. Some are afraid of the risk of such small cap companies, but he sees these as the place to make fortunes. His strategy is to be out of the stock in a year. His real estate strategy, on the other hand, is to start small and keep trading up for bigger properties and laying taxes on the gain, holding real estate less than 7 years. Even while working for the Marines and Xerox, Robert minded his own business. He kept his day job, but was active in his asset column, trading real estate and small stocks. The more he understood accounting and cash management, the better he was at analyzing investments and eventually building his own company. He doesn't recommend people start a company unless they really have the desire to. Otherwise, he advises them to keep their day job and mind their business, building and keeping their asset column strong. As cash flow grows, people can indulge in luxuries, but only if the cash flow supports them. Build the asset column and let the income generated by those assets pay for the luxuries. Left hemisphere moment. When assets generate enough income to cover luxuries, that's when you can buy them. Right hemisphere moment. Think creatively about what your business is. It's not your profession. Subconscious moment. Acquire the type of assets you love because you'll take better care of them and enjoy learning about them. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. Two minds are better than one. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. To become financially secure, a person needs to mind their own business. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. Financial struggle is often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. Many people simply have nothing at the end of their working days to show for their efforts. One of the main reasons net worth is not accurate is simply because the moment you begin selling your assets, you are taxed for any gains. Once a dollar goes into it, never let it come out. Think of it this way. Once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and it works for generations. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. The poor and middle class buy luxuries with their own sweat, blood, and children's inheritance. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter, along with the understanding of what Robert was saying, and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you are giving, ask yourself if you are willing to change. Accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. What's your profession and what's your business? How do they differ? 2. What are things you might have counted in your net worth before reading this chapter? How do you view them now? 3. Are the assets you're acquiring the type that you love? If not, how do you change that? 4. What is the time you bought a luxury that your cash flow couldn't justify? What is the time you did so, but it could justify the purchase? Compare how you felt in the two situations, both at the moment of purchase and later. 5. Have there been people in your family who spent their whole lives working for someone else, only to end up with nothing? What would you advise them if you could? Term definitions. Bond. A debt security in which the authorized issuer owes the holders of debt and is obliged to repay the principal and interest at a later date, term maturity. Entrepreneur. Someone who creates a system to offer a product or service in order to obtain profit. Entrepreneurs are willing to accept the level of risk to pursue opportunity and are viewed as fundamentally important in the capitalistic society. Financial statement. A statement of your income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. Your report card when you leave school and what your bank wants to see before lending money. Stock. The capital raised by a corporation through the distribution of shares. Chapter 4. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. My rich dad just played the game smart, and he did it through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich. I remember in school being told the story of Robin Hood and his merry men. My teacher thought it was a wonderful story of a romantic hero who robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. My rich dad did not see Robin Hood as a hero. He called Robin Hood a crook. Robin Hood may be long gone, but his followers live on. I often still hear people say, why don't the rich pay for it? Or the rich should pay more in taxes and give it to the poor. It is this Robin Hood fantasy, or taking from the rich to give to the poor, that has caused the most pain for the poor and middle class. The reason the middle class is so heavily taxed is because of the Robin Hood ideal. The reality is that the rich are not taxed. It's the middle class, especially the educated, upper income middle class, who pays for the poor. Again, to understand fully how things happen, we need to look at the history of taxes. Although my highly educated dad was an expert on the history of education, my rich dad fashioned himself as an expert on the history of taxes. Rich dad explained to Mike and me that originally in England and America there were no taxes. Occasionally there were temporary taxes levied in order to pay for wars. The king or the president would put the word out and ask everyone to chip in. Taxes were levied in Britain for the fight against Napoleon from 1799 to 1816, and in America to pay for the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. In 1874, England made income tax a permanent levy on its citizens. In 1913, an income tax became permanent in the United States with the adoption of the 16th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. At one time, Americans were anti-tax. It had been the tax on tea that led to the famous tea party in Boston Harbor, an incident that helped ignite the Revolutionary War. It took approximately 50 years in both England and the United States to sell the idea of a regular income tax. What these historical dates failed to reveal is that both of these taxes were initially levied against only the rich. It was this point that rich dad wanted Mike and me to understand. He explained that the idea of taxes was made popular and accepted by the majority by telling the poor and the middle class that taxes were created only to punish the rich. This is how the masses voted for the law and became constitutionally legal. Although it was intended to punish the rich, in reality it wound up punishing the very people who voted for it, the poor and middle class. Once the government got a taste of money, its appetite grew, said Rich Dad. Your dad and I are exactly opposite. He's a government bureaucrat and I am a capitalist. We get paid, and our success is measured on opposite behaviors. He gets paid to spend money and hire people. The more he spends and the more people he hires, the larger his organization becomes. In the government, a large organization is a respected organization. On the other hand, within my organization, the fewer people I hire and the less money I spend, the more I am respected by my investors. That's why I don't like government people. They have different objectives than most business people. As the government grows, more and more tax dollars are needed to support it. My educated dad sincerely believed the government should help people. He loved John F. Kennedy, and especially the idea of the Peace Corps. He loved the idea so much that both he and my mom worked for the Peace Corps, training volunteers to go to Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. He always strived for additional grants and budget increases so he could hire more people, both in his job with the Education Department and the Peace Corps. From the time I was about 10 years old, I would hear from my rich dad that government workers were a pack of lazy thieves, and from my poor dad I would hear how the rich were greedy crooks who should be made to pay more taxes. Both sides have valid points. It was difficult to go to work for one of the biggest capitalists in town and come home to a father who was a prominent government leader. It was not easy to know which dad to believe. Yet, when you study the history of taxes, an interesting perspective emerges. As I said, the passage of taxes was only possible because the masses believed in the Robin Hood theory of economics. Take from the rich and give to everyone else. The problem was that the government's appetite for money was so great that taxes soon needed to be levied on the middle class after they were kept trickling down. However, the rich saw an opportunity because they don't play by the same set of rules. The rich knew about corporations, which became popular in the days of sailing ships. The rich created the corporation as a vehicle to limit their risk to the assets of each voyage. The rich put the money into a corporation to finance the voyage. The corporation would then hire a crew to sail to the new world to look for treasure. If the ship was lost, the crew lost their lives, but the loss of the rich would be limited only to the money they invested for that particular voyage. Diagram 6 in the bonus material shows how the corporate structure sits outside your personal income and balance sheet. The rich are not taxed. The rich will never be taxed. More and more often, we see governments use the tax laws to provide incentives to business owners and investors to create jobs and housing. These incentives reduce the taxes of the rich, so the only place for the government to drive tax revenue is from the middle class. It is the knowledge of the legal corporate structure that really gives the rich a vast advantage over the poor and the middle class. Having two fathers teaching me, one a socialist and the other a capitalist, I quickly began to realize that the philosophy of the capitalist made more financial sense to me. It seemed to me that the socialists ultimately penalized themselves due to their lack of financial education. No matter what the take from the rich crowd came up with, the rich always found a way to outsmart them. That is how taxes were eventually levied on the middle class. The rich outsmarted the intellectuals solely because they understood the power of money, a subject not taught in schools. How did the rich outsmart the intellectuals? Once the take from the rich tax was passed, cash started flowing into government coffers. Initially, people were happy. Money was handed out to government workers and the rich. It went to government workers in the form of jobs and pensions, and it went to the rich via their factories receiving government contracts. The government received a large pool of money, but the problem was the fiscal management of that money. The government's idea is to avoid having excess money. If you fail to spend your allotted funds, you risk losing it in the next budget. You would certainly not be recognized for being efficient. Business people, on the other hand, are rewarded for having excess money and are applauded for their efficiency. As this cycle of growing government spending continued, the demand for money increased, and the tax of the rich idea was adjusted to include lower income levels down to the very people who voted in, the poor and the middle class. True capitalists use their financial knowledge to simplify and escape. They head back to the protection of a corporation. But what many people who never formed a corporation don't know is that a corporation is not really a thing. The corporation is merely a file folder with some legal document set, sitting in some attorney's office and registered with a state government agency. It's not a big building or a factory or a group of people. A corporation is merely a legal document that creates a legal body without a soul. Using it, the wealth of the rich was once again protected. It was popular because the income tax rate of a corporation is less than the individual income tax rates. In addition, certain expenses could be paid by a corporation with pre-tax dollars. This war between the haves and have-nots has raged for hundreds of years. The battle is waged whenever and wherever laws are made, and it will go on forever. The problem is that the people who lose are the uninformed, the ones who get up every day and diligently go to work and pay taxes. If they only understood the way the rich play the game, they could play it too. Then they would be on their way to their own financial independence. This is why I cringe every time I hear a parent advise their children to go to school so they can find a safe, secure job. An employee with a safe, secure job without financial aptitude has no escape. Average Americans today work 4 to 5 months for the government just to cover their taxes. In my opinion, that is simply too long. The harder you work, the more you pay the government. That's why I believe that the idea of take from the rich backfired on the very people who voted in. Every time people try to punish the rich don't simply comply. They react. They have the money, power, and intent to change things. They don't just sit there and voluntarily pay more taxes. Instead, they search for ways to minimize their tax burden. They hire smart attorneys and accountants and persuade politicians to change laws or create legal loopholes. They use their resources to affect change. The tax code of the United States also allows other ways to reduce taxes. Most of these vehicles are available to anyone, but it is the rich who find them because they are minding their own business. For example, 1031 is jargon for Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, which allows a seller to delay paying taxes on a piece of real estate that is sold for a capital gain through exchange for a more expensive piece of real estate. Real estate is one investment vehicle that has a great tax advantage. As long as you keep trading up in value, you will not be taxed on the gains until you liquidate. People who don't take advantage of these legal tax savings are missing a great opportunity to build their asset balance. The poor and middle class don't have the same resources. They sit there and let the government's needles enter their arm and allow the blood donation to begin. Today, I am constantly shocked at the number of people who pay more taxes or take fewer deductions simply because they are afraid of the government. I have friends who have had their businesses shut down and destroyed, only to find out it was a mistake on the part of the government. I realize all that, but the price of working from January to May is a high price to pay for that intimidation. My poor dad never fought back. My rich dad didn't either. He just played the game smarter, and he did it through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich. The tax man. The tax man will take as much as you let him. The tax system is ultimately fair, and it works the same for everyone who has the same situation. If you are willing to invest, the tax laws will work in your favor. If you want to just spend money on my liabilities, the tax law won't give you any breaks, and it's likely you will pay the most tax possible. You may remember the first lesson I learned from my rich dad. I was a little boy of 9 who had to sit and wait for him to choose to talk to me. I sat in his office waiting for him to get to me. He was ignoring me on purpose. He wanted me to recognize his power and to desire to have that power for myself one day. During all the years I studied and learned from him, he always reminded me that knowledge is power. And with money comes great power that requires the right knowledge to keep it and make it multiply. Without that knowledge, the world pushes you around. Rich dad constantly reminded me that the biggest bully was not the boss or the supervisor, but the tax man. The tax man will always take more if you let him. The first lesson of having money work for you, as opposed to you working for money, is all about power. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Once we had this knowledge of the power of money working for us, he wanted us to be financially smart and not let anyone or anything push us around. If you're ignorant, it's easy to be bullied. If you know what you're talking about, you have a fighting chance. That is why he paid so much for smart tax accountants and attorneys. It was less expensive to pay them than pay the government. His best lesson to me was be smart and you won't be pushed around as much. He knew the law because he was a law-abiding citizen, and because it was expensive to not know the law. If you know you're right, you're not afraid of fighting back, even if you were taking on Robin Hood and his band of merry men. My highly educated dad always encouraged me to land a good job with a strong corporation. He spoke of the virtues of working your way up the corporate ladder. He didn't understand that by relying solely on a paycheck from a corporate employer, I would be a docile cow ready for milking. When I told my rich dad my father's advice, he only chuckled. Why not own the ladder, was all he said. As a young boy, I did not understand what rich dad meant by owning my own corporation. It was an idea that seemed impossible and intimidating. Although I was excited by the idea, my inexperience wouldn't let me envision the possibility that grown-ups would someday work for a company I would own. The point is that, if not for my rich dad, I would have probably followed my educated dad's advice. It was merely the occasional reminder of my rich dad that kept the idea of owning my own corporation alive and kept me on a different path. By the time I was 15 or 16, I knew I wasn't going to continue down the path my educated dad recommended. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was determined not to head in the direction most of my classmates were heading. That decision changed my life. Own the ladder. Today, as technology continues to change the way we work and do business, I talk with more and more people who ask themselves, how can I own the ladder? Capitalism is thriving, and the free market system means entrepreneurs who can offer a better product at a better price have a good chance of success. It was not until my mid-20s that my rich dad's advice began to make more sense to me. I was just out of the Marine Corps and working for Xerox. I was making a lot of money, but every time I looked at my paycheck, I was disappointed. The deductions were so large, and the more I worked, the greater they became. As I became more successful, my bosses talked about promotions and raises. It was flattering, but I could hear my rich dad asking in my ear, who are you working for? Who are you making rich? In 1974, while still an employee for Xerox, I formed my first corporation and began minding my own business. There were already a few assets in my asset column, but now I was determined to focus on making it bigger. Those paychecks with all the deductions made all the years of my rich dad's advice make total sense. I could see the future if I followed my educated dad's advice. Many employers feel that advising their workers to mind their own business is bad for business. But for me, focusing on my own business and developing assets made me a better employee because I now had purpose. I came in early and worked diligently, amassing as much money as possible so I could invest in real estate. Hawaii was just set to boom, and there were fortunes to be made. The more I realized that we were in the beginning stages of the boom, the more Xerox machines I sold. The more I sold, the more money I made, and of course, the more deductions came out of my paycheck. It was inspiring. I wanted out of the employee trap so badly, but I worked even harder so I could invest more. By 1978, I was consistently one of the top 5 salespeople at the company. I badly wanted out of the rat race. In less than 3 years, I was making more in my real estate holding corporation than I was making at Xerox. The money I was making in my asset column in my own corporation was money working for me, not me pounding on doors selling copiers. My rich dad's advice made much more sense. Soon, the cash flow from my properties was so strong that my company bought me my first Porsche. My fellow Xerox salespeople thought I was spending my commissions. I wasn't. I was investing my commissions in assets. My money was working hard to make more money. Each dollar in my asset column was a great employee, working hard to make more employees and buy the boss new Porsche with before tax dollars. I began to work harder for Xerox. The plan was working, and my Porsche was the proof. By using the lessons I learned from my rich dad, I was able to get out of the proverbial rat race at an early age. It was made possible because of the strong financial knowledge I acquired through rich dad's lessons. Without this financial knowledge, which I call financial intelligence or financial IQ, my road to financial independence would have been much more difficult. I now teach others in the hope that I may share my knowledge with them. I remind people that financial IQ is made up of knowledge from 4 broad areas of expertise. 1. Accounting. Accounting is financial literacy, or the ability to read numbers. This is a vital skill if you want to build an empire. The more money you are responsible for, the more accuracy is required, or the house comes tumbling down. This is the left brain side, or the details. Financial literacy is the ability to read and understand financial statements, which allows you to identify the strengths and weaknesses of any business. 2. Investing. Investing is the science of money making money. This involves strategies and formulas that use the creative right brain side. 3. Understanding markets. Understanding markets is the science of supply and demand. You need to know the technical aspects of the market, which are emotion-driven, in addition to the fundamental or economic aspects of investment. Does an investment make sense, or does it not make sense based on current market conditions? 4. The law. A corporation wrapped around the technical skills of accounting, investing, and markets can contribute to explosive growth. A person who understands the tax advantages and protections provided by a corporation can get rich so much faster than someone who is an employee or a small business sole proprietor. It's like the difference between someone walking and someone flying. The difference is profound when it comes to long-term wealth. Tax advantages. A corporation can do many things that an employee cannot, like pay expenses before paying taxes. That is a whole area of expertise that is very exciting. Employers earn and get taxed, and they try to live on what is left. A corporation earns, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that is left. It's one of the basic legal tax loopholes that the rich use. They're easy to set up, and are not expensive if you own investments that are producing good cash flow. For example, by owning your own corporation, your vacations can be board meetings in Hawaii. Car payments, insurance, repairs, and health club memberships are company expenses. Most restaurant meals are partial expenses, and on. But it's done legally with free tax dollars. Protection from lawsuits. We live in a litigious society. Everybody wants a piece of your action. The rich hide much of their wealth using vehicles such as corporations and trusts to protect their assets from creditors. When someone sues a wealthy individual, they are often met with layers of legal protection and often find that the wealthy person actually owns nothing. They control everything, but own nothing. The poor and middle class try to own everything and lose it to the government or fellow citizens who like to sue the rich. They learn it from the bottom of the story. Take from the rich and give it to the poor. It is not the purpose of this book to go into the specifics of owning a corporation, but I will say that if you own any kind of legitimate assets, I would consider finding out more about the benefits and protection offered by a corporation as soon as possible. There are many books written on the subject that will detail the benefits and can walk you through the steps necessary to set up a corporation. Garrett Sons books on corporations provide wonderful insight into the power of personal corporations. Financial IQ is actually the synergy of many skills and talents. I would say it's the combination of the 4 technical skills listed above that make up basic financial intelligence. If you aspire to great wealth, it is the combination of these skills that will greatly amplify your financial intelligence. In summary, business owners of corporations 1. Earn. 2. Spend. 3. Pay taxes. Employees who work for corporations 1. Earn. 2. Pay taxes. 3. Spend. As part of your overall financial strategy, I recommend that you learn about the protection that legal entities can provide for businesses and assets. Study session. Chapter 4. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and power of corporations. Chapter 4. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and power of corporations. Summary. Many people see Robin Hood as a hero, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. Rich dad did not share that opinion. He called Robin Hood a crook. Though the popular sentiment is that the rich should pay more in taxes and give to the poor, in reality it is the middle class that is heavily taxed, especially the educated upper income middle class. To understand how this happens, Robert gives a brief history of taxes. In England and America originally there were no taxes, only occasional temporary levies to pay for such things as wars. In 1874, England made income tax a permanent levy on its citizens. In America, the land where tax on tea led to the Boston Tea Party protests and helped ignite the Revolutionary War, the adoption of the 16th Amendment in 1913 made income tax permanent. These countries were able to get tax accepted by the majority because they were first levied only against the rich. However, although income tax was designed to punish the rich, it wound up punishing those who would vote for it, the poor and middle class. Rich dad explained that he and poor dad were opposite. Poor dad as a government employee was rewarded if he spent money on hired people, making his organization larger. But for rich dad, the fewer people he hired and the less money he spent, the more he was respected by his investors. And as the government grows, so does the amount of tax dollars needed to support it. Poor dad sincerely believed the government should help people. He and Robert's mom worked for the Peace Corps, training volunteers to go to Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. They were always seeking more grants and budget increases so they could hire more people. For Robert, it was a challenge to work for one of the biggest capitalists in town and go home to a prominent government leader. It wasn't easy to know which dad to leave. But over time, as Robert studied the history of taxes, he saw an interesting perspective. As the government's appetite for money grew, taxes soon needed to be levied on the middle class, and from there it kept trickling down. But the rich saw an opportunity because they don't play by the same set of rules. Corporations, which became popular in the days of sailing ships, offered a way around taxes. Understanding the legal corporate structure gave the rich a advantage and allowed them to outsmart the intellectuals. The government idea is to avoid having excess money. If you fail to spend your allotted funds, you risk losing it in the next budget. Business people, on the other hand, are rewarded for having excess money and are applauded for their efficiency. And as the government continued this idea and spent more and more money, more taxes, this time on the middle class and eventually the poor, were needed. A corporation is simply a legal document that creates a legal entity. It's not really a thing, not a factory or a group of people, but offers a lower income tax rate than individuals have, and certain expenses can be paid by a corporation with free tax dollars. If those who get up and go to work at their jobs and pay taxes could only understand the way the rich play the game, they could too. The problem is, the harder you work at a job, the more you must pay the government. Taxes end up punishing the very people who voted them in. Attempts to punish the rich rarely work because the rich find ways to minimize their tax burden. One such way is Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, which allows a seller to delay paying taxes on a piece of real estate that is sold for a capital gain in exchange for a more expensive piece of real estate. As long as you keep trading up in value, you won't be taxed on the gains until you liquidate. Those who don't take advantage of these savings are missing a chance to build their asset column. In all the years rich dad was guiding Robert, he was trying to teach him that knowledge is power, and with money comes great power that requires the right knowledge to keep it and make it multiply. Without that knowledge, the world pushes you around. The tax man is a bully who will always take more if you let him. Don't let him by making your money work for you. Smart tax consultants and attorneys are worth their cost, as it's still cheaper than paying the government. It's expensive to not know the law. In his mid-20s, when he was just out of the Marine Corps and worked for Xerox, Robert was disappointed by how much was taken out of his paychecks. He motivated him to form his first corporation in 1974 and worked hard at his day job to amass as much money as possible to invest in real estate. He became one of the top salesmen at Xerox, and in less than 3 years was making more in his real estate holding corporation than he was at Xerox. His company bought his first Porsche, proof that the plan was working. The lessons he learned from Rich Dad helped him break out of the proverbial rat race at an early age, and he wants to help others do the same. Financial IQ, or financial intelligence, is what makes that possible. It's made up of 4 things: accounting, financial literacy, or the ability to read numbers and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of any business; investing, the science and strategies of money making money; understanding markets, the science of supply and demand and market conditions; and the law, tax advantages and protections. Understanding those legal advantages is profound when it comes to long-term wealth. For instance, a corporation can pay expenses before paying taxes, whereas an employee gets taxed first and must try to pay expenses on what is left. Board meetings in Hawaii, car payments, and insurance and health plan memberships can be pre-tax expenses for a corporation. Corporations also offer legal protection from lawsuits. When someone sues a wealthy individual, there are often multiple layers of legal protection, and often find the wealthy person actually owns nothing. They control everything, but own nothing. Robert urges those who own legitimate assets to find out more about corporations' benefits and protections. Here, Sun's books are among many that can help. In summary, business owners of corporations: 1. Earn; 2. Spend; 3. Pay taxes. Employees work for corporations: 1. Earn; 2. Pay taxes; 3. Spend. Left hemisphere moment. Accounting is financial literacy, or the ability to read numbers. This is a vital skill if you want to build an empire. The more money you are responsible for, the more accuracy is required, or the house comes tumbling down. Right hemisphere moment. Investing is the science of money making money. This involves strategies and formulas, which use the creative side of the brain. Subconscious moment. Understanding markets is the science of supply and demand. You need to know the technical aspects of the market, which are emotion driven, in addition to the fundamental or economic aspects of investment. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote, and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, this curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. 2 minds are better than 1. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help and understanding. Take the time to discuss each quote until you understand it. My rich dad just played the game smart, and he did it through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich. The reality is that the rich are not taxed. It's the middle class who pays for the poor, especially the educated upper income middle class. Every time people try to punish the rich don't simply comply. They react. They have the money, power, and intent to change things. They don't just sit there and voluntarily pay more taxes. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. A person who understands the tax advantages and protections provided by a corporation can get rich so much faster than someone who is an employee or a small business sole proprietor. It's like the difference between someone walking and someone flying. Employees earn and get taxed, and they try to live on what is left. A corporation earns, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that is left. It's one of the biggest legal tax loopholes that the rich use. Additional questions. Now it's time to take the stories in this chapter, along with the understanding of what Robert was saying, and apply them to you in your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you are giving, ask yourself if you are willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. 1. Do you agree with Rich Dad's assessment of Robin Hood, that he was a crook? Why or why not? 2. Have taxes created a bigger problem with government spending? 3. Do you think members of the middle class and the poor realize that the burden of taxes fallen to them? What effects of that do you see? 4. Do your beliefs fall more under the banner of capitalism or socialism? What are the benefits and downfalls of each way of thinking? 5. Are the rich right to use the advantages of corporations to avoid paying taxes? Do you think more people could follow suit if they understood the system better? 6. What are specific ways that you yourself could benefit from using a corporation for your assets? Term definitions. 1031. Jargon for section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, which allows a seller to delay paying taxes on a piece of real estate that is sold for a capital gain through exchange for a more expensive piece of real estate. Corporation. Merely a legal document that creates a legal body without a soul. It's not a big building or a factory or a group of people. Using it, the wealth of the rich is protected. Financial IQ. Financial intelligence comes as a result of financial education. People with high financial IQ learn to use other people's money to become rich. Financial literacy. The ability to read and understand financial statements, which allows you to identify the strengths and weaknesses of any business.